OBS didn't freeze
Now
up.
they're all gone.
Hell yeah. We back?
It worked great.
We're
It
back.
worked great.
Hey! Welcome to It's Friday Night at Simple Comms. Welcome, everybody. We did it. Another week in the book. Sorry, it's a habit.
Go around the horn. What are you drinking?
I can't. Oh yeah, let's go around the. Yeah, I heard it. I was listening on the drive home. But
It worked great for the first hour.
it was.
And then it just started being.
Dude,
Why were you late to the show? Were you speeding and get pulled over?
I was not
something?
speeding. But I was down in like Salem, Oregon, which is a 7-hour drive from here. So it was
It's so wild to me that you did.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. Well, and
Salem,
I
Massachusetts?
had like 5 hours of work to do down there. So,
What are you drinking, Drayden? Mr.
Nothing yet. The drive back was kind of miserable because by the time I got to Tri-City, like Pasco, Washington, my AC in the van just stopped working.
Ooh.
So it was 2 hours of driving in the heat.
Kick down those windows.
Yeah, it was just hot air coming in. So
How
I
hot
totally
is it
forgot
out
it's
there?
Dude,
required
well,
to drink on the show.
Eastern and Central Washington's it's a high desert, so it was probably like in the 90s. I wouldn't doubt.
No shit.
Yeah.
Drive faster, man. Get more cold air in the van.
Did you
You
open the
need
windows?
those smokers windows.
I opened I did open the
You're
windows.
fine.
But,
Don't be. No.
no, it was hot air. The only time it was cold is when if I would sweat enough, then the hot air would hit it and it'd feel cold until the
that's
sweat
working.
dried up, and then it would be hot again. But what I'm drinking is yeah. So I stopped at the liquor store in the company van in my uniform to pick up liquor, which is always a classy move, you know. So,
Nothing none of us have done before.
and so no, I got some gin and some room temperature lemonade,
Perfect.
and I forgot to put ice
Amazing.
in the freezer, so I don't have any ice to go in it. So
Oh,
yeah.
there you
You're just
Just-
on the ball.
just
tonight.
capping off a hot day
Yeah.
in a hot way.
Yeah, it's I also left my AC off because I was gonna be gone for 2 days. I didn't.
You
So
schmuck.
my apartment's hot. I
mean-
really planned for this. I planned for this a whole lot. So
You want to know how hot it is here, buddy?
How hot?
probably
is
hotter
it?
than here.
Yeah, way hotter, dude. It's like 112 today.
Oh
Where you
well, I feel less
You
bad.
in Vegas?
What do you live in hell?
No, I live in Phoenix, so yes, I live in
Oh
hell.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
nobody's
gonna do a
supposed to
shot.
live
I don't
in
know
Vegas.
how much you guys. Do. I'm gonna start with a shot.
I used to live in Vegas. I moved
I'll
down
drink-
here to go to
I'll drink
ASU.
with you, Drayden.
Drinks. Cheers. I got
Cheers.
It's 104 currently.
I got this
at,
Brave shot glass. They're the enemy now, right?
7:30 p.m.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
improving
Drayden.
now. Those fucking schmucks. No, they're probably nice people.
Drayden, when you
Forgot
talk
it.
about you driving around places,
Yeah.
for some reason I picture Harry Dunn from Dumb and Dumber driving around in that van
The
that's
big
shaped
dog
like a
van?
dog.
Dog.
Yeah.
It
So
is
it's an
a
84 sheepdog.
It's an NV200 van, so it's a little
Oh,
shorter
those are
than
so
that one.
sweet, though.
Yeah, it's not a bad van.
Does it have
We-
windows on it?
Yeah, well, just the front side windows. It does not have any back windows at all. So,
Oh, that
which is
looks
hilarious
pretty
because there's no back windows anywhere in the van, but it still has a rearview mirror in it. So it's like, I mean, it's
You check
kind
the
of so you can
contents.
check the cargo in the back, make sure nothing's like, but it is kind of funny.
We have
So,
like an old,
Drayden,
like,
does your van have like completely blacked out, or does it have like windows in the back?
No, it's just a solid. There's no windows in the back. It's just solid. It's a white van, but it's solid white. So I got driver and passenger window and windshield. That is the only windows
Does
in
the
that van.
side have free candy painted on it, or
Just
No,
Drayden's
that,
water
hey,
fountains.
that was the Sprinter van we used to have because that's like your big giant professional kidnapper van.
Okay.
dude, Sprinter. Come on,
Yeah,
those kidnappers are
my
not
best-
bad.
my
It's
best,
more like the Econo line, like an old Ford Econo line or a
that's
Chevy. Those are the pedo vans.
yeah.
That's
We my best time in that Sprinter van. Well, not best time, but the funniest thing in that Sprinter van was I forgot to strap down some coolers, and so I heard them kind of like wobbling and almost tipping over back there. I'm like, oh fuck! And I was like, I gotta pull over now and strap those down. So I was like pulled into the very next parking lot and like got out and started strapping them in. And then I looked and I was pulled into an elementary school parking lot, and I was like, oh fuck! This doesn't look good at all.
We've got like an old Econoline at work that I think they might have given like 25 bucks for. It's got to be probably 25, 30 years old, and it's a beast, and we all love it. My boss is like, I'll never sell that thing. That's one of the best investments this company ever made. It just runs. It just fucking keeps running.
Oh, Drayden. Speaking of doing shots, can we do a shot for William Anders, who was a Apollo 8 astronaut and unfortunately today passed away in a plane crash?
Oh,
shit.
fuck.
That's sad.
I'll drink to
What
that.
kind
Was
of
Apollo
plane?
4?
Like a Boeing
It
plane?
was a,
or-
it was a small plane. He was the
Fucking
only pilot.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a
okay.
bummer. Yeah, we'll do a shot for
It
you.
is a bummer.
Boeing.
And speaking of
Just
Boeing,
wondering, man. They got like a lot of things to news.
That's
It's
fair. That's
relevant.
fair.
It's
Oh,
very
it's very, yeah,
relevant.
it's a fair question.
I'm trying to work my ducks in a row to start doing private pilot stuff.
ooh,
Nice.
So thanks for making
Sounds
me feel
fun.
good about that.
the
If
well,
anybody's seen the photo, that famous photo of the Earth from behind the moon, and you see the Earth, he's
mhm.
the guy that took that picture.
the Earthrise. Yeah.
Oh, Earthrise.
Yeah, Earthrise. He was the one that took it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
The
Nice.
so the funny thing is, speaking of Boeing, so I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to like the Starliner capsule that
Yeah, I
they've been
watched
working on,
that.
and it kept getting delayed. There's issues, and then I remember seeing a thing where they're like, they knew that there was so the helium is what they're using for the thrusters on it. That it was gonna like that's what it uses to manage its orbit, dock with the space station and stuff. And they noticed that there was a leak on the helium thruster systems, but they're like, we're gonna run with it anyway. I'm like, you don't. If you know there's a problem, you don't just run with it anyway. Especially
That's
a
very
critical
hot.
system.
Circle X shit all the time in the
Especially
air-
a critical
in the air
system like thrusters, like that.
It's
Thrusters are what get you to and from your destination. If the thrusters fuck up or run out of fuel, guess what? You don't get to the space station. Guess what? You don't get to back to Earth. You get stuck in orbit. And so they're like, we're gonna run with it anyway. And then they were launched it, and then there was an issue with the main cooling system went out. Luckily, they had a backup, so they weren't gonna like roast alive inside there in space. And then they were like getting to the space station, and the helium leak got worse, and so they actually barely made it to the space station. And now they're gonna have to rob a bunch of helium from the space station to come back. And it's like,
Wow.
what the. Fucking imagine that
Wow.
a critical system that you knew had a problem has a big
Apollo
problem.
13.
Too big to fail, bro.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
dude, Boeing in your current situation, this is not something you should have done.
I'm really
we've got
impressed.
a-
that
I
they
mean,
I'm
didn't
surprised
They
scrap
should have known
NASA
better.
let them.
NASA should have known better.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
shame on all of them because people were in that capsule too. This is like the main
Right.
mission. It's like you
it.
fucking.
And now they're
We've got a-
robbing the space
yeah.
station, which has people.
We've got a saying for stuff like that at work. We say, "It'll buff." As in
it'll,
it'll buff
yeah,
out.
that's.
This
I
fucking
would-
thing's
that-
only got 7 lug nuts on it. Yeah, it'll
No.
buff. It's fine.
Yeah,
Is that like good enough for government work?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, we always say it'll ride because my brother-in-law, we were moving, like him and my sister were moving back from Moscow, and they were like strapped all their furniture like in the back of his truck, and it was like this Leaning Tower of Pisa, like Clampets type bullshit going on, and it was like wobbling in the wind, and we're like, I don't know, man, you should probably re-secure that. He's like, it'll ride. And then he gets like 5 miles down the road and something like a table flew out. It's like, it'll ride, will it?
So, speaking of
Love.
stuff in space, who here has seen Apollo 13?
Of course.
Wait,
So that Earthrise picture,
I was on the real
guy
one.
the guy Jim Lovell, the guy that commanded Apollo 13, was
Tom
on that
Hanks.
spacecraft.
before we
Not
get
as
too
good
far
as
away,
the-
It was Jim Lovell was one of the pilots on the Apollo 8 that took the Earthrise picture.
Oh, yeah. He went on Apollo 8, and then Apollo 13 was supposed to be his time to actually walk on the moon. Didn't
Play
happen.
the "We Got the Beat" fucking.
Yeah. We need that as a soundboard thing.
yeah. Before we get too far away, we're almost halfway through all these updates,
2 hours in.
Yeah.
but we
no,
don't have a
hour
good
45
clock
minutes, yeah.
anymore because we reset the clock. So now we're gonna act like it's a fresh clock. We don't have to do that.
8 minutes.
Alright. We're talking about Upwell, haulers, and freighters. That's where we left off.
That's right. I don't know if it's
So-
worth going into the specifics of each of them. I think that's
Just
up
the
to people
deluge.
if they care
Just
to.
the deluge.
You got a
Yeah,
squall.
you,
That's
you
your
had something to
T1.
say about the deluge.
I
Sorry,
did.
go ahead.
So you-
Deluge is your cloaky one, right?
Yeah. So if you look at its attribute, right, it has a 4,000 M3 capacity and has the 30,000 M3 infrastructure hold. How is that not better than all the other fucking cloaky haulers?
These have been raised already.
Right?
These concerns that these are going to
You think,
potentially
no, I think all the rest of
obsolete.
them are eh. This one kicks ass.
People have said some of these are potentially going to obsolete a lot of other ships. I don't know if that's going to be the case. We'll see, but
Well, for stealing, for
What-
sure, now that we know that, right?
Yeah.
But the
What can you put in an
Well,
infrastructure?
if we're
hold?
reading that right, we don't know if we're reading
as
that
far
right.
as we
Infrastructure
know
hold-
from, sorry,
sorry, it says
I thought it was supposed to be the PI from the new or the new
The Skyhook.
not the PI, but the new stuff.
you can do
so
infrastructure
everything,
upgrades.
yeah.
You can do, as far as I recall, fuel blocks. You can do a handful
Regular
of other
PI
things.
commodities, moon
Yeah,
materials,
and it's pretty
reagents,
versatile, honestly.
SOV upgrades, infrastructure, sovereignty
It
infrastructures,
Doesn't do
and
command
fuel,
centers.
service modules, structure modules.
Interestingly enough, doesn't do
Can I
command
put
centers.
ammo
In one of them, you can.
I don't know.
in the infrastructure hold?
I don't think so. But
Not in
maybe.
the
What about
infrastructure
ships?
Well,
hold.
it says planetary
I don't think you
commodities and
can.
more, so maybe that does mean the command modules will be.
I
able
don't think
play
it's
that.
going to completely remove the benefits of some of them. I think it's going to be broad enough that we're going to see them kind of overtakes.
Because what is it? The Epithal that has a command module
Yes, I believe so.
bay,
The
right?
Epithal is only good
It'll
for
still
really
be its
PI if you're not using a DST.
Yeah. But
It's got a
yeah,
comparable
that's good, yeah.
PI hold to what a DST holds total.
Hmm.
They're interchangeable.
Was
in
it
that regard.
DST is 60,000, right?
Depends on which DST, but 6250 and then or 625
Oh.
and then usually like
DS
a
Well, I thought the
5,000
DST's
cargo.
fleet hangars are the same size
They're all the
across
same,
all of
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
It's the regular cargo hold that varies, and those are tiny in comparison.
Yeah, those are like
they're-
yeah, it's the
They're effectively the same.
yeah. I
What's
think you can get
the-
a 62,500 with level 5 because it gives you like what 500 per level.
So that's why I think
Oh,
the
yeah,
torrent's
yeah,
not
that
as
is-
good.
Yeah, so
'cause
62. Yeah,
it's,
Melon's right.
fleet
So
hangar's
the-
only 30,000.
Well, they also have a cargo capacity you can put the ammo in, by the way.
Yeah, but
The
the
daily-
cargo
Right,
is
but-
usually like
ammo have to
1,000 or
go,
2 M3. It's pretty small. Oh, sorry.
For
go ahead,
the
Which one?
The
Elwood
Deluge is
School.
a blockade runner, right?
yes.
No,
So what's
Deluge
the
is- well,
capacity
yeah, Cloaky
on the
Hall.
other blockade runners?
12.5 to
4,000.
13.5.
Is it 4,000
Expanded. Oh,
For the
on
fleet
the cargo
hangars?
capacity? Well,
Or the cargo
a
capacity?
no, he's talking about
a
BR.
blockade runner only has a cargo
one
hold,
hold.
right? It doesn't
Yeah.
have a fucking.
At a low end, if
Right,
you're
I'm
not
talking about the
Oh,
Cloaky
expanded,
yeah,
Hall
the
one.
blockade run.
yeah, if you're not expanded, probably 4 to 6.
Trying to think- I
and
think
if
the
you are
pro-
expanded, it goes up to about 13.5.
Yeah,
so
Pro
if you're
Raiders
doing
13. so-
anything else besides moving around PI or fuel blocks or anything, then you're not going to use this. You're going to use a proper blockade runner, right? You're going to still use a visor.
For a lot of functions, yeah.
Blockade Runner is the best for low volume, high value.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
And we could
these are going to be
say the
pretty
same
common,
about the
though, with their
torrent as well. Like the
capabilities.
torrent is going to be the deep space transport version, right?
You say, okay,
Torrent
so
is-
a crane starts with 4,300, right? So it only starts with 300 less than a crane, but it also has that, the ability to do the PI shit. So that I think the Deluge is going to be better than the other blockade runners. But I
think
don't
there's a good
agree with
chance we
about the
see a
deep
lot of
space
use it.
haulers.
Well, it starts with the 4,300, but it also gets the bonuses per level too. Whereas this one doesn't,
Oh,
right?
you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Which is a
Bonus.
huge,
Yeah, that's
huge
yeah.
bonuses. Yeah.
I mean, on a BR, it's not. When you say huge, I mean we're talking capping
mean,
out at 13 and some change
25% increased
expanded.
cargo hold.
overall. But
Yeah,
off of
overall.
4,000 is not crazy.
No,
But,
no.
but it
but
stays
It's
at 4,000.
5,000 now.
it's still a lot bigger than
Well,
like
yeah,
the,
right. It's like
the
5,
deluge is
5,300
gonna
or
be.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, but so expanded.
But it doesn't have that 30,000.
Right, that's huge.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
huge.
that is going to be huge.
And if you're moving fuel blocks, if you're moving PI, if you like me and you use them for your like kind of go-to nullsec boating around and grab things as you go because it's convenient, it can still be pretty functional. I don't think it's going to obsolete the BR because I think the BR is one of the best ships, if not the best ship in the game, personally, from what they
I
bring
do
to the
like
table.
them.
But I think it's going to give it some good competition, which is good because like you don't want to see them roll out some new ships and people are like, I can't find a use case. Why would I use this
Yeah,
over something
Like,
else?
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, good point.
I hope they don't kill all the other ships either, because some people think some of these are. But like, you know, they're going to give us some variety, and that's fun.
Oh,
They
yeah,
lose-
look at it. Upwell hauler skill, 10% bonus to ship. No, it's the infrastructure hold. So that's even going to go
Yeah.
higher anyway. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
gonna go
I
higher.
gotta get.
They're going to make
So
mean
the-
fuel
Shit,
haulers.
Yeah.
The Deluge does have a higher capacity than the Pro Raider, though.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, Pro
To
Raider
start.
only starts out at 2,900.
Yeah, I think Pro Raider with max cargo hold expanders is 13.
It's got a lot
Or
more low
I think it's a little more than
slots,
13. I usually do 13 because then you put either I still put a DCU on there or a what do you call it? Not DCU, the
Yeah,
thing
it's
that
got a
lets
lot
you
more
get away
low
from
slots.
points. What's that called? Warp core
Stab?
stabilizer. Yeah.
Stab.
You
What
put
a scrub.
Yeah, I put a
You
stab
use
at a.
stabs? Jeez.
What
Oh,
a
yeah,
scrub,
a stab at an interdiction nullifier, dude.
That's
you can't
worse
get
than ripping
You-
your
you
fucking
put-
implants out
You
when
put
you die.
those on your ships?
I put the and I saved my Pro Raider with 500 million worth of
You
shit
mean
at
you
one time. because of
put?
it.
You mean you pussed out?
I was
What
just
a
blind
scrub.
jumping
I
all
didn't
the
change any of my fits.
I was
since
coming
those
from
have
pure blind
been
and going
added
all the way
game.
to MJ or MJ with like half a billion worth of shit, and I just blind jumped into a fucking Brave camp, or I think it was Brave, or it might have been
Crash
Boss.
gate?
Oops.
No, I didn't crash gate. I was like,
I'm saying you should have.
no, I didn't need to because I had a warp core stab and an
you fit
interdictional
those
fire because they bubbled
lame-ass
up, and I was just like, all align, and then MWD, and then cloak, and they'll decloak me before I get there, but I will be aligned enough, and by the time they decloak me, my MWD will have shut off. I will be, and they decloaked me, and I just warped off instantly before
Until I
they
hit you
deployed
with
me.
my fucking faction scram.
Yeah, and that's like
True.
as soon as they decloak you, like you activate the nullifier, you
Right,
activate
you
the warp core stab, warp, and they pointed me, and I warped off. I'm like, fuck you.
Drayden sounds hugely risk averse.
Also, still have that $500 million though.
You're right. You're right. And I've lost some things in my life. I don't use any of those new mods since they added them. Because I forget when it comes to activating like a stab or like the other thing, the high slot one, the nullifier. No, I haven't changed any interceptor. I haven't changed any blockader, and I just fly the way I used to
you, man.
fly back in the day when those weren't a thing.
They're really
and most
good.
of the time it works out.
They're really
Oh,
good. It's
They're probably really good if you're afraid of the world in your shadow. So,
no, I mean,
you know.
Well, the
only time you-
Deluge also has twice the base speed too of these. It looks like
when you get faction scram though, you get
The
fucked.
other, or the other ones.
the
the
other,
blocker rivers?
That's the one Dom said is going to be the best.
Yeah, see, you're just proving me right more and more, and I'm hardly ever right. So there you go.
Feels good.
And scan resolution looks like about the same. Actually, it's less. Has
And
a
it
lower
can, and it
scan
can hit
res
back.
too, and it can hit back.
Yeah, all
slower
of these,
scan
to
res,
my knowledge,
too.
all of these can shoot back, right?
Yeah,
On
they
some
all
level.
they all
Yeah.
have missiles or rockets.
Yeah.
or
And
something.
the Avalanche is going to be thought to be like actually potent. From
Like a
what I've read.
battleship, yeah. So
Battleship level.
the Deluge has 3 launchers.
So we're just gonna see like combat haulers.
They are, yeah. They're
Oh,
combat
dude,
haulers.
same as
just
the Tech
PvP
one.
in those things, and you can scoop any amount of loot you
dude.
want. Fuck yeah.
I plan on PvPing in a deluge,
Yeah.
killing explorers
Just call
in a
it-
deluge.
Just call it the Big D fleet. Let's go.
So it
Whoa.
looks like the Avalanche is the only one that has more than 3 launchers.
The Avalanche is the big one.
Yeah, it's got 6 launchers.
Something like that. So
With
down
a 10%
below
bonus
that,
to missile damage and per level of upwell fighter or freighter, and
Doesn't it also
20%
have
to the
a-
auto targeting missile damage.
Yeah, I was
so-
gonna say the auto targetings.
so there are some new skills required for flying some of those. Down below this, the different ship types, it does explain what all goes into the infrastructure hold a little bit. Talks a
I
little bit
got
about
one
the
more question
DPS
about the
stuff.
Avalanche. Is it technically a freighter then?
It is a freighter. Yeah.
So it's the first freighter that has fittings.
Yeah.
low.
6
Besides
3 low.
low, yes.
6 3
Yeah.
3 and 3, right? Yeah.
Besides low, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the point of
Some
it?
people think that one has a good chance of.
I think it does
cannibalizing
too, because if you look at the attribute, even the regular cargo hold, it's still 205,000 M3s. I mean, not as much as the other ones, but 2 million infrastructure hold, plus another 205,000. So I mean, it'll be used.
Yeah, remains to
I'm
be
sure it'll
seen.
be nice
But
and cheap too, probably, right?
yeah, well, sure, we'll see. Down below that, talking about some carrier balance changes.
New conduit jump.
This is also one of the places they're adding more skills. Has anybody taken the time to add up the number of skills they're adding?
Quite
I
a
have
lot.
not. It's at least a few
Because this
so
is
far.
3 new ones just for the ships. Right?
Well, just from the Skinner stuff, it's like another 8 skills or something.
For the Skinner stuff. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Rudolph, what
Skinner.
was your question?
To be a ship painter. I need 8 different skills to drop
No,
penis on
Rudolph,
my ship.
I'm going to answer that question real quick. The assault damage control does not make it so you can't move for 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna type it out. Yeah, that's an activated damage control.
It gives you a healthy
So-
boost if you're being primary or whatever. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so it gives you like very mild resist across the board, way worse than a
Yeah.
normal damage control. But when you activate it, is it 10 seconds? Or is
10
it
or 15, something like
10,
that.
yeah,
That
10 or
sounds right,
15
somewhere
seconds,
there.
whatever they activate. It gives you like 90-something% resist,
Yeah.
like shield
Across the-
armor, whole, like
Yes,
you
yeah.
basically become almost invincible for like 10 to 15 seconds. And so you basically wait until you get primaried, you activate that, and then you survive the volley that comes in, which is long enough for now if you're on a cruiser That's
It's
long
2
enough
minute-
for your Logi wing to lock you up so you don't die to the initial volley, and then they can keep you repped up after that when it wears off. On the assault frigates, you use it to let you get in, you point things, and then you like they'll try and kill you because you're tackling them. So you activate the damage control. You don't die to the cruiser or whatever you're tackling at first, long enough for maybe someone else, a bigger ship or something, to come get point, and then you can bug out and warp off or something like that before you die. So it's basically like a very short term mega resist to
It is one
make
of
you
those things
survive
you've
a
gotta-
bunch of damage at first, and then hopefully you.
There's a level of not skill points, but skill when it comes to activating the right time.
Yeah.
Right? There is. You can screw
absolutely.
because it's a 2-minute cooldown, so you can easily screw yourself.
Right.
You know, activating too
Yeah.
late.
You
or
can
activating
also-
too early. Yeah, it's just one
I've
of
also thought. I mean, if you have like a repper, what the ones that you have to reload, what are those called? The ancillary reppers. So you run your ancillary repper to tank the damage that's incoming. Then your repper goes on reload. You can activate the damage control to make you survive like half of that reload duration, so that hopefully by the time your thing reloads, you haven't died yet, and you can pop. It basically gives you like 2 reloads on the
That's interesting.
ancillary. You can use it like that as like an interim survivability mechanic.
And when
so.
you're not activating it, it acts as a damage control unit.
A
With
weaker,
just a weaker one,
damage.
It's
but
very weak. It's like a third
But
or
it
a
still
quarter
has that-
of a
it
normal.
still
DC.
has
Sure,
some benefit.
gives
But
you
yeah, but it's something.
give you some Omni tank in a much weaker.
I
flavor.
like the modules. I think they're
Yeah, I mean, if you're flying an assault ship, you should definitely have one of those on there.
I don't rock them often because just like the stab or the nullifier, I would forget to press it a lot. In
The ADC
situations
though,
where
right?
you're gonna the ADC. In a
Oh,
lot of
yeah,
those
ADC
kind of
is
big
better.
fleet fights, I'm kind of like Drayden. I'll usually fly Logi or something, so I've got
Yeah.
plenty on my plate. I don't need to worry about like hitting my briefcase in the sense of the old damage control.
Yep, that's
You're
Yeah,
not
it's-
running DPS, 2 Logi tunes, and a carrier
No.
pilot?
I do not.
I don't know how people multi-box
I'm
like
off.
Logi and anything else. Like it blows
Especially
my mind.
Logi and anything else. That's hard. I can't do it.
Yeah.
like,
I-
I mean, 2
I'm
DPS
playing
ships,
Whack-A-Mole
sure.
and I'm playing Logi.
Yeah,
I'm memeing a bit, and if I'm multi-boxing in a fleet like that, it's either multi-boxing DPS or Logi. Usually DPS because that's way easier. I will not do Logi multi-box while also fielding a cat pilot because my brain will just melt all over my desk.
I would do that if it was like if I had one Logi and like maybe a Dread, because like Dread
Yeah,
targets
Dread.
come slowly in. And if you're in Siege, you don't have to worry about like broadcasting for reps because you're not going to get any. You just need to shoot what needs to be shot.
Dread's
I mean-
the only one I would feel
Yeah, like
comfortable
I'll
with.
do
Dread-
DPS
Yeah.
and a command.
And
ship,
yeah,
but not
dreads are
Logi.
different. I was thinking more like
Or
carrier,
if you got like a
or a super.
Yeah,
Right.
or if you got like a command ship,
Or
you're
even
just
a
doing
fax, yeah.
links for the fleet. That's easy. Turn the links on
Oh yeah,
and just like
but-
watch if you get
But I also
primary
won't do
broadcast.
DPS in like a dictor because you got to concentrate on the dictors.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's
I
an
don't-
important job.
Yeah, people that are like deep, like multi-box. There's people that they'll be like, I got a Logi, 2 DPS, and a Dictor. It's like, how the fuck
Right.
do you do it? Logi requires a lot of attention. Tackle and Dictors require a lot of attention. How the
You're
fuck
not
do you do
doing
both
any
of
of
those
those
on
well
top
enough.
of DPS? Like, I don't know how they do
my
it.
favorite actually to put my main in though for a sub became and a command ship because that's just turn it on when like you need to have it on and just like follow the FC, like it's fucking easy mode.
Yeah. Also, we got the beat. I think we veered off topic a bit.
We
Oh,
did
yeah.
really skip the
I don't know
beat.
where we were at.
Did the beat already? Yeah.
So
we-
yeah,
did-
we
the
honestly
thing.
we're 2 hours in. We've gotten maybe halfway through the patch notes.
Yeah.
We're just
Okay.
shy of halfway.
We
Uh,
were-
yeah.
We were
Let me find
just
the patch.
touching on.
Carriers.
We were just
Carriers,
touching on
baby.
balance
Oh,
ships
yeah.
and carriers, which is about 45% down the scroll bar, maybe.
All right.
Something like that.
We may not
excited about
finish
this
this
one.
tonight unless we go for a long show. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, let's just keep trucking.
Well,
and see what
some after
happens.
this
That's
can
right.
kind of go faster. But this one we need to talk about because this
on
kicks
going.
ass.
This is new info. This
Yeah.
is recent.
Conduit jump. FC what do?
So that's the thing. So I was seeing people say conduit. Redline was talking about it's like an MJD. Those are 2 different things. Conduit
There's
is like a
multiple
Black
things.
Ops
There's
conduiting people in. So like, is the
Yep.
carrier gonna be able to jump with a group to a sino?
5
Yeah,
to
that's
30
the only
players.
way you're going to be able to jump is with the
That's-
So
carrier.
yeah, let's
That's
let's
sexy.
break this up. So it's different things. Let's go through each one by one. LB, take it away.
So the conduit jump is the ability to take 5 to 30 players, depending on skills, in the jump tunnel with them. The number of players which are passengers for the jump is increased by a new skill, capital jump portal generation, which will increase the limit by 5 per skill. Prerequisites will be jump portal generation 5 with a training multiplier of 14. Purchase location will be in the standard Empire schools for the ships, which can be passengers for a conduit jump. Include all variations, including faction T2, T3, etc. Corvettes, frigates, destroyers, cruisers, battle cruisers, and battleships.
Okay. So subcaps.
So,
it's a
when
fleet
you
conduit.
jump to a fucking Sino, you can bring 5 to 30 people with you.
and
of
did,
any
did they say
variety,
all subcaps, or was it like battleships, battle cruisers, what was it?
Everything.
All
Okay,
in all
okay.
variations of those ships.
Not
T2,
capitals though, right?
faction,
You can't, I'm
no,
guessing
no
you can't
capitals.
conduit other capitals with you.
Other capitals would
Oh.
just jump to the Sino.
That's true. But then
Yeah, you
again, you could, like, can you conduit other Black Ops battleships? Like,
So if
there's
you're
no
a
reason
dick like
for you.
I'm like me,
There's no reason
I'll,
for you to do that, but can
I'll
you
use
do that?
another person's bridge even though I can jump myself.
I'm just
I'll
wondering, like,
keep
is
my
there could
fuel.
be mistakes if people are too close to each other?
In
It brings the other carrier instead of one of the battleships with.
In my limited experience, and it's probably wrong, you can't conduit things that could already jump drive themselves.
Okay.
In the same way that like you can't jump through a Titan bridge with like a dread or something.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, like-
oh no, but if Black
No.
Ops can use another Black Ops bridge. I've done it because I'm a
Yeah.
dick.
Yeah.
They use
no,
the
The
that's-
bridge, but not the conduit. The conduit is like
Conduit,
the,
no, not the conduit. But
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bridges,
okay.
yeah.
The other question I had was so carriers, is this including faxes can do this too?
No.
'Cause
I don't think a fax is a
Faxes
carrier.
Faxes
I
are
thought
not
faxes-
Fax is not a
Fax is a
carrier
fax.
anymore.
It's its own
Oh,
classification.
okay.
of ship,
I thought they were originally like, yeah, I think they were
They were-
originally.
They were,
Originally, yeah.
they were many, like, oh god, 8 years ago. That was a long
Before they were
change.
faxes.
Yeah,
Okay.
But now they're faxes. Faxes
That's
are
right.
faxes,
I mean,
carriers are carriers.
I like
You will
this.
respect them.
I like this because this doesn't require you to have a Titan. You can now essentially bridge people as long as you're willing to put a carrier at risk.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be now. I know a lot of people have Titans these days. Like even smaller groups have Titans to bridge people, but not everyone
That's
does.
kinda
And
cool.
maybe they don't necessarily want to
For a small
like.
group.
Yeah, what if you got some small PvP group and they're like, we're totally willing to throw a Thanatos out there, but we don't
Yeah.
want to. We don't have anyone with a bus or something. You know.
Okay, before we move on this conduit jump, right? It says the capital jump portal generation will increase the limit by 5.
Yep.
Right. But then the
Yep.
next thing down it says prerequisite will be jump portal generation 5.
Those are two different skills. So you need to have jump portal generation 5
Okay,
in
so
order to
is
start
that a new
training
jump? Okay, got it.
capital
Yeah.
fucking
Is capital
what it
one a
was.
new one then or no?
yes. Yeah.
I believe so.
Got it,
So that's
okay,
number
got
that's
it,
that's
right.
new skill number 28. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
task this
New
with bits?
skill.
I think it's like 15.
Capital jump portal
Titans for
generation.
robots.
Don't you stifle my hyperbole.
Oh, that's right. I changed this stuff on.
are they? I wonder if they're changing the Titan bridge to require the portal generation.
I don't know.
That would be confusing if they
It
Did
would make
that.
sense. Well,
I doubt
mean,
it. I don't think they've said anything to that effect.
Well, because the bridge is still not it's not a conduit jump,
Right.
right?
Well,
It's a
but what's
bridge.
what's the name of the skill again?
Capital
Jump
generation.
portal
Jump.
generation.
So yeah, and I mean, the module that you add on is literally like jump portal generator. So
I don't know.
like
Don't give
it
them
would
any
it
good
would it
ideas.
would make sense to me for consistency. If they don't do it, I
Sure,
think
yeah,
they're
you're not
stupid.
wrong. But think of all the pissed off bridgers.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking
Those
as
are
one
people,
of them,
too.
whatever. I mean, we're not.
Wow.
All right. Are we good with conduit jumps?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't
It
know,
seems
Drake looks
neat.
like he's intently reading, so I don't want to like.
Me? Sorry.
Like
No, Drake.
I'm setting up a thing because someone put some bits in. So I was like, thanks for the bits. And I was like, oh, I should go change that thing. And
But
apparently,
there's no
I
module.
didn't
yeah,
have
there's no
shit
module
bits
for
to
the
show up
conduit.
at all. So not bad.
Little bit of biddies. Rights for the
It's-
robots. Whoa, this some iRobot
it
shit.
doesn't say that. There's no module for the conduit jumping.
conduit,
It's
it's
just
just part of
something
it,
that
yeah.
carriers can naturally do.
Oh, because don't
Really?
you have to have a module for the Black Ops?
That's wild.
No, the Black Ops is not a
Wait,
module.
can
either.
Rorquals naturally
Just the
conduit? They don't
bridge.
need something
Yes.
either.
Yes.
Okay,
just-
so that's
wait, you
interesting.
can just
The
Conduits
rogue can only
fascinating.
conduit industrial ships,
But
correct?
you could just conduit
Yeah.
without a module.
Yeah, that's how conduits work. It sounds like.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now it's
Which
not a
is
bridge
wild.
because you go with them. That you
So
take
again-
them with them. It's not a bridge.
How about
You have to
Blops
go to-
battleships? Instead of bridging a fleet of bombers or whatever, you can conduit without
I know
having
you
like
can
a bridge
conduit.
mod.
I've never
that-
done a
that's what I'm
conduit,
asking.
so
No,
I've,
you-
I've,
Yeah.
I've
Conduit,
ridden.
you go with them. Bridging, you send them.
Yeah,
right?
I've ridden
Bridge,
on
you have to have a
conduits. I've
module.
never.
Why-
done
I always
I've,
assumed you needed the module.
I've never activated a conduit, so I didn't know. I thought I just assumed
Me
it was a module you do.
Right now it's just Black Ops and Rorks, right? That's currently.
Yeah.
Yes, for conduits, I believe so. Yes. Yeah, that's interesting. I like that.
So
I'm
now
not
you can
gonna
like
put-
suitcase carrier a fleet to somewhere remote, some backwater fucking NPC null sec or low sec, and then you can conduit jump your little fleet into combat somewhere.
But
Well,
no,
perhaps
you can't
is-
conduit like haulers. So it's yeah. So you can conduit
Oh,
your
yeah, that's
your
true.
carrier
Oh, do
with
they
your
won't
support
apply?
fleet, right? Yeah.
Haulers are
Only-
not applicable for this.
So corvettes, frigates, destroyers, cruisers, battle
Oh, it
cruisers,
does
and
have a list. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
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 So traditional combat hull.
But Roars
and-
can
yeah.
do the
And
industrial.
if you go along with a conduit, you still get fatigue. Rudolph was saying, well, you can jump with no
I
fleet
believe so.
time. No, if someone conduits and you go with them on the conduit, you get a jump timer. You get a fatigue timer. So it still
but the
counts.
conduit does not cost fuel for the
No,
same person.
it only costs fuel for you, the one person
Correct,
jumping.
Yeah, it costs activation basically.
Yeah.
and,
Oh, that's
like,
interesting.
that's
I
it.
didn't know that either.
Yeah.
So you can save a bunch of fuel on
Yeah,
it.
but
too.
Yeah.
bridge.
But you have to
but-
go with them.
But you have to
right?
go with them, and you're
Yeah,
limited, you're
but-
limited to the number of people that can go through with you, as far as opposed to just opening a bridge and anyone can go through as long as you got.
It's
Space-
basically the lowest
yeah.
cost way to like move that many people around.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So
Space
you
Gator,
can
if-
still
if it's the same as the Black Ops, then the distance will be whatever that ship is. It did not change. The conduit is still the same distance as the Black Ops does. It's just
Light
a bigger
years
jump.
wise, yeah.
Yep. So I'm assuming
you can
it's still a
put
carrier.
you can put a hauler inside of a carrier, right?
not
in a
not
fleet
with anything
hangar?
in it though.
No, you can put stuff in. You can
You
have
can't
cargo
have
in
anything in
them.
the cargo hold if it's inside. If it's in your ship hangar, you cannot have anything in it.
No, you can, because I load stuff up all the time in when I was taking my suitcases.
It's got to be
all my ships-
charges.
Yeah, it can
Charges.
only be
Ship cannot
charges.
have
I thought they
shipping cargo.
changed that
It
to
can
where
be
it doesn't have to be
charges.
charges anymore. I think you
Charges,
just carry
which
Thought it was
includes
just-
ammo, cap boosters, a handful of other things.
Yeah,
Charges
blocks.
is not
nanites,
super
stuff
specific.
like that. But I
Yeah.
thought
You
now
can't have put a
charge it.
ship in the ship bay if it has stuff in it. It won't even.
I'm
let you
gonna
put it in
I'm
there.
gonna
You
test
can't.
this because I'm pretty sure I remember testing this.
Dom,
That
you
I think
can't.
they changed it a while back that now you can put anything in. If it fits in your cargo,
I don't think that.
it can
No,
go in the
it's-
ship maintenance
no.
bay.
If it's mm,
I don't think it's anything.
oh,
I mean, I could be wrong.
I
but
thought you were talking- wait,
pretty
I think- are you-
sure.
are you guys? I think we're talking about
It can
different
be
things. 'cause
fitted. It just
some
can't have
people
stuff
are-
in the cargo
Like,
hold.
yeah,
Fleet
some people-
hangar or ship maintenance bay? That's the difference, right?
well,
Ship
there's-
maintenance,
you're-
there's-
but you can't
I'm
put
trying
ships
to
in the fleet hangar
clarify.
unless they're packaged.
well, some people
What do
were
carriers
talking.
have?
Some people were talking about limits on items being inside a ship that ship itself you're trying to put into your ship maintenance bay. And yes, there are limits there. You can't have like modules. It can be like ammo, basically anything that can get
Couldn't do
loaded into a
refits.
module.
But you can do charge it.
I'm pretty sure I have ships
what
that
about-
have refit modules in their cargo, and I put them in my ship maintenance bay when I was moving this last week.
What about reagents? Or can reagents? Because here's
I'm
what I'm
gonna
thinking.
test it. I'm gonna test it.
Here's
I'm
what I'm
gonna
thinking. You
test
There's
it.
take-
limits on
I'm doing
some.
that right now. Yeah.
You
I
and
think it's
your
on
friends get
haulers.
a carrier. You go find some place where you want to jump it in and steal some stuff from a skyhook. You load the hauler into the carrier. You conduit jump everybody in. You blow up a fucking meat nox moon drill or whatever. You grab all the stuff that's in it, and then you fucking boogie your way out with the fucking carrier.
Yeah, I think I mean unless haulers have a very specific rule for
I
them.
think it's haulers just.
I generally don't
yeah.
put haulers in my
it's
carrier
not
because
on
they take up
haulers.
so much space that it's just not worth it. It's like I can just fly.
The limit
per
is
reader.
item is based on the specific type of item because some will work, some won't, and then what type of bay you're trying to put it in. That's the limiting factors.
Okay. 'Cause, yeah, I still I'm like one silo jump away from where we're deployed. I just haven't got there yet. So my
What
suitcase
will
is still
headliner say?
my suitcase is still packed up. Well,
Move
he
your
doesn't know.
suitcase.
He doesn't
then,
know.
fool.
Don't you tell him. You shut up. You shut up.
At headliner, Drayden has not moved yet because he's a scrub.
I've moved like 85% of the way. I'm almost there.
Hold
Only
on, I know
15%
I'll
scrub.
shame you. Hold on.
The one night that I would have made it in there, I was gonna jump in, but like it was so late that everyone was in bed, and there was like 5 neutral Lokis just flying around the system. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna lose a rapier tonight, so I'll just do it another day.
We
You do the micro
Yeah,
jump
we got
drives.
the-
Mo-
Micro jump
moments-
drives, capital micro jump field generators. Carriers will gain the ability to fit new capital size versions of the micro jump drive and the micro jump drive field generator. Both of these modules will require a new skill, capital micro jump drive operation. It jumps carrier 250 kilometers in whatever direction. That's the micro jump drive. The micro jump drive field generator will jump a carrier 50 subcapitals and up to 4 capitals around it.
Why?
Capitals are counted separately to subcapitals. So you can do 54 ships max, 4 capitals, 50 subcaps.
That's why.
But
like a-
that's,
like a
not
capital
the, that's not
boosh.
the big
Yeah.
thing, though.
This can move ships which are in siege, such as siege dreads, triage mode, fax, and rorquals with cores active.
Yeah, and
After
Yeah.
the jump completes, all ships moved by the jump are scrammed for 5 seconds and unable to be moved again by MJD micro jump drive field generator until the effect expires.
and
Both
I-
modules can be stopped by warp scramblers and scripted heavy interdrives. Okay, so my idea of fucking spearfishing with carriers is probably not going to work because of this 5-second fucking scram once you've done
It's
the,
only 5
the
seconds.
effect.
and I just
Yeah, I
like,
guess.
No,
You-
you'll still be able to boosh them like what you suggested. You just can't like double boosh.
Well, not
That-
back
Like
that's
we
what
used
that's
to
what
do when they first
spearfishing
came
is.
out. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what spearfishing is, the double boosh, right? You
But
sit
with-
250k off, the one carrier booshes you in, the next carrier booshes everybody out. So you run away
Oh
with
yeah,
three,
yeah.
But with
three
only a
faxes
5
and 49 subcaps with you.
with only a 5-second cooldown, and who knows what the activation time is, I think you could probably still pull it off with like a little bit of like very minimal cooldown.
Yeah, if you're waiting on the same carrier to do it again, you'll be fine. But if like you said, if you have 4 carriers, each one is going to do it, there'll be a 5-second delay before the next one can
That's
do it.
still pretty quick. I
That's still
think.
pretty quick because you want
I
to
mean,
get a
how-
rind anyway. Make sure
and
you
what
get a
if-
rind. Yeah.
So
How long is it going to take a Hictor, a heavy interdictor, to lock onto you and fucking hit you with a scripted scram? Is it going to take more or less than
if you're
5
a
seconds?
carrier, probably pretty quickly, I would think.
Right. So I don't know
Like,
if this
a
is
couple
going
of
to.
seconds.
Your
Or you
limits,
could have the
your-
bubble. You could have a
well,
Hictor bubble up, right?
Your limit there really is more the like mechanics wise. Yes, they could react fast enough, but the human factor is going to be your issue there.
And also, I just checked. Yeah, you can have modules in your cargo in ships and put them in the ship maintenance bay.
in
There's
some ships, yes,
something-
Drayden. We were talking about haulers for
Oh.
whatever reason. So haulers are limited in some ways.
Specifically,
with-
just
with how you
haulers.
haul.
That seems really.
I,
weird.
I want to say that's it. Because I do agree
I
with
don't-
you.
I-
I've suitcased a lot of ships over the years.
Well, I
know
don't.
you
I
add
just checked it. 'Cause,
refits.
like I have a Zarmaz
Yeah.
with an alternate MWD. I've got a smart bomb in there. I've got cap rechargers.
I don't know if it's just haulers. I apologize. I've been drinking.
Yeah,
Oh,
how dare
I'm
you?
telling
How
you,
dare
it
you,
changed.
sir?
It didn't used to be that way. They've changed it.
But there is something to it,
They
and
did
they've
change it a while
actually
back.
expanded it over the years to where it now can do cap charges,
Yeah,
nanite,
no,
like a
it-
handful of things that are considered charges. But at
Well, I
one
just tried
point,
it
it
too.
was
It let me
just
put
like
modules in there.
No,
it was
let
only
me
like
put it in,
one
yeah.
specific.
Yeah, no. A long time ago, it used to be you could only put charges like in there, but it was like I think it was like 2-ish years ago, 2 or 3. They
Why not
changed it to where
suitcasing
you
that
could you
long?
could start
Maybe.
putting modules in ships and put them in the ship maintenance bay in
Crazy.
capitals.
Thank you. Steve.
Now haulers might be a different issue, but in regular ships, you can if it fits in your cargo hold, it can go in there and then go in the ship maintenance bay.
I could just be wrong at this point.
No,
Yeah,
I just checked the two.
some things
Drayden
I
is
forget.
correct. Yeah, it didn't used to be that way, but it is now.
It
You're right.
didn't.
But I'm thinking
I
like
remember they
even for
changed
like
that
the
a while
hauler
back.
thing, maybe it's just everything. Maybe I'm just
It might
using
just. I
outdated
think.
knowledge.
All right.
I think it might just be that. But
Bring it back.
yeah. Sorry.
We got the
Bring it
beat.
back. Let's bring it back. The network sensor array will block the activation of a micro jump drive or a micro jump drive field generator module by the ship it is activated on. A carrier may
wouldn't
still
mind
be
that.
moved by another ship activating the CMJFG while its NSA is active.
Okay.
The
so they can
skill
be
books are
rescued.
located in Empire schools or purchased from the character sheet directly. 250 million ESC for the schools, 325 from the sheet. Blueprints for both new modules will be found in data sites. Only one of these modules can be fit on a carrier at any given time.
Ooh, data sites though.
Would you need more of them?
Here's one thing that I could actually see this being really useful
Good
for
on that.
carriers is how and you'd be restricted to probably doing this with like Archons is super heavy tackle. You basically fit your boosher a bunch of heavy scrams and you basically boosh into like tackle a super carrier.
Right.
I could, and especially like think about some of these big bashes where people are using like long range dreads and stuff on a fort. You've got subs all over, you got caps all over, but like if you could go from being on tether to being way out there by a big group of caps and stuff, like that's a battle changer.
Well, imagine too, you put say like polarized battleships next to your carrier. You use your boosher and you boosh them all onto long range dreads, You could probably roast the long range dreads pretty damn fast.
Did you say a Paul Reiser?
Can you boosh other capitals?
Some type of high
With
DPS
this new one, you
battleship,
can. Yeah.
like,
Isn't that an act?
like maybe like
Marauders,
no, not Marauders, like T1 battleships, like suicide battleships.
I guess, yeah. But like
Like
Marauders, you can
Sniper
boosh
ACOG
you can boosh
something?
things that are in siege with this. So like
Yeah,
if you're
so-
Marauders and you put them into Bastion mode, then you boosh them onto something. Like
Yeah.
You could
Wow.
also,
could
if
do
you're
that.
saying a wormhole, if you're crabbing, you bring your carrier in to spawn the drifter. You keep it in the site, and guess what? If bad guys come, you just
You
boosh
boosh
all your
off.
marauders out.
Yeah.
yeah.
I could see this step. I mean, so if the carriers can boosh other capitals, I mean, just like you would do with regular booshing destroyers, you boosh a group out and then you kill them because now they're out of Logi range, etc. Same thing with with other
Or
capitals.
you kill what's left over,
No, I
one or
mean
the other.
with the dreads. I mean, if dreads are sieging, it doesn't really make sense to do that because they can't get reps anyway. Unless they're like, kind of out of your range and you boost them into, like, if you got, close range dreads and they're doing long range dreads, you can boost them into your dread range and then they die faster. Maybe.
I mean, you could do it either way, and I
But-
honestly, I've seen a couple people chatter about how they think this is destined to be paired with the Lancers, and I think that there's a very real chance there that these two ships start to make each other make way more sense.
I could almost, I don't know, this
And
this
just
might be
crazy.
a little bit of like some attempted 4D chess that is too convoluted that it may not necessarily work. But what if you get these big dread battles and like you got the guy that's like, I'm primary, but it's gonna take him a little bit to die. Carrier warps down, booshes him out. Now the enemy fleet is out of range; they can't shoot him, so they spend all their time shooting him. He gets saved, and then they have to swap new targets, and you just keep boosting. Like maybe you
Well, I
spread
assume
your,
he'd be
maybe
taxed.
you
You do that to
spread
be
your
so
dreads
spread
out.
out to do that.
I know
don't
you
spread out
spread
to
your
do that.
dreads out, but
Way out, yeah.
you don't lose dreads if you boost them to safety. I don't know. Maybe you can use it as
Then you'd
defensive
have to get
tactic.
more-
I guess it'd be
more,
very
uh,
dependent on the
faxes, yeah.
range.
Yeah,
would think
and
they'd
then,
be
and
tackled,
then
though,
they, and then they,
too.
well, and then they could
I
see
think it would
dread
depend
and-
on numbers too, right? Like if
Yeah,
it only moves 4 dreads at a time. So even if you were super tight together and somebody was like, "Hey, I'm,
Oh, as
I'm
long-
You
going
don't get to pick
boosh
the
me
4
out."
dreads though.
Well, that's
Yeah, it's
true.
random.
But
That's
as
what I'm
long as
saying,
you
if-
had big dread blobs, it honestly is probably not that big of a trade off.
if you're
But
Move
would
spread
them
you
out,
out,
take
and
any
then you can
support
move them
ships
back
with you?
later if
Yeah.
you need
yeah,
to.
if you're spread out, and like if they get boosted out, they could just siege red, and then the carrier that boosted them out can rep them up while it's there.
You could just have two
Rep 'em
giving
up,
them
and
back
rep
and
'em up,
forth.
then warp back in,
Hunting
siege
rook.
green, and go back to shooting. So I don't know, like
At
that,
any
like I
given
said,
time-
that might be a little bit too complicated to, but I don't know. Like there's
Wait,
a
we're
lot
gonna see
like
it.
a lot of these
Before
groups
you-
that they pull off some complicated tactics, and that I don't know. That'd be
Well, you
neat
got
if
a
they
I
did
boosting
think
that.
You got a boosting Rourke who's not in range of a rock because that's usually the way they are. You come in, you boost him away from even though he's sieged because he's boosting, you can boost him
I
away
mean, they
even
could
farther
siege
from the ability to lock onto a rock, and now he can't pulse and he dies.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Sign
And
that
he won't be able to
carriers
panic
still get
if
repping
you
That's what I mean. I
bonuses,
can't
though.
panic. I meant panic.
Sorry,
I said pulse.
yeah.
I meant panic. Yeah.
Carriers
'Cause I
still
think
get
it's
repping
about
bonuses.
250 or something. You have to be
Unless
that
you want
close
to
rock.
warp faxes down, like you boost the dread out, and then you have like a triage team of, you warp the faxes down to rep that guy up when he sieges dread, and I don't know, but I think that's
I'm
even
thinking
more.
though-
That's even more moving parts. Whereas you could just have the carrier, like maybe it has triage thing too, and maybe just triage and. Rep,
But I'm
I don't
thinking,
know.
Drayden, if we're talking 4 caps total, you've got dread fight, 50, 100 on each side. If we're trying to just find a use case and entertain the idea you were having, you come through with your rescue carrier, you yoinks the one you're intending on, the one who's broadcasting or whatever, and 4 more or 3 more, I guess. Yank them down 250. You drop off that guy, whatever. He's going to warp out. He's going to do something different. He's going to get, triage, desiege, whatever his plan is. You can yeet back the other ones. You could use 2 carriers to literally just put out fires in the
That's
middle
what
of a
I'm
big
saying,
fleet
like-
fight, and that's wild.
And if you
And
if you manage if you put scrams on your dreads and you managed who is scramming who, like you're scramming your buddy so he doesn't get booshed off,
You
but then
can-
buddy
yeah.
starts to take damage,
but if you're
everybody drops
sieging, you're
scrams
immune.
on that guy.
If you're sieging, aren't you immune to like E-War like that?
No, I mean you still could
You might
do
be
it.
immune,
It's
but
just
it
not gonna
says, like,
do
if-
anything to you if you think about it in the traditional.
Because
sense,
I don't think you
wouldn't
can be
warp 'cause you're
scrammed if
besieged.
you're. I know, but if you're sieged, I don't think you can be scrammed. So if you can boost things that are in siege, I don't think you can scram them to not get booshed. Is what I was saying.
Mm.
I think he's still scrambling. I think it just doesn't matter because they're literally tackling themselves.
Well, I know you, but there's
But
a
I could be
difference because if you can boost something that's sieged, that means that you can boosh it. But normally, if you scram something, it can't get booshed, right? But
Right.
you can't scram something in siege, so you can't scram certain pilots to not get booshed. But even though they're in siege,
Maybe
they can
not.
still get booshed. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
So I don't think you can prevent it that way. But that's what I was saying.
But you
To
can
do
lock
a
up that
tactic like
carrier
that, to
pretty
do
quick.
it, to do it
Right.
effectively and accurately, you'd have to have people spread out to where you could, surgically go like this person's getting primary. There's not going to be more than 2 or 3 people around him at most, so I can go and get them out,
Right.
and then
I mean,
they can.
again, the
after
worst
these-
case scenario, if you're in a big dread blob, if you're only losing 4 dreads in a group of 30, 50, 100 at
Yeah.
a time, and you're putting them back reasonably quickly,
Yeah, it's.
I don't
within
think it's
5
that
minutes,
big of a
right?
deal. You're saving one's ass because everything breaks lock. Maybe, at this point, I think we would maybe see the meta shift because he's still going to be in siege and things. He's not going to receive
Yeah.
max reps immediately or something. But if you had like a light local tank that disturbs all their locking, all the whatever, and he can buffer himself back up, and you got people yeet him back in, and then you just keep a constant
Yeah.
rotation.
Like I said, it's
Like I could see it.
it's a lot of working parts. It requires a lot of competency and a lot
Every
of.
big fleet fighter.
So I'm just saying, it like, would that work effectively? Maybe.
I'm not calling
if
people
if you
poor.
did it very well on the execution level, that could work. But it comes down to like, would it be worth it? Because if you warp people out, or if you boost people out, it takes potentially up to 5 minutes for them to siege red and then warp back in. It does not take 5 minutes for the other side to like reacquire another target. So it's like you might have 3 or 4 groups of 3 to 4 dreads out of the battle at all times, and so now you have to like account for that and have that many more dreads.
I
in the
think
fight.
it'd be more effective.
And
to
the
use
thing is,
pushing-
if both-
pushing
if
their,
forgetting-
If
Thing
both
too.
sides are doing that, that makes for a really boring dread battle with lots of firing and nobody dying.
or
It's a
boosting
chess
their
game.
factions
You're
out.
moving your
That's
pieces
what I would
around the
use it
board.
as.
You're forgetting
Boost their
too.
factions out of range.
Yeah, it's maybe 5 minutes to come out of siege with no tie dye.
Oh, of course, yeah. We're talking tie-dye, so it's
Throw
going to
it
be much
with
more.
tie dye,
Correct.
server issues. Yeah, you potentially could take dreads out of the fight for like an hour.
So the thing about the beat is
Good
that
point,
they're
man.
adding 12 new faction light and support fighters. And I don't know if you guys wanted to continue on, but I was going to try.
Okay,
No-
yeah,
no
we
more
can do that.
carriers?
That's
Oh.
good. We're doing.
I mean,
we're moving
At this
on.
point, we're kind of theory crafting on shit
Yeah,
that we're
yeah.
only going to find out.
I
once the game
think
comes
I
out,
think
which is
we're gonna
perfectly
have to
fine,
wait.
But
We're
we're
gonna
like
have to wait
halfway
for
through.
this. We're gonna have to wait for the small, high skill, super rich groups.
We're gonna have to see
take
what
their
PL does
carriers
with it.
out, figure out what they not PL. Get the fuck out of here.
You gotta,
The
Actually,
goggle
just buy
man-
another
play,
carrier.
bro.
Yeah, I get one set up.
The goggle man and the boat man are gonna do something,
Yes.
and they're gonna show us how to use these fucking things properly, and then
That's
we'll
right.
see
Praise be.
what to do after that. Okay, so fucking
But they are
new
adding some
faction
fighters.
light and support fighters. Yeah, look at that.
I think we should
We-
take a drink.
we-
before
just
we
what
talk
we
about
needed?
fighters. Drink.
Oh, I
Okay,
agree.
let's have a little
Drink,
drink.
drink.
Yep, little sippy poo.
Just a
Drink.
little drink.
Drink it down like a
DTM, what's up, man?
Yeah.
I haven't seen DTM in a long time.
I don't know that we needed them, but cool. I like variety anyway, so yay more.
So these are
faction.
just
I agree.
just a tankier fucking fighters, just like the faction drones are tankier drones.
Don't they track better too?
I think maybe.
I thought faction drones tracked better too. They do less
You
overall
can't-
damage, but
Yeah.
But
They
if
track
you think
better.
about how that inverses with tracking, sometimes it still plays out to better. We've all
Yeah.
seen that, I think.
because
Well,
they do less damage, don't they? Not
they do
just-
less damage. than
Lightly less damage, but if
T2,
they're tracking better, then
But
they're,
they
they're
track
applying
better.
more of the
Yeah,
time.
if, if
so
you're doing less damage,
like-
but you're applying it better, then maybe it's the
Are,
same
are,
damage.
are we
Right.
on
Or maybe it's a little bit better.
Equinox expansion notes? Is that the thing we're?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
about halfway
That's-
down.
yeah,
I want
yeah,
to make
we're
sure
about
I'm on
halfway
the
there,
right page here.
They buff
The,
Doomsdays too. We'll
And
get
it
to
looks
that.
like they're really cheap. So there you go.
Well, I don't know about
Well,
all
they're on
that.
the LP store, right? So
Look at how much they cost. They're
Yeah.
pricey.
Yeah, and then you still got to build them, right?
Yeah,
These
exactly.
are blueprints.
Now, for all,
Fighters
I
are
mean, I
not
know
cheap.
everybody here has like 3 or 4 Titans, so this is important to us all.
That's right. We're
Oh, yeah,
all
okay.
goons.
Yes.
Literally at this point.
All right.
I
Targeted
know
doomsday
Titans
weapons.
is Drayden's favorite ship to fly.
Whoa! So
huge
Is that
buff to
the-
the Titans.
is that the Skyhook Doomsday and something? What the fuck?
Yeah,
is
it's
that?
they're tightening the Doomsday. Or
Skyhooks
they're
have a
tightening
doomsday?
the Skyhook. No. They're
No.
shooting it at the Skyhook.
Wait, you can
Oh, what a
doomsday
bitch.
structures?
It's just a poor little structure.
So damage increase from 1 million to 2 million.
Yes.
So,
So that
max
means
skilled
you're-
Titan Doomsday goes from 1.5 million to 3 million damage.
Ooh.
But you have to have
Should be
Okay.
more, but it's a step in the right
Hell
direction.
yeah. They
It
want
should,
to
I
bring
agree,
Titan
Vlad.
fights
It should be
back.
more.
Right,
I
there's
don't
My
hate it.
opinion is that the Doomsday should be enough damage where two Doomsdays takes out a buffer fit faction dread. That's, in my opinion, the amount of damage it should be.
I think one.
What would
Doomsday
that
should
be in
take
a
out
hit?
Dread.
How much damage would that be, like per shot then?
So probably
Like
right
6
now
or 7?
about 5 million with max scales, because 10 million should take out.
Would it? Or would it take 15?
What's a buffer navy dread with
I bet it's close to
mid grade
15.
amulets at now?
It's like 4 or
Let me
5
check
million.
Wi-Fi.
No, it's like 3 to 4. It's like 4 or 4
We're
and a half
talking
million.
EHP though, right?
EHP, yeah.
Right.
I was gonna say not in practice, because in
Yeah,
practice we're gonna see
that's
what,
what I'm
1
saying.
to 2.
I think if you did, I'm fine
Let's
with this
check
being 1
Wi-Fi.
and a half to 3, because two Doomsdays taken out a buffer faction dread. That makes sense to me. I think it's fine if you have it really like set up like tanked really well. You can survive a Doomsday in really low health.
You
but
think a dread deserves to survive a Doomsday?
if it's
with
in
the cost
if
disparity
it's
of
in
each?
siege and you have like a decent tank fit on it, sure. And you have like amulet or Nirvana clones, yeah.
I agree with
I
that.
mean,
but
Doomsdays
I'm-
have huge
look at the cost
cooldowns.
differential between the
Right,
two.
right, but it's like,
I'm only
but that's
okay
a
with
capital
it
ship, and you're shooting it
anti-doom
with one
damage
thing,
control.
and it's almost dead. If you shoot it with 2 of them, it is dead. I'm fine with that.
2 Titans. If you
I don't
shoot it
know.
with 400 billion ISK worth of Titans, you
Yeah.
deserve to kill that 6
Yes.
billion ISK dread. And
But that's in one shot.
seconds.
That's the thing. Is like Dreadnought.
you're saying 2 Titans.
Here's the thing: Dreadnoughts, 3 billion ISK. Shooting,
shouldn't go down this road.
Dreads
Sorry,
shooting
I'm
battleships
sorry, I didn't
don't
do it.
one volley them necessarily all the time. Sometimes
I
they'll
have
two-
opinions,
they'll
but
two
they're not
volley them.
important. At
Sometimes they'll
this
2
juncture.
volleys, but a Hod Dread can sometimes take 2 volleys to kill a battleship. That Hod Dread is 3 to 4 billion ISK. That battleship is 200 million.
But that's a,
I think
that's
the
a
disparity
tracking
between
issue,
a
not
battleship and a
yeah.
dread, and a
Is
dread and a Titan
about-
is much larger.
Yeah, but still, I'm fine with.
Tracking
Much
issue of the dread
larger.
versus battleship is big. It's a big
About
difference.
100
I'm
times.
I'm fine
think-
with it taking 2 Titans to one shot a Dread.
But even with this
Oh,
change, we're
no,
saying it won't.
Hold on.
I don't see anything wrong with having a 1-to-1 dread to
Time
Titan
out.
ratio.
Time out.
So-
Okay, time out. We
All
got
right,
the
so
beat.
I just piped it. So a Rev Navy, kind of a standard fit that most people run with mid grade amulets is 5 million EHP. So it's actually balanced about right.
Yeah, so 2.
So two Doomsdays will kill a buffer fit faction dread.
Yeah, and that's fine to me. The thing is, like, and you can also shoot it with 1 Titan, and then the Dreads really hurt, and then you use your fucking guns on the Titan to finish it off.
What gun?
You don't put guns on your Titan?
You just the anti-cap guns. Are they in my mind? Sorry, where I was going with that is they removed the Haw guns right off the Titans. That was the only.
Yeah,
one.
you don't need Haas to shoot Dreads.
And
though.
how
You
should
should-
come back?
I know. I was just saying you.
I'm
Just can't
just
do
saying, like, you
tracking
Doomsday
Titans
a
anymore, right?
Dread,
They
and
still
then
do the
you-
anti-cap guns.
Yeah, you just anti-cap it.
I don't
after.
have guns on my Titan. That's why I asked.
So that Titan can take a Dread on by itself. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I think it's fine, but it's fine. I'm just saying with this picture. So the Titans can Doomsday structures.
Okay, yeah.
Or is
let's
it
focus
only
on
the
that.
Skyhook?
My opinion is not important here, and I want to make that note.
Because I'm just
Did you
wondering,
express
like,
Luxury
your opinion?
yacht.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you express your opinion.
I have one, and we should talk about it another time. That's all I'm saying.
Luxury yacht. Go ahead, Elvie.
Luxury yacht.
Super important.
It's fucking nigh uncatchable wormhole rolling ship. They want to remove it as a viable roller with the following changes: power grid reduced from 300 to 100, mass reduced from 10 million to 1 million, agility adjusted from 0.4 to 4.0. Keep a line time the same after these changes.
So
Eat
still
the rich.
uncatchable, but now it's not a,
So-
a roll.
Now it's
whole
not a
roll.
Now it's not a
And
roller.
I've honestly been surprised that it's survived as a roller for this long because it's just such a weird thing for that ship to be used that way. So I'm okay with this, even though I've
Right.
used them for rolling.
I found out today when I read this that it was a wormhole.
I was like, what else? What else did they use this for?
I've heard of it,
They're
but I've never
mostly
done it.
just fancy shuttles. They're like
Yeah.
cruiser-sized
Yeah.
shuttles.
Why
But
would
they're
I
impossible to catch. Yeah,
which
I get it.
makes it
They're,
not
they're
worth.
tough to get. Yeah, slipper. I
Yeah,
think what do
you're-
they
you're
cost?
only
Like
getting
200
caught-
million or so?
You know what's tougher to catch? A shuttle that costs 10 to 30,000.
No, I know,
But you
but
can't
they're-
roll
yeah,
anything with a shuttle.
Yeah,
You can't
these are
carry-
mostly
These are a powerful shuttle, from what it sounds like.
these are just jokey shuttles. Essentially, is what they were meant to be.
Shuttles
They
also
got a
have
park.
10
They got a park on the top of them. It's
Shuttles
pretty
also have 10 M3 cargo, so you can use this
Yeah.
to carry more. But
The idea was these were given out to people as one of the like login rewards or something, and they were like, "Oh, it's a fancy cruiser-sized shuttle that you can like drive around and be fun, like a luxury yacht." Essentially, it's literally called a luxury yacht. The idea was you would travel around and just be luxurious while you're traveling.
I
It was a
sold
meme
mine
always am.
very early when everyone
one of
else
those
was selling
Jerry's.
theirs because like I'll never fly this, so I sold mine for like 20 or 30 million. Now they're worth way
You
more
clown.
than that.
The interior is a mix of fine Corinthian leather and alligator.
Ooh.
That's right. Illegal
Gator.
leopard. In the
Yeah.
accent piece.
Oh,
The
speaking of-
snowiest of
Yeah,
leopards.
speaking of leopard, like that is the one limited ship I did. I still have my leopard.
Hasn't
I
blown
lost
up yet?
one of them in high sec one time, just autopiloting, and I asked the guy, I was like, "Why'd you kill me? I wasn't carrying, like I was in a shuttle, I wouldn't carry anything." He was like, "You're in a leopard, dude." And I was like, I didn't know what they
There's a
were.
guy
at the
that
time.
hunts those.
I was
in
like,
Jeddah.
what about him? He's like, "I'm trying to reduce them in numbers." Like,
I was moving
I-
on.
I
he's-
assume he was
He's
invested
got
in
the
them.
stash, and he wants them
He's
to go
probably
up
got a
in
bunch,
That's right,
yeah.
and that was like 5 years, 10 years.
I was
out of the
flying in my leopard to all when I was doing all my asset safety collections because like, oh, this is supposed to be faster. I was just flying all over into like null
Makes
second
total
shit
sense.
with it. Not realizing because like, oh, it's like interdiction nullified and fast as fuck. Just fly it. I didn't know about snort bombing battleships can actually kill shuttles now. Somehow I
Oh, yeah.
lived, but I also didn't realize that because when last time I saw that shuttle it was like 40 million. I was like, okay, it's a 40 million shuttle, but it's like now it's like 250, 300 million. I'm like, oh,
Say last time I looked, it was 200.
It's the
plus, yeah.
fastest shuttle in the game, and there's a
20
specifically there's
AU
one
per second,
But less,
baby.
but
20
crappy
AU,
cap, right? They couldn't. Who
Who gives a fuck?
jump distance.
No,
Whatever
because
you
gonna
at a
get there
certain
fast.
distance they can't make it.
it's just 20 AU per second warp speed. You just
It's a shuttle, but you're
what
still
was
gonna
it?
get there
There's like
fast.
200 plus AU systems out in pure blind. You're like zoom, fucking 5 seconds. You're in the next
So
system.
there
But
is
he's saying you'll cap out in those.
No, there's several systems. Even got perfect skills. You will cap
200
out.
AU.
Yeah, you'll cap
bro.
out.
Okay,
You'll-
but
you'll
you
end
cap
up
out in the
halfway.
middle of nowhere.
I
No
don't
one's
know.
gonna catch you. But anyway,
So there
Honor-
is a guy in high sec though, by the way, that if you warp from the gate to Jeddah, he's in the middle of it, and he smart
he's
bombs, and
timed
it
for
only catches
Yeah.
leopards.
Oh,
That's
shit,
interesting.
really?
I
Yeah,
read about
he's in
that
the
years ago.
middle.
Not
yeah,
for that.
there's
He's like in a
there's
he's
tick
a
points.
medium
Yeah,
safe spot.
That's
Yeah,
right.
he's in a tick point
that's wild. Yeah,
That's
you
well
know,
done.
That's all he
Nothing
does.
else will get hit by it.
because
just
I have
leopards,
a I
because
have
the
a-
leopard
theoretically
warps
right.
at a specific speed. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
only thing that gets
it'll
hit
only
by
hit
it.
Yeah.
certain grids.
I got an
essentially, on the
insta
map.
undock warp that's
That's
in
cool.
line with the New Caldari and Perimeter and all those gates. So that so I warp off in my freight because if people are scanning me, I warp off. They're like, he's going to one of those gates, and they're going to be watching for me. But then I land halfway and then turn around and go to like Sobaseki. And but the thing is, like every so often, like when I'm turning around, I'll like see someone show up in my overview for like a second, and then they disappear. Someone shows up, so it's like I'm in one of those tick points where
Yeah.
it's like fuck.
Well, also, so here's part of that too. Remember how large they made grids at this point? We all remember that, grids used to be shit, sometimes 500, 800, maybe 1,000, 1,200 across.
You can still
whatever.
find
What's
those
up?
sometimes.
But I mean,
They're
we're in
rare,
an
but-
era of 20,000 ish, whatever, 40,000, whatever, large grids. So the flickering
We're
is
in the
way
middle
more
of it.
prominent, I think, than it used to be.
Speaking of which, auto targeting missiles. We should keep going. Go ahead, LB.
Yeah.
That's right.
Auto targeting missiles, with the Avalanche having a heavy focus on auto targeting missiles, faction variations of existing auto targeting missiles have been renamed to Legion auto targeting missiles and are now obtainable in the Mordus Legion LP store for LP and ISCOS of existing missiles of the same size.
No, they
Okay.
I
still
mean, do
sell.
people
They
do
just-
people
just
really
renamed,
use
they still
auto
sell.
targeting missiles
Well,
much?
Here's the thing: the
I-
new
I never
Hollands are all
use them.
Isn't
supposed
that
to
like
use them.
like I'm gonna go AFK, but maybe
You
I'll
get a
shoot
bonus for
someone
it,
if they
but-
attack me?
yeah.
I don't know. Like
They used to be friend or foes, right? Am I
Correct,
remembering
yeah.
that
Yeah.
correctly?
Yeah, they're FOF
Yeah.
missiles. Yeah.
And that would essentially translate to closest thing to me, if
Yes.
I recall. So
Yeah.
like that's
And it-
what it was,
but
friend or
didn't it
foe,
used to
because
be
it was
they
like
hit
whoever's the
friendlies?
closest thing to me is getting hit.
They didn't hit.
Oh, they did it
didn't-
for a long time ago.
I
No,
think in
'cause
the
they knew
early
friend
days
or
they
foe.
did.
Friend or
So-
foe.
No, I
so-
think it was saying friend or foe, like I'm hitting whatever the closest
Oh,
thing to me is.
yeah, it
friend
might
or
have
foe.
been. Yeah,
I could be
Yeah,
missing.
yeah,
I
that-
think
Remember
that's
that
why
was-
they changed them
we're
to
talking
that was
auto.
back in the day.
20
But,
years
but
ago.
what do the auto targeting missiles do now? Like, do they just?
I think it's
They
just
just
for
shoot
They
fucking
hit the
people who don't wanna
closest
play the
enemy,
game.
right?
The closest enemy that's,
enemy now,
that's
yeah.
attacking you.
It
Yeah,
sounds
it's
like
based
a
on
bot
ag.
thing.
It's based on aggro.
Oh, is it?
It sounds
Yeah,
like
kind
bot
of like
shit.
you've got your drones out and you get shot at, and your drones start
And they
responding.
just decide to
You-
attack
yeah.
something.
If you've got that module activated, then something shoots at you, it auto responds.
I feel like that's just like you want to go AFK, but maybe kill something that tries to kill you while you're gone. I can't imagine any other situation that you would use these. Because if you're
Lazy
actively,
ratting.
I've
if
literally
you're
never
actively
used them.
flying
Yeah.
your ship, you would
It's
just
hard to wrap your head around.
you would just
Lazy ratting. I don't know.
yeah, I guess lazy ratting.
would use
'cause
superior
It would reload
Oh.
and then start shooting again. I
So-
guess yeah, it's AFK ratting.
Yeah,
Sure.
they they will fire through jams.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
you keep firing through. Yes,
They'll
that
act
is
like
correct, yeah.
drones outright.
I could see that being
But I
a
think
thing.
Oh,
their
yeah.
damage is less than regular missiles
I
of
mean, they-
either light or heavy, right?
Okay,
I
so
And
believe
you
once
know
you
you're
have
going-
the
I think
once
it
you
is
have
a
the
com-
buffs from the new ships, then the damage comes back, right?
Mhm.
Mm.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah,
these
that's
are
the point.
And I mean, they directly-
AT missiles. Then someone brings fucking
Yeah,
jams.
maybe.
They bring the fucking Blackbirds and all that.
You think they're gonna bring a freighter to AT?
No.
You
Well,
can't.
Oh,
I
no.
know,
What
saying,
about
but-
the
but it
haulers?
comes
though?
with
Not,
things-
not a freighter, but what about like the avalanche?
Haulers?
Or something?
That's a freighter. Yeah.
Well,
Can
the
these
avalanche
be-
is a freighter, but like the deluge or
Oh, the
something.
deluge, yeah.
Can these
For
be
Because you can't
Reed's
close,
point-
can you?
No, you can't
Can be
cloak.
cheese.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Like, can you, let's say you're gonna fucking attack an avalanche, let's say, and you know it's an auto targeting missile fit. You're just gonna fly one ship in, real close, but he's tanked up to like a fucking brick. He's got little tiny guns on him, and he starts plinking away at the avalanche. He draws all the auto targeting missiles, and everybody else just fucking chews him up from a distance. Does that make sense? Is that gonna work?
Maybe.
Mm,
Well, I
Or
think
can
what,
you can you actively target auto targeting missiles and then send them
Well,
somewhere?
I don't
Well,
think so.
And
I
Hempshaw
think what
is saying that
Trajan says is correct.
Yeah,
the
Hempshaw
drone
is saying
swarms.
that there's faction versions that have a lot of damage, and we just said that they'll fire through jams, but he says they'll also fire through damps. So I'm wondering if, like, even if you're range damped, they'll fire back at the person if
the
they're in
regular
range.
range? Okay.
So,
Well,
okay.
faction missiles don't
Can you
necessarily
still
do more
trade it?
damage.
I
They
don't
just
know if
do
that still
more
works.
tracking. Factions usually aren't more damage; they're just more application.
Usually longer range. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
there-
fucking auto targeting missiles, cool.
Yeah.
Faction warfare and insurgency balance. So here's
Sorry.
Full
Okay,
F and
good
auto
business.
targeting are the
What's up?
same. Rudolph.
real quick though, that's what we touched on earlier. So yes, not necessarily more damage, but with more application, you're gonna find the happy medium.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it sometimes does do more damage.
Hmm.
Sorry, go on.
On smaller targets, it'll do more damage for sure. I'm assuming.
Okay, the FOB spawning rules have been adjusted so that FOBs are far more likely to be placed in command operation systems
operating
adjacent
base,
to
okay.
front lines.
It's the pirate
That's
bases.
important
Yeah.
to-
That's
important
the
to
pirate
specify.
base. Yeah. The aim of this change is to try and promote more fighting and less farming in the backlines by having the chosen location of the FOB be in a location where current factional warfare militias are duking it out. It will also make the FOB solar system more relevant to current militia group campaigns and concentrate the PvP opportunities in factional warfare low sec. So previously, the FOB would spawn somewhere in the war
It
zone.
was random.
And
Yeah.
if it spawned in the backwoods, no one would go and fucking do anything about it, like the faction warfare guys, and the insurgency dudes would just farm LP and,
Mhm.
and fucking do their thing, right? So now what they're saying is they're gonna spawn it in the front lines where everybody already is, where everybody's already fighting, and now this is just gonna add more people to that already occurring fight that's happening.
So that you don't get
Which-
to choose where the fob spawns. That's
No, it's
automatic?
random.
Oh,
the
I was
death
like,
list
okay,
does
got
it.
All right.
Well, I
Quote,
mean,
unquote,
it's
deathless.
random in the sense that now it's going to be on the front line, so you do have some agency
Closer
over
to the
where
front
it's-
line.
Okay, but
Yeah.
wherever you have your fronts at, that's where you're you're going to start seeing it. So you can
But the
cultivate it towards
pirates,
somewhere now.
the pirates don't
Maybe.
choose the front lines though. That's going to be up to the actual faction war players. So the pirate
okay.
forward operating base is the Deathless people, so like the Angel Cartel and the Gristas.
Yeah.
Their forward operating base is controlled by the NPCs essentially. So wherever it
random,
spawns
technically,
is
yeah.
random. Yeah.
But
So
the
it'll
faction
randomly
warfare
be a
ones
front
are
line now, though.
controlled by people.
Players push the boundaries of space, and wherever the boundaries of two people's groups are, that's where you're going to have the front line, right? So if your system is next to their system, that's a front line.
So you're saying the Navy factions or the Empire factions can have some control, but maybe the Deathless factions will not, as far as where
So
the
Deathless
FOBs.
players have no control. The faction warfare players, because of the way that they influence the battlefield map, yes, they have
Right.
some sort of control. But the idea is they're pushing front lines to push front lines anyway. They're not necessarily going to be like, oh, we're going to leave a front line way the hell over here just because we want a forward operating base to happen over there.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're going to push front lines wherever front lines are because that's where your money is.
So is this a good change or a bad change, LB?
So this is a change that's going to increase PvP in the insurgency. So this is depends how you play the insurgency, right? If you're playing it to farm LP, this is a bad change.
Yeah.
If you're playing it to engage in PvP, then this is a really good change because now you're in the thick of it all the time.
But
Okay,
when
so
you
they ask you,
engage
what are
in
most people
PvP
doing?
in faction warfare, don't you also get LP?
You do,
It's just a
but
different
not
form of
as
farming.
not as
maybe,
much
I
as you
guess?
do from farming the actual sites.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Well,
it's
there's
just an
also
alternate, but a slower alternate with maybe more adrenaline. Or sense.
this also will potentially mean though that the pushing the suppression and well specifically the corruption, pushing the corruption will probably less likely affect high sec now, because usually frontline systems are not right next to high sec. They're usually deeper in the faction war.
I'm gonna pull up Dotland and see where the current. Last time I played, Galenti only had
There's a
like
map
2
in game
systems
too
left.
for it.
Yeah, I'm not in game right now. Though.
Oh, okay.
And I see that there's actually a lot of elaboration on this. Sadly, it's Greek to me because I've never really
I'm
engaged in faction warfare.
clueless in faction warfare.
And if we're being honest, Equinox is a nullsec expansion, so fuck
It
those
is.
guys. But I don't mean that in real situation because I like LB and he likes to dick around there. So
I play
I'm
around
gonna
there
pull- the-
sometimes.
The in-game
apparently
one
there's
is
some
much better.
changes to the Vendetta and Behemoth. That's a real first world problem. But let's
Get the new
blueprints for
officer
the
mods. What the hell?
Just rich
blueprints for
people
the Behemoth
problems.
and Vendetta have been
Oh.
updated to reduce their build material requirements and be closer to other pirate faction capitals. Way to go, Zarth. Buddy of mine just
Ouch.
sold his Vendetta just the other day. Way to go.
Good job.
Got out in time.
Is it right before the price goes up? Is he gonna get
Goes down.
Price
hit
goes
for
down.
collusion?
It's going to be easier to build them, it sounds like. So he got out at a good time.
Yeah.
So my buddy Zarth looks at contracts every once in a while and just browses them, late at
Zarth
night.
shines.
No, not Zarth
Oh,
Shines, but
sorry.
he found a Vendetta on contracts for 20 bill 4 years ago. I don't know how long ago. Way under. At the
20
time, they
bill
were
for a-
easily 120, if not like 150 plus. He
20
found
bill.
one for
That's
20.
this is the
This was
faction
back-
Nix, right?
That's right. This was back when
That's
a lot
cheaper
more
than
of
a
the
real Nix.
a lot more of the Freeport Keep Stars were still happening in LoSec. The whole whatever that early initiative project was, not initiative, the group. I mean, like whatever. There was some group trying to make that a thing, if y'all recall. LoSec, trade consortium, but it wasn't TTC.
Yeah.
He bought a Nix, not a Nix, a Vendetta off contracts. He actually poked me like on Discord. I had just like started to go to bed, and he was like, "Hey, I need some ISK real quick," and I was like, "What?" And he was like transfer me ISK real quick, or maybe I hadn't logged out. He logged all his characters out, and he was like, "Just send me like 20 bill real quick, and I'll pay back." And I was like, "Okay, whatever," and sent him. He bought this and has been sitting on it ever since then. It actually that Keepstar's long gone. It got blown up by probably the Gagaman, those assholes. And
So it's just this offline.
it's been sitting in an
Vendetta?
NPC station, and he finally offloaded it like within the last month. This like 3 to 5 year old Vendetta. That was. I think he got maybe 200. No, he got like 150 some odd. I think. But on a
Did you-
20 bill investment,
Did you
that
get your
was a
20
long
bill
story,
back?
nothing.
He should have paid you 30.
No, he paid me back right away. He had it.
Oh,
He'd already
oh.
logged out for the night, and he was like had one character left.
He
He's like,
shoulda
"Oh,
gave
I'm
you
not
some
going to log in on my
interest.
people. Like, give me ISK right now. I found a contract." And I was like, "Okay."
If I
No, I mean,
borrowed
it was-
if I borrowed 20
Yeah,
bill from someone to make like at least 100
He
bill,
gave
I'd
it
be
back
like,
probably
here's like
within
30 or
20
40 back.
minutes. He just wanted to make sure he didn't miss the contract. That's all.
Yeah,
He was like,
yeah.
"You're still in game. Give me that 20 bill. Like right now, I'll give it right back." And that's what he did. It was not.
I'd have been like, I mean, obviously you double and triple check that. I'd be like, this contract.
Yeah. We
where-
were
where's
suspicious
the
as fuck. We were
scam?
like, "What's the catch?"
Like
Exactly.
anytime I see something like that, I'm like, where's the fucking scam? I'm not seeing it. It's here somewhere.
Right.
But
Well,
And all we can assume is a fat finger, but he didn't get reached out to, if I recall.
that'd have been funny if someone just like missed
Could've been
a
RNG,
zero.
though.
So yeah, just missed a
And
zero.
he
They tried to
grabbed
sell
it.
for 200 and sell it for 20.
New mine links.
Anyway,
Well,
so
what the Vendetta changes? Hey, Pittsburgh, if you're listening, you could buy a new one.
Pittsburgh's
There's
too
no
clueless.
chance.
Did he lose a vendetta?
He lost a Vendetta many moons ago, and it's a running joke in centers.
Ah,
Okay, so there's some
Um,
graphics changes. You know anything about this?
Yeah,
Evan?
they're updating the moons and the suns.
It all
That's
just
no
moons.
moon.
Oh, the planets.
The
I'm
first
sorry.
one's a bomb.
it looks like planets, and they look
thing,
really
right?
vivid.
Yeah, it's the
Uh,
planets because they're going to be closer to them now.
so,
they're
so
gonna
we're on
wanna-
graphics now.
Oh,
Yeah, even
They were
graphics,
already
it
looking
makes
pretty
bombs
good.
That are gonna explode cool now.
Ooh.
so
Well, I mean, they already did change the effects. Oh no, they changed the effects with the missiles, the bombs. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, this is a bomb effect.
What is the one on the far right? Is that Void? It's probably Void, right?
One on the far right.
Well,
Yeah.
the second,
where are y'all seeing
farthest.
this?
It's
Right?
it's in
Oh,
the
on the all the bombs.
graphics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
the
That's
second to
void.
the right is the void. I think.
left you
Is it?
got
No, second to right's electricity.
thermal, right? And then you
Okay, so
got
it's thermal, kinetic,
EM.
probably explosive. No,
No,
EM's gonna be the second to last.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Are you sure? I think that no. I think.
Oh no, you're right. That's explosive.
No,
second to last.
the first four are the damage type. So I think you have thermal, kinetic, EM, explosive. Or no, I think the first one's explosive because the
Yeah.
one on in
kinetic,
the fourth
EM,
over,
thermal.
it looks very like magma. So it's like I think you have explosive, kinetic, EM, thermal, and then you have
The two different void types.
yeah,
the cap,
Where
the cap
are y'all?
drain, and the
yeah. What's the void? Is the cap drain? And what's the other
There's
one?
a focus
The
void
lock-
and there's a void.
the lock drain.
Oh,
right?
lock breaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lock. I think lock breakers, and I think void is the far right one, right?
You go to the graphics section, the first little.
Yeah,
window.
because the lock breaker, I think the one that's not the far right, but the one next to it, I think that's the lock breaker because it
Oh,
has
you have
this
to
like
play the video.
it has this like shockwave
apologize.
that goes out. So I think that's like the breaking the
That's probably
locks.
the lock breaker.
Yeah, and I think void because it looks ethereal, kind of like
That's the one that
the
takes
void from
cap
like
away.
Warhammer. It's like the warp, right? So I think that's the void.
I think Drayden's correct. You're a smart dude.
You guys had me so lost. I had to press play on.
I
that,
didn't
like,
know
little
either. I was
banner
like,
thing.
where
I
are
was
they
like,
finding
I was like,
it?
I don't see anything in here about bombs. What are we
Yeah,
talking
so explosive, kinetic, EM, thermal, lock breaker, void.
about? Those look wild. That's awesome.
Looks good though. I like
I
that.
like them.
That's
I
Yeah.
like
really
them a
cool.
lot. Yeah.
I want to use
I
bombs
just the
more
other day-
often.
Apparently, I play on potato for the most part, and I apparently have slowly kind of ticked a few things on my main just over time. Just apparently, and I
Back-
saw some of the new missile effects, and I was like, oh, they're so great.
I was like Akaroth just had a thing where like it just shows it's like a what is it, like the 8-bit like Mario graphics were like and then it just goes like like a line going out, and then in the middle it just says like a big black text box saying void explosion.
You
Oh,
can actually
Maximo,
turn
those are
off
good.
all of graphics in this game, by the way.
Doing
Yeah,
the
it's like
fleet-
was it
the fleet black and
Control
white mode.
Shift F9 or some shit like that.
F9 or something? Yeah,
Yeah,
Control
so-
I
Shift
refuse.
F9.
Control Shift or
I-
Control Alt F9, something like that. Yeah.
Control F9. Just
I don't
removes
know
your
how
HUD.
people because be like, oh, that's the way. It's like, how could you play that? It's literally a black screen with just dots and lines. You can't. It doesn't. None of it
Spreadsheet
makes
Simulator Online.
None of it.
It's a
Makes, it's
fleet
not even
fight,
spreadsheets. It's
Drayden.
it's
Use
just
your overview.
it doesn't. None of it makes sense. like
That's the
I-
thing is, if I go that far, I would rather crash.
yeah, no. My
If
thing is
it
like,
comes
I
to
don't
not
even-
seeing the game to make a fight work, I would rather. Crash
I don't
on
even
it.
turn my graphics
trying to
down.
keep
I don't
my
even have a
graphics
strong computer. Like I would rather suffer the 2 FPS than make it look like shit. It's like
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't
because
want
at
to
least
play
those 2
MS
frames are going to
DOS.
look good. And
You
I
wanna play
mean,
Trade
it's-
Wars?
when you're in super tie dye, like it's all going to be stop motion anyway. So
Right.
why do I care if I'm
Slideshow.
getting
PowerPoint.
5 frames per
Yeah,
second
sure.
or 100 frames per second of a still motion shot? So it's like
I
I
think that's
like
good.
if I'm getting updated every half second when like me pushing a button's going to take 5 minutes to go through, I don't need to see up to date information. I don't want it to look like shit. So I don't ever. It was like, everyone go to potato mode. I'm like, no, I will not. I refuse. If I crash, then I'm done playing tonight. Sorry.
I already play on potato, but like I still want to see like what things look like.
Still want to see the potatoes.
Yeah, exactly. I've never tried the black and white mode. I don't think I could.
It's,
I-
it's
I-
you
I
can
ho-
still see stuff in space. You just can't see
Here's
the
the thing.
graphics.
No, that's perfectly fine. Like brackets and things. I think
You
is
see
what you're Probably
brackets.
talking.
Yeah.
So wholesale, I 100% appreciate that it is a thing. Like CCP has done so many things to facilitate us having massive Slaughterfest the scale of no other game possible. And I 100% appreciate all those efforts. And if that's one of the efforts that it requires for some people to make it work and stay in the fight and enjoy having a big fight like I do sometimes, like more power to you.
all right. So
If it's for me, I'll just crash out.
back on track.
Yep. We got
yes,
the beat.
The candles burning. Did we get to the plant? The plants have been redone.
You guys watch the
New-
bombs. Now we see the planet.
Yeah.
They
Plants
look
look
pretty,
good.
but they already looked pretty, so maybe they
They-
look prettier.
They look
They
pretty.
look.
I agree,
They're
'cause-
higher resolution near closer, I guess, is the thing.
Dude,
And
they
they
made
still
planets
have the
really good a
animation, you
few
think?
years back. Yeah, I
They
hope
still
so,
have the
right?
animation.
Yeah, they've
they
redone
still
the
have
planets,
animation.
they've redone the stars, but they're doing them again. So these look good. The
Yeah.
magma planets look fucking cool. What's this other magma planet?
One's probably barren, right?
No, the
Baron's the first
Baron's
one.
the top left one.
That's
Oh, Shattered.
that's a shattered. Yeah.
It's a shattered planet. In a
Oh,
wormhole.
okay,
bottom,
okay.
bottom row second from the right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
think so.
Shattered. That's a Shattered
okay.
planet in a
Yeah,
wormhole.
shattered lava planet. Yeah.
Yeah, we got like a Terran
Okay.
Pieces coming off.
shattered,
So you got
Is that a
barren,
plasma?
gas,
oceanic.
ocean,
Lava.
or no? Is it ocean? Then lava, then
Oh, that's
What's
probably
the
the
next?
ice planet.
oh yeah, ice,
Lava,
ice,
and
ice,
oceanic,
lava,
ice,
ocean, plasma, shattered, and then
temperate.
temperate.
Okay,
Okay. Ship
I don't know.
Skinner.
They look great.
Wow. How nerdy are we that we know all the planets in the fucking game?
It's a pretty prominent part of the game, though.
Yeah, is it?
Over time, yeah.
I
I think
suppose.
so. Depends on what you're doing.
You know what they are missing though? They're missing dwarf planets.
That's right.
Moons?
I think they like to be called midgets.
No, they need to bring back
LPs.
Pluto.
They call them little planets now.
Little planets. There you go. Yeah,
Just
I
a
knew it.
single dwarf planetoid in a single system somewhere.
So has
Call it
anybody looked
Pluto.
at much of the Skinner stuff? I haven't seen any of those.
This is
I-
one thing I haven't had a chance to read through. Yet.
I
Yeah.
am very
This
excited
picture
for
is
this.
the first thing I've seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna mess around with this a lot. Now I'm hoping they'll let you play with it for free, and you only have to pay money
Right.
to actually
Yes.
create
Like
a
you
skin,
can't
right?
submit
Yeah.
it.
So the only
I think
thing that
they would.
costs,
They
the only thing
have
that
to.
costs based on the live streams and stuff they talked about is the sequencing. So sequencing costs like Plex to make
And
them.
skill.
Oh,
right?
okay, okay.
And
so
and items and a bunch of other things. But
okay, so you can
get
mess
those
with it
skill
for
points to
free
make it
just to
faster.
actually final.
We can use a fitting
Now I'm wondering, like,
simulator, right?
can you say if you're like
Yes.
playing around with it for free, and I
You can save it.
That's you know what that
You can
take
save,
it
like
out of context,
planning.
that'll sound weird, but if you play around with it for free, and then you can save what you
Up to
did,
5 designs for future manufacturing. Yeah.
you can save what you did, and then
And
you
you can
can be like,
increase that, I
okay,
believe, with skill
I've liked
points.
this. Now I want to purchase it. You buy the Plex, you make the skin, you sell it,
Yes.
become a
So
trillionaire.
Buy
because
the
your skin
ticket,
is
ride
so
the ride.
sick.
mass sequencing, multi-sequencing, sequencing time. I think you can save it an infinite number, right?
I would hope so.
Technically.
I mean, because I would hope it would
Oh, I
just
don't
save it on your own local hard drive, so it's not like they're using
Right.
server space until you upload it. When you buy, like, I want to purchase this as you buy Plex, you make the skin. Now it's up on their server because now they have to
I'm
have the
reading it right.
values. But the thing is, like, if you,
Yeah.
it's just local, if you're just messing with it locally, I think you could probably save it locally on your own machine, which wouldn't take up space on the
Players can name their skins during the design process, including the option to add them to a skin line. Use your creation. Players can also save up to 5. If you only save up to 5, it looks like.
And
Okay,
I'm not,
well,
I'm looking at the skills. I don't see anyone that says you can do more.
No, you can't increase at all. So it only saves up to 5.
okay. I mean, you could
So
could
you have
like,
to delete one and then redo
you
it.
can,
or
you can
something.
also. I
mass
mean, if you have,
sequencing
it's
allows
probably
sequencing of
is it
multiple
1 per
copies of
account
one.
or 5 per account or is it 5 per character?
5 per. It doesn't say. I don't think.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
that way you could just
I would
like,
because they're characters,
assume
they're
you
skills.
could
so
log
it's
in
their
and
character.
save them on different
Yeah.
characters. And be like, okay, I got this one, this one, this one, this one.
Well, and you can always not save that one, and then you sequence it when you want to. You don't have to save it anymore because you just have that skin now.
Yeah,
And
but you
then
can
you
also
can-
make more later. Because what if you make a skin and be like, oh, that was so? Because you make 2. Let's say you make 2.
You really do like that. I would assume
It's-
they'd
it's
want to
like
increase
you-
it later. Then
You
'cause
redeem
if you-
one and you sell one to a friend, and someone's like, "Oh, that's so cool!" And you're like, "I'll sell them more if they want to buy for like 200 million ISK. I will make 3 more."
Yeah.
So it's like you could be like a drug. A skin dealer.
Yeah.
Right.
If you got
Well,
that,
they
Yeah,
talk
you
about
you
like.
got
the ones
that
you're
blue-
saving
you
or
that
ones you
blue
aren't
sky
sequencing?
Breaking Bad.
Oh
skins.
yeah, I think
These are
once
ones,
you
yeah,
sequence it, I think you have it. You can
Correct.
just print more later.
it's a skill though. You have to have mass
Uh,
sequencing allows you sequencing of multiple copies of a design, and then
You have to
And once
skill.
you
but to
sequence it,
sell
I
it, you
think
have
it
to
saves.
yeah.
You have
It
to
goes to what it looks like.
skill
forever.
up to buy something.
And I think it increases reduces taxes or something, or increases how many you can put up or something.
The time it reduces
Allows
sequencing
the
It's like if
listing
you're
of
gonna
more
pay money to
skins.
make a skin, just
And allows the
don't
listing-
skill gate that. Come on,
Allows
that's
the-
kind of what
so-
Manic was touching on last week, if you recall.
I'm not a fan of the
Yeah,
skill
it's
gating on that.
more
it's,
skins.
it's like if you're willing to pay money to make a skin, you should just get to do that. You shouldn't have to be gated by skill sets.
Well, the biggest thing that people are pissed about is there's a skill that reduces time it takes to make them, but you can bypass it by just paying more money.
Let's just say that.
When it comes
So it's
to pay to
under
win,
it comes under the where is it?
Yeah, it's a time gate. It's an arbitrary limit that you can pay past. When it comes to ways that
I don't know
I
if it
care about
says it
people
here, but
paying
they
their
said it
way
on their
through,
they said it on their stream today.
Okay.
that's the one I don't care about.
So, well, I'm okay. If you don't want to pay, you have to have skills. It takes you a
Then
little
you
more
wait
If
a
you
week
don't want to
or
wait, you
whatever
have to
for
pay
your skin to
more.
print, which
Yeah,
is
if you don't
perfectly
want to
fine. to me.
wait, you have to pay more.
I'm fine with
It doesn't affect the game
I
in a
don't-
huge way. It affects.
I also don't
arbitrary
like that
shit.
it takes time to print the skills. Again, it's
It's
I get
it's,
that.
it's a cosmetic. It shouldn't take time to make it.
Oh, here we go.
If
It's
you
right
wanted
here,
to
by the
pay
way.
money to make it, it should just happen immediately. Like
Nah, I
I
like the
paid
time
you
frame.
money to design the skin. Boom, skin's ready. Go. I don't like the manufacturing time of a thing that you paid ISK for or paid
Cosmetic.
Plex for that is cosmetic. That doesn't like.
Yeah.
Come
So
on.
this it says while having
I
a
don't
build
like that.
time
I
is
love-
nothing new.
I love so much about this Skinner thing. I don't like that side of it. It's like it's skins. Just let them just generate immediately. If you're gonna pay money to generate a skin, it should just happen
Disagree
right now.
because they need time to check them out first. I'm telling you. That's
Okay,
what
but
it's
you
for.
can well.
to reduce all the dick.
Yes, that's what it's for.
You
The
can-
time
but
frame
you
is to
can-
make sure they're not getting stuff they don't want.
But
in the
you
game.
can bypass that by paying more Plex. That's what's weird.
Yeah,
about
if
that.
you pay for dicks, of course they're gonna let you have them.
But no, it says well, having a build time is nothing new. We recognize this represents a new paradigm for cosmetics. To cater to those seeking instant gratification, you can add the option to speed up for sequencing for additional cost.
Yeah, speed up, not instant.
Yeah,
If you live your life that way, then swipe your card and live your life.
I just.
And if you just want a cool skin, but you can wait a week, then cool. You can have it for the normal.
I'm
cheap-
also assuming that they've probably done their damnedest, although that doesn't discredit or discount the fact that it'll happen anyway. They've probably done their damnedest to make sure that.
Well, do you know how you do this,
patterns
right?
the various patterns they offer and the various ways you can stretch and like mess with them.
Yes, Drayden, we
that
know
you
they're
probably
reducing the
can't
penis.
make a dick, but at the same time,
Don't
I
you
bet
say
I
that.
bet
hope
you
so.
can. I bet
Well,
you can.
do you
Because
know how you
do
will
this?
figure it out. Someone will figure it out.
So I don't know if you can because you only have
Yeah.
was it 4 slots for colors
And 3
and there's
slots for
one
patterns.
slot for.
Yeah.
I thought it was 1 slot for
I think
patterns.
it's
One slot
3
for
slots.
pattern with 2, 4 for colors, 1 for patterns. But the patterns got 2 like a bit.
Oh, you
tight.
could stretch and shift. Okay, so that's how they do it. They make sure the patterns don't show up as a dick.
Yeah, you can't
No
make a
matter
pattern
how
as
you
a dick.
stretch them or shrink them. I was like, if they have two
Speak for
pattern
yourself.
slots, you know there's gonna be dicks. 'Cause you'll find a round pattern and a straight long pattern, and you put those
Cash and
together,
prizes.
and there you
Or
go.
you just
Lo
put a round pattern on a thorax base.
Lo and behold, you have a penis. It's
Look,
You
Manic
just
told
give a
me.
thorax fucking foreskin. Here you
blue
go.
balls.
Yeah,
Manic
like
told
you
me he's
can-
been dreaming of being
Yeah,
a skin designer. I'm gonna bankroll him so he can put penises on all the.
I was just saying,
spaceships. We're gonna figure this out.
You
buddy.
you can figure it out because you could basically So you take the ship shape, right? So you take the thorax and you have the whole thing and you color it all one color, but then you do a pattern and just have it cover the tip of the thorax and do it a slightly
Just the tip?
slightly darker color, and there you have like the head of the penis, and then
Whoa.
I do
And
still
then-
think they're reviewing them. I don't think it becomes.
God, this is a
instantaneous.
family show.
I don't know if they're reviewing.
I'm
them. I
saying
really
like
don't.
people are gonna figure it out.
It's gonna.
There is a TTP, and I want to see how long it is.
It's as long as you need it to be, buddy.
It's not the size that
Maybe
matters. It's
not.
how you
Maybe they're
use
not,
it.
but to me that seems like I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be impossible because if everyone to be doing this stuff because they're trying to make it.
I think that I agree with him. Like, I don't think they're reviewing the skins. I think they just
Probably
put a
not.
production time in there to probably just limit the amount of
Right.
time
Probably
that-
server
To keep
load,
us running through all the recipes.
But
too quick.
the server load is only like once you submit a design, then the server has that. It would have to like upload that into its database, but then it has that, and so now it's just a value. It's a variable, right? It's a string.
I
It's probably
assume
a
so.
number of variables based on the parameters you set with the Skinner tool that it just now
Yeah,
applies.
they did say it doesn't increase any like server load once it's like sequenced. So I don't know if it does it
Yeah,
if it is sequenced.
Yeah,
or not.
I don't think it will be.
That
So
makes sense. Yeah.
I don't think anyone's reviewing these. I think they just set up a crafting time just because they probably like, oh, and we'll have people
Just to
craft
gate
the
it,
skins. It's like, no, just
To gate
and
it.
an opportunity
these are
for money.
cosmetics. You don't need
Well,
crafting
and to allow
times. Let-
people to quote unquote specialize into it so they can be
I
faster
guess,
at it.
I guess. But,
Actually, so
And
But-
maybe to add
but
additional
what if
ways
you
to
want to
add
be like, hey,
monetization
let's
to it.
make a skin that us as a corp, us as an alliance, we can all just have like, this is our group skin.
You
there's
can't make
there's
corp
80
skins
of you.
yet.
It's gonna take you guys 3 weeks to get that shit done. That's dumb.
Drake,
Yeah.
That's dumb.
While
Just
that
let it-
sounds
just
wild-
fucking let it go.
Hang
If
on
you
a
want to spend the plex to get it done, just get it done now. I don't know.
You can.
All that
that's the
sounds
point.
wild.
Yeah.
People like
Well,
Manica
we have to
have
spend
apparently
you should have to
dreamed
spend
of this,
extra plex to get it now. That's
where that's what they wanted to
Oh,
do.
Oh, I've
as a ship
dreamed of
painter.
this actually. So
So
Yeah,
like
it's-
if everybody's a ship painter, which eventually everybody will be, in the same way that like Max Reprocessor, everybody has one within their friend circle, if not in their corp, if not in their alliance, whatever. You know, it's like the necessary jobs you'll figure out. Somebody will use an alt for it eventually. But people who want to specialize and be like, I'm a friggin' ship painter, some of those people may be able to snowball or dive, you know, whatever, rabbit hole down into it way more efficiently than the common man will be for quite some time, I'd venture to guess.
So,
And to even go further, there's going to be rare patterns and rare colors and rare things. So going out and finding those patterns to sell and or use yourself is going to be a huge thing. That's why on Tuesday when the patch launches, bro, when I get home from work, I'm going to be doing as many different types of content as I can to try and get as many different types of skins and colors and stuff. Day one.
How do we
Because
know?
you know
how
they
you get-
always... They just said it's over a whole bunch of stuff. So hacking, data sites and stuff like that.
They're just gonna random spring.
Drops.
Loot drops, daily
Yeah.
goals. Yeah.
Oh,
Daily
shit.
goals, login. Well, not login rewards anymore because they're getting rid of those. Which I wrote a song about how I pissed about that. But
If we were to guess how many rare patterns there would be, how many would anybody speculate?
I assume there's probably not
412.
very many to begin with. I assume it's probably not many to begin with.
So somewhere between not many and 412.
That's my
so
guess.
far.
I
Well,
bet there's a
1
bit.
million.
I bet there's.
I would hope-
they're gonna want to sell them, right? And then not all of them are purchasable. Some of them are you have to find in sites, too,
Right.
So.
They want to keep them.
Well, that's what they're saying, yeah,
They're
drops
all,
and
they won't. None of them are bind on account, right? You can find them, you can sell.
you
them.
can sell them, yes.
Yeah.
Unless you
Oh,
consume
okay.
them or something, because they get consumed too, like BPCs, right? So they have
Yeah.
limited runs on some
Yeah.
of these things
I
too.
almost
Oh,
imagine
okay.
that the ones that you can't just buy with Plex might actually be worth more because they're
I
going
would
to be.
assume so.
It depends
Rarer.
on. Oh, excuse me. It depends on what the rarity of the drops are there in the sites. If they're common, then they'll be everywhere, and there won't be.
Can
that
you
much money,
imagine officer skins?
Yeah, I hope
Ooh.
they have like little doilies,
Officer
and stuff hanging off
patterns.
from the
Doily,
shoulders.
doilies
yeah.
are
Like
Some-
officer
some
patterns,
extra
right?
medals
A doily is
draped
a
on your
thing on
chest.
an armrest.
Don't you correct
You
me,
mean
man.
you mean an
You
epaulet?
don't, you're not even
I
wearing a lab
definitely
coat.
want. So I
Epaulets.
definitely want police patterns because if I can make like you can't make Astero skins, I don't think immediately they said because they're whatever. But I want a police Astero. That's what I want.
Yeah, that sounds.
Have
sick.
they said
Um,
anything about letting players make their own patterns or anything like that and like submitting them, or are these all like from a
They're
full collection of preset?
They're
The patterns and
pre-selected.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
then so here's likely thing. It probably takes
you're
up
really low,
0
buddy.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
real
turn it
quick,
up
Switch,
a little.
I was like, I got you set to 170%.
I have
Yeah,
some
I
really,
barely
200.
hear you.
you're really
I
quiet. Is there a
barely
way
hear
you can
ya.
turn your mic up a little bit?
Put it in front of your mouth.
No, it just.
I'm teasing MG.
Just check your
Yeah.
output.
Is it check? Yeah, check. See if you can turn
Check your
your
outbound.
your input gain or whatever up a
in,
little bit.
in
There.
Discord. Yeah.
Any better?
That's
yeah,
that's a little better.
Yeah, it's quite better.
Now I still
Fucking sliders.
you sound fine, but I have you at 170. So
Yeah.
if
I
you
mean,
want,
I'm still at 200.
if
but
you want,
yeah.
you can turn it up higher, and I'll just turn you down
It's
on my end.
maxed.
Okay. Leave it there then. I'll
Yeah.
just leave you at 170. You sound good. So
Oh, no, what I was going to say is that they're all preset, so chances are there's no actual like they're not making the texture based on the things and then giving it to but as it's downloaded or whatever. It's probably going to be a full collection of textures and assets that are already in the game files, and what they're sequencing, quote unquote, is whatever, probably a hex value number or something like that associated with each either color or texture or like pattern or whatever. And then they're sequencing the actual order of those IDs into one long string of numbers to save it, instead of having to take up server space or anything like that. Really all they're doing is just taking up collections of numbers that relate to each one of the colors and patterns and so on and so forth.
yeah, it's just a set of variables that they
Yeah.
variable values that they apply to whatever.
Yeah.
But had
Remember,
they
remember
the-
Camber said that the system for applying these skins is different than the in-game skins they have now. Of how they put
Right.
them on the ships.
Yeah,
That's why
because-
there's only so many choices.
Because these are dynamic.
so
The
many
other
ways
skins
to
are
do it.
static. So
that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
The in-game skins that are already there are already assets that exist on their own.
Correct.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
The other question
So-
was whether or not they're actually talking about letting players submit them. Is there any
There's
talk
no
about it
word
at
so
all?
far. No
Mm.
word so far that I've heard.
Submitting
Say
what?
that
Their own
submitting their own
patterns.
patterns or textures, things like that. I know there's going to be a difficulty if they have like a preset, pattern list and things like that. Like colors are easier to preset than someone making a pattern or something like that.
I would think that they might come in the future, but they're not talking about it as far as I know right now.
Yeah, well, and the things like, I mean, this so if you look at a lot of other online games that have cosmetics for sale, they're constantly pumping out new skins, new this, new that.
Yeah.
So, and I think that these skinner tools, they're not going to make the CCP made skins obsolete, because CCP
Well, they've
can
already
make
said they're
very,
not. They're
very
different.
much
No,
more very
'cause-
customized skins. But the thing is, I think that these are going to be very predominant, and I think that CCP, instead of constantly releasing a shitload of new skins all the time, they're probably just going to start releasing different color palettes, different patterns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was going to
That's
say.
how they're going to sell the thing, is because a bunch of people thought,
So-
a new pattern, I want to buy that. I want to make skins.
When
Well-
they first started talking about the Skinner stuff, and even before, when people are kind of throwing around, and everybody knows Tamber's been on this for a long time about
yeah.
getting it for people, but I always think back to two games that I feel did it best in terms of customization and player generated assets.
All points
Planet,
bulletin.
huh?
All points bulletin.
No, I was gonna say Planet Side 2 and MechWarrior Online.
Hmm.
MechWarrior Online did that color palette design for a while, where they let you buy like a set color palette with a few
I just used the free
patterns.
ones.
Yeah.
Oh no,
And
I'm,
like
I
this,
didn't
the
play NWO. I played MechWarrior 5. I'm thinking of a different game.
yeah, this is the I think it's Piranha Games.
Yeah, Piranha.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying, like, you're talking about MechWarrior Online. I was playing MechWarrior 5, so I didn't play the
Yeah.
game you're talking about. So
Yeah, they started doing that with the color palettes and like single colors. They would sell single colors that you could use, indefinitely. So like a single color could probably be like, 30 or 40 cents worth of whatever, game currency it was. Planet Side 2, I actually started playing Planet Side 2 like when it was still like beta, and everybody was just like skating all over the place. You see like tanks and shit skating everywhere way
I
back.
remember that.
Good
It was a
times.
time. It was a time.
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Planet
But
Side 1 was
when
so
they
much
started,
better.
they
Sorry,
started letting players. They gave them a base set of to spec 3D assets, and said, here's the specification that your model needs to meet, whether it was a static model for like a gun, or if it was a skin mesh model for like a character or something like that. And they said, here, go nuts. And they had kind of an approval process just to make sure that it worked. Um, and they were selling them, and they were letting the players that made them sell them and actually get a cut. Like it was PlayStation that or Sony that started it at one point. Just Daybreak Games now, I think, is who still runs it, but they were getting a cut of the transaction. It was like a 30% cut. It's like a standard, 30%, 30/70 splits, like a
Like
industry.
a platform cut.
Yeah, basically. But the players were actually getting payouts for this for the submissions. Like, so they were actually making money, and Daybreak is still carrying along providing that. So if you go into PlanetSide now, if like you haven't played it in a few years, if you go in there now and you just look and see what all the customization and shit like that, the majority of stuff that's there is stuff that was created by players. Same thing with same thing with different camo skins and things like that. People went absolutely nuts because they were actually able to get a real dollar amount out of making the content.
Mhm.
I still say CCP needs to facilitate that in some way. but in enough of a fair, balanced way that like people are actually getting something for their time, you know?
Mhm.
Well, that wouldn't be unheard of. Like you have people can submit like ads and stuff for the billboard, and they're not being paid for it. But
and
like,
alliance logos. I mean, it's already,
and alliance logos and
okay,
stuff.
got-
Yeah.
But I was thinking stuff that people like see on like random stuff you may not even think about, like the billboards and stuff ads. Right? People don't even like
Or a
really pay
soundbite in
attention
the
to that
station.
stuff. Is that a thing that
Unless it's
happens?
theirs.
yeah, it's the first Skinner thing.
No, but it should be.
I was gonna say I didn't know about the soundbite thing, but
No,
Like-
that was a hypothetical suggestion.
Oh,
'cause,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that would be kind of cool.
But like actual things that do happen, right? So they have like the billboard ads you can submit, and there's an approval process for that.
Yeah.
The Alliance tournament ads that you can, submit, and there's an approval process for that. So it's not unheard of having player designed stuff as approval conditions. And like you said, Dom, the Alliance logos and stuff too. I feel like that happens a lot less maybe than maybe it happens more.
I just had a brilliant idea.
The rules, you know, you have to be around
Yeah.
for so long, be active. Yeah.
I just had a brilliant idea
It's gotten much quicker.
for a station ad there. I'll get back to you later on that.
Yeah, but I feel like they could do that. I think this is just the beginning, though.
But I think didn't they point that out? This is literally version 1.0.
This is just the
Oh,
beginning.
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
They,
yeah,
they
this
said
is just
that
the beginning.
specifically. Yeah.
They've got to get the asset loading shit worked down before they can do anything else. And yeah, I mean
Well-
the mass test that they did, what was it, last weekend or weekend
Something
before,
like
something
that,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Week or two ago.
Yeah. So their mass test was what, like not even 100 people, I think.
It's because no one has CC downloaded anymore because they fucking don't let us get onto it anymore.
Well, then on top of that, it's the way the timing works out on it. It's like it's on,
I was at work, yeah.
Yeah, it's on their time, or it's like either ass o'clock early in the morning, or like, yeah. So the majority
Yeah.
of U.S. time zone doesn't even get to fucking touch it.
I know. Well, that happens a lot. U.S. time zone gets fucked in EVE a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Respawns on sites and stuff happen at downtime. We don't get to touch it.
Yeah.
Well, we can. You choose not to.
Wow, I mean, I got to go to work.
Well, yeah, but you don't have to.
yeah, it's
And
true.
there-
Right? I mean, you're choosing to go to work because it's a
Yeah,
responsible
yeah.
thing to do. Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
there are certain sites where if you time it just right and you finish it, like it's got cans and stuff like that, but you don't completely finish
You don't
it.
complete it. Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
gotta
you
read
don't
down the
complete
cans.
it exactly.
Yeah,
That shit
That's a
is
big thing in
abusive,
wormholes.
in my
it's a
opinion.
big thing
That's
in wormholes.
that's an exploit that needs to be fixed, in my
I
opinion.
agree.
Hey,
So
guess
the
what?
thing about the
What's-
beat
Oh,
Is
is
that a red
that-
line?
Guess
Is that red
What?
line?
guess what?
Did
Well,
you
I
just
know.
get-
I know what.
I
and I'm not gonna
know.
play this
I
game.
know what.
know
I'll let you,
who. I know
I
who.
will let
What,
you
what?
move forward with the
Are we
what.
doing?
It
Are we
better
doing a
not
Providence
be
war?
home.
Garden Beg.
I'm
You
home.
who?
No, Daddy's home. What do you mean?
Did-
I'm
where-
here.
Dave Archer's
Where,
made
where,
it.
where'd you get home from?
I heard there's
Dude,
a.
I-
Going
Providence
out to get
War?
cigarettes
What
10
did,
years
what did you
ago.
eat?
Asheville, North Carolina. Is where I
Asheville?
came from today.
That sounds like fun.
It was
Oh.
not.
No,
No,
well,
it
beef
was
and
not.
sausage,
There's
was
like one
awful.
good thing in that city, so
The hotel was pretty nice, but we were in Myrtle Beach for a week, and we drove to Asheville yesterday. From
Was
Myrtle
there ash
Beach.
there?
yeah.
No,
Well, it's called
lots of
Asheville. It's got to be
mountain.
full of Asheville.
lots of mountains.
Hmm.
But
it has
but
Biltmore.
then we drove
It's like
back.
the one good thing
we
there.
drove all the way back the rest of the
Oh,
way today.
Biltmore Hotel.
Are we done with the
Um,
Skinner
so
thing while he's doing his
What
thing?
did I miss?
You missed
no,
the
no,
whole
no,
show.
we're now
the whole
I
show.
did want to talk about one more
Wait,
thing.
wait, wait,
Skinner before we move on. On corporation projects.
Redline.
What?
You missed out on the soup, salad, and breadsticks.
We did not.
God
Miss
damn
it.
Oh, oh, oh.
So one more thing on the Skinner thing,
Did
right?
you just fucking steal my shtick?
I so
did.
fucking just stole
Damn
stole
this
your
man.
shtick.
Immediately. Remove him. Remove the man.
Or what?
The soup, salad,
bad.
breadsticks, and Olive Garden are
You bad.
ass.
Dude, the
You mad?
soup is the best soup ever.
I don't
Well,
like the soup there.
I like Zuppa Toscana.
The salad's great, but the soup,
The soup is
Fajoule is meh. I don't like the minestrone, but the
So the thing about the beat is
Zuppa
that
Toscana
there's
is
corporate
really good.
projects in it.
corporate
Wait.
projects.
Oh, hold on.
Well,
yeah.
let's
Let's we got the
One more
beat.
thing.
We got
No,
the
hold on.
beat.
Yeah, one more thing.
one more
Skins, let
thing.
him do it.
So this is interesting for like you guys because you stream. But I don't know if you're a partner, but there was talk of like exclusive partner skins back in the day, like for a while now. There may be exclusive partner like Eve partner.
Oh, I need to
patterns.
subscribe for or send in for a partner. I need to.
I'm
see
just
if
saying.
they-
He doesn't do it.
But yeah, but if you do, there might be exclusive
I'm gonna
partner
send it
patterns
in,
in the
and
future.
then I'm gonna DM all the contacts I have. I'll be like,
just send Swift a message,
Swift.
dude.
I was like, Swift, bro.
Swift and Convict are the two you want to talk to.
Well,
Simple
Swift.
as
I'm in Swift's corp.
that. There you go.
I was like, dude, you gotta hook me up. And all, yeah, it's convict. I'm like, you know how much ISK I spent on EveBet?
There's gonna be a login reward for this.
And then I will tell Darwin
No
to
more
put
login
words
rewards.
in.
They got
Well,
rid
it
of
says
those.
until June
I will tell
17th.
Darwin to put words
Oh,
in the
well,
other
yeah,
team's ear.
Okay.
I will then talk to Antiquarian.
He
and be
will.
like, hey, you know all that
It's
fun
not
we
what you
had
know,
in
it's
Vegas?
who you know. We know this.
And you have
No, Draded. Swift will just shame you too.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah. No, Swift's
No
cool,
one
dude.
shamed
Swift
him.
likes me.
Yes, but you still are bad and haven't gotten your shit sorted yet.
You'll see
I'm
a lot of
one
pink
jump
ships. by the
away.
way.
I'm in UTech Q or whatever it is.
Jesus.
There's going to be a lot of pink ships. That's all I'm saying.
You think so?
I think so.
I put in 55 hours this week. I didn't have time. When I got home from work, I was like, I'm going to bed.
So what's the next
Okay,
topic, LB?
Corporate
Um,
projects.
Sequencing binders?
I think we
Yeah,
already
we're
went through.
sequencing.
The binders.
Skins.
It is skins, yeah. Paragon Hub, new marketplace for skins.
Yeah, so you can
Oh.
buy shit
yeah.
for ISK and sell shit for ISK, or
Or
whatever you
Plex.
choose. Yeah.
There's your skills. Yeah, that's what
Corporation
you guys
projects. So automatic SRP now through Ship Loss Corporation project.
Oh, yeah.
Salvage.
Ship
Auto-
loss or an LP salvage wreck.
automatic. That's automatic. It's automated.
Well, automatic too, right? If you,
But you
if
don't
you
get- I-
lose,
Yeah,
if you lose a
this
ship
is
and it's
good.
on the corporate project, you get the payout immediately.
So is it
That's
just
for
going to be a payout only, or are they going to be able to set it up to where we provide
It's
ships?
payout. It's only ISK,
fuck
right?
that.
That's how corporate projects work.
Yeah, that'd
Well, I'm
be
hoping
really
they
cool
change
if
it,
they
that's
could
my point,
eventually
yeah.
set it to
A project hangar.
give, like,
you already
a-
have a project hangar. If you have ships
to
in
give
project
out, like, a
hangar, it
ship-
gives them
fitted
out.
ship.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah,
Like contracts you
yeah.
could load into it or something.
Yeah, because I mean that'd be pretty nice. Because then
Think how granular
so,
that'd have to
some
be.
groups work that way, where you lose a ship instead of just giving you money to buy another one. They're like, here's a new ship.
Well, because usually have contracts available for purchase, right? Like just boom, boom, boom. So it
Right,
automatically
but-
generates you the ISK. You just trade that into a contract. There you
Right,
go.
right, right. But if those ships aren't available for contract and the parts aren't available in the station you're in, but if your group is like, oh, you lost that ship, here's a new ship, and you can just have fit ships ready to go towards like, oh, I lost this ship and I meet all the criteria, and it automatically just gives you a new ship in system.
Yeah, that would be nice, but
that would
I don't
be
know if
pretty
that's-
nice.
That sounds pretty far down the rabbit hole, I feel like.
Yeah.
That sounds
I
really
agree, but I
When-
would love
when-
to see that. Yeah.
When the reality, from what I can tell from this system already, is that it's going to be very useful for smaller and like budding groups. It's probably not going to be as powerful
Oh, if
as
you've got
like,
a
the
big
big
SRP
established
program
groups want it to
already,
be,
you won't use this.
because
yeah.
they're kind of a little more uptight about exact fittings, and exact refits, and
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
whatever.
Wormhole PD might use this though. That'd be nice.
I think some of the kind of more budding groups might find some function out of it though, which is kind of
Incentivizing salvaging, guys.
Our corp uses the corp projects right now to incentivize people to do different things. We really like
Salvaging.
this system. It's a lot of fun,
yeah. There's some cool ones.
Incentivizing salvaging, guys.
which
Yeah.
would be good for any group that like you're gonna build rigs
Rigs.
for structures for your corp
Yeah.
or whatever, right? It's a good thing.
New daily goals.
Well, UI is being changed. I think that's kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Yeah.
No one likes daily
I don't
goals.
like this new daily goal system, by the way.
I didn't like the old one, so it didn't really matter.
I think we'll be
Yeah.
okay either.
I don't even
Well,
fucking.
I gotta
do it.
work harder now.
No, you don't.
I have to play the game.
You don't.
If I want the rewards, I
you-
do.
Oh, if
You-
you want the
you could
rewards, yeah,
just-
you do.
You could just ignore them.
That's right.
Yeah, but
that's
if I
easy
want
enough.
it's like 375,000
So if I want things, I gotta.
skill points a month.
Yeah,
right?
gotta
see,
show up.
that's
Well, that
that's
and
a
the other stuff.
separate
Look
issue.
at other stuff they're giving away, right? Skinner design them.
Yeah.
I
Liquid
would rather
Finally.
be the skill points though than the.
Evermarks.
For a long time, it was just like, here's Evermarks. I'm like, I don't want Evermarks. I want skill
Oh,
points.
I've spent all
Drayden.
my Evermarks.
Here's your
Because I
Have
can
your
Biosphere
log
logo
in
all
with-
over
responders.
everything?
I can
guys.
log in with my alts that aren't training skills and just give
Here's
them
your
bullshit
Halcyon
skill
Dawn
points.
skin. Shut up. Take
LB
it.
showed me how cool Evermarks were, and then I
Yeah,
went
I've
and got
got a
some
bunch
for
of Alliance
myself because they're
logos.
pretty
Just
sick.
fucking get kicked
I
ass.
don't really care about Evermarks. I want.
That's because your logo sucks, and you should talk
do
to
like the
management about
Alliance
that.
Yeah, we have a phage.
Yeah, is it cool?
Faish.
It's cool.
Then why isn't it all over your ships, bro? You got 3
Because I have to
Evermarks
fly to
coming
a
out of your
specific
ass.
system to go get
You
it.
That'll
do,
take you
yeah.
20 minutes.
It's good
If
Vegeta.
you could just redeem like
There's like 15
you
of
should
them
be able to
around the
redeem
map.
it in any station you're at.
Nope. Got to go to Paragon, baby.
That,
You're
I don't
so
Just
want
like
lazy.
if you
I
want something specific,
don't
you
wanna
gotta
They
go to
fly.
gave you the
store.
money
Well,
for
if
You
you
can't
want to
buy
get
everything you want
skins,
at fucking Menards.
I don't want to fly
you want the
halfway
new
across the
skins,
whole
Drayden?
map to go.
I want a
get
new shovel.
thing.
I don't go to the local grocery store.
Let
I
me
go to
just
fucking-
redeem my
hardware store.
phage thing
Well, if
in
you
the
want
system I'm in.
if you want a new design Skinner skin, dude, you got to go to Paragon now.
Why do they want to funnel people into these dumb spots? Just let
So
us
Drayden, if you're
cook. Let us cook in
Paragon-
our own homes.
Paragon is how they are
CCP
selling
things.
us ship holes.
Yes. it
Players
is.
turning in ship holes is how they turn around and excuse selling players ships for money.
Yes.
You remember that?
I just
Buy a barge pack. Buy
I didn't
a,
do that
you
part
know,
of it. Yeah,
destroyer
People were
pack.
I
pissed
didn't
about that.
care about. I don't care about that.
Yeah,
I
who
just
cares
start
anyway?
caring
It's
more.
fine. Who
I
cares?
want to redeem.
But that's how we rationalize it: is that we give them ships, they give us these things, so they're trying to encourage people to interact with that Paragon store.
I
Yeah,
want
I've
to
never done
redeem
this. I've just used the
monetize.
free
Well,
Corp
it's
and
fine,
Alliance
because-
logos, and I want to redeem skins in my own home. I don't want to have to go out into
Drayden, you're in
public to
PL.
do it.
Just force some little hoardie to do it for you and like turn them into your apprentice.
Just
So they're
send
not
the
gonna mentor you.
send the minion to do it.
I will send the subordinate alliances to do it. So Akroth, what
No,
you
no,
need
no,
to-
no, 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 no,
Akroth,
no.
what
You
you
have
need to
to-
do is
you
you
have
need to
to
go
call
down
them-
to a Paragon station and get.
You have to refer to them as a minion. You have to refer to them
Sir,
as
yes, sir.
minion.
Oh
I'll
my
get right on
God.
that, sir. I recognize my place in the pecking order.
No. but-
Well, the thing is, you can't sell them though. That's the only problem. They're not transferable.
Don't
so
tell
it's-
him that. Let him let me go all the way there and then. spend
And then
his
when he
money or
gets back,
something.
give him like 5 million.
Give them
Yeah.
nothing.
I got all the logos, Drayden.
999.
All the
I
Yes.
logos.
can't give any of them to
Give me
you.
the logos. I don't.
Oh, well, they actually redeemed. I'm sorry, they auto redeemed.
What did you do
These
with
are-
all my ever?
It's like the
marks?
gift card scammer guy.
Please,
I think
sir,
you can-
I want some
You can
more.
donate them, right? The LP for
You
the
can donate the
Evermarks.
Evermarks to the Corp.
So yeah,
Mhm.
Drayden, I'm gonna need you to transfer me all your Evermarks. I'm gonna make it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna make a trip for
one
you.
of those things.
I'm gonna come back with a snowflake on every one of my ships.
I'll join
Here's-
Slice.
And maybe there'll be
Here's
a
how you
phage
get him
somewhere
to do
too.
it.
Who knows? Hard to say.
Here's how you get him to do it without any spending involved. Tell them if they don't. Next time you're in an engagement, you'll tell in local to primary them.
Oh, my
See
name
how
starts
fast they
with
go
A
get
and
it.
his name starts with
Hmm.
D. This isn't a good threat.
What
This
if I
is
just
incredible.
give you my login details, Akroth, and I'll just pay you? I'll just pay
Drayden,
you.
I'll
in,
take
like,
care of you.
Sharing?
Why don't you just
I'll-
tell me where you do your
I'll
high
pay
school
you
shit?
in like Jersey Mike subs. Is that RMT?
Drayden, next
For
time we're
legal
at a meetup,
reasons, this is a joke.
Yeah, for the
next time we're at a meetup,
Look,
I'm gonna-
You know why
I'm
we're
gonna
not
leave-
sponsored?
account sharing and
the Open
sandwich
Com show does not
payments.
support-
Oh my god, ban this man.
I'm gonna leave
Does
my
not
laptop
We
support
don't
out on
account
the
share
table.
and we don't RMT. Just say
Uh,
You're gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. A lot of people play it on that laptop.
Yeah,
Who
that-
could
yeah,
say?
we'll just
It was
all
a- It was
play.
a crazy night.
We'll just all play it. You know what?
Anyway,
That-
so what's next?
Everyone's logged into trading a little
Overhauled
bit.
ship restriction window.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that one's stupid, but okay.
Well, now you'll know for sure you can't take your ship in there.
Ship emphasis.
Who uses
assemble
the
and-
fucking
Oh,
ship
okay.
tree
Wait,
thing
there are
anyway?
some
I
cool
don't
things to
care.
this. The
No,
auto
there's
naming
not.
ship, which is a mixed blessing because some of us like spotting newbies or free intel.
Doesn't mean you have to name it. It just
Oh,
prompts
yeah.
you to.
Like,
Or
But that's
pretending you're a
it's
newbie.
it's a mostly good change. I
is.
I
agree.
wish
that
they would
it
just
takes
auto
away
name it to
some of
whatever
that.
ship you're in, and not like this person's ship.
Isn't that what they're doing?
You know, because it's like, oh, if I'm in a shuttle, I don't want them to be like, oh, it's Drayden's shuttle. It's
Yeah.
like,
Well, I think that's
So-
what they're
So
changing.
it's just giving you a prompt to say, hey,
Yeah.
you need to name your ship. Yeah.
Default ship naming. The rename ship pop-up now appears when assembling a ship, and default names are restructured to show the ship type name first.
sweet. I
Instead of the
like
name.
that.
Changes the default name to ship type first, and then
then your name
You
after
can
that.
change it
I'm
back.
all for that,
Scimitar
yeah, 'cause
Drake.
it's like if you're gonna descan and you're gonna see that it's an Arazu, you know it's an Arazu, and I'm fine with it being called Arazu, but I don't want it to be Drayden's Arazu.
Drayden, why are
Because
they
then you know
seeing you on
exactly of
Descan
the
as an
other
Arazu?
7 people in local. They're like, oh,
He's
well,
That's weird
this,
properly.
They're
because
doing this all wrong.
this motherfucker's
my
the one in the
Arazu is called
Arazu.
Drayden's Arazu.
Oh shit, dude! I didn't even think about that. When you go into a system, you rename your ship to that person's. Oh fuck! I'm doing
What
that. From now
dungeons
this
are
for
people
years.
undocking for? I
I'm
don't get
doing that from now on. When I log into a system, I'm just gonna start putting other people's names.
Can you even see an Arazu on DScan?
We've been doing this for years. Yes,
If
you
they're
can.
not closed.
I
Yeah,
just
Arazu-
my
you're-
point
you're
Oh,
was
this is
thinking
the
of-
one that's
Oh,
that's not the
Lachesis.
one.
Lachesis is the one that doesn't show up in DScan.
Right.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Drayden should just be cloaked, and he's a bad. That's what I was pointing.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
And
no,
honestly, who used the ship
who
tree all that
cloaks
much?
in a
right?
fucking?
I use the ship tree all the time.
The ship tree? Really?
Oh yeah, all the time. I love that thing.
Who cloaks in an
I'll
Arazu?
randomly pick a ship and I'm like, I'm gonna fly that ship tomorrow.
Then this
You don't
changes your
cloak in
grade
your
for you.
Raza?
then.
Is the ship tree like new? Did they do something new with that? I didn't see anything with that.
Yeah,
then.
They added pages for the SOCT ships, the Concorde ships.
Oh, that makes me. Oh, that's happy.
And also, it gives you an option to show restricted ships, but highlight them as unusable.
That's-
You can double click on them, and it'll give you the
I do like that.
restrictions. Yeah.
I do like this done. I like the fact that I no longer have to type in pacifier to see pacifier stats.
Yeah.
I can now go through the ship tree. That's kind of nice.
Why'd you
Yeah,
look
it's
at
pretty
my
nice.
pacifier?
The whatever. What race are those? Concord? DED?
Those are Concorde technically.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
What do you
pretty
think
cool.
about
So
the
wait,
new,
is
new way of,
Concord? Oh, okay, yeah.
of
so
showing the information in your hangars, though? That part I'm not sure if I
I
like.
don't know what is
I
that.
really, it's a card system instead of just a list,
Don't I have a card system already?
not for your ships.
Oh, really?
What is a card system versus? A
Look
list?
at
This little video right here.
Yeah.
Where did I need to watch?
Little video.
So instead
Is
of
it on
just
the
being your
stream?
ships and there are a list
Oh,
of them,
instead of little like okay,
well,
so
I
instead of like
personally
little
have
squares,
106 fitted ships in one of my hangars. I don't want the card system. It's gonna take me forever to scroll through that.
can you reduce
Hopefully it's
Oh,
an
wow.
option. Hopefully it's an option. I don't
If
know
it's
that
an option,
yet.
then it shouldn't
Yeah,
be an
opt
issue,
out of
right?
that. Well, so look at the options on the top
Current
left
system.
near the stack button. It's the icon. It's
Yeah, it's a
icon
little icon.
versus
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
list. It's highlighted red. Do you see it above the Dramiel?
Yeah, versus details and list.
So I think this is optimal. That's my hope.
Yeah, but and the first information we got about this, it did say option, but this one now it doesn't say that anymore. So I don't know.
Well, currently our view modes are icons, details, list,
Correct.
and that looks like it's a list, stack, and cards. So you might even be able to show stacks now, like all
Oh, yeah,
your
okay, cool. All right.
Dramiels can all be in one stack.
I
All of
don't
your
think so. I think it just
thoraxes.
happens to be the stack button is on every hanger window. Is why I think.
I
it's
am
still
not in a
there.
hangar right now, so I don't know for sure.
I'm just
but
saying.
yeah.
I don't think you're going to be able to stack if it's a package or whatever. You know, an assembly.
Okay.
If it was assembled, you
But-
yeah, I wouldn't stack.
But
it.
you can toggle between list and icon, which it looks like this is potentially the icon view for a ship hanger.
But I don't
Okay.
think it's for items. I think it looks like it's not just ships, right?
Well, I think they might
Um,
display this way for ships. Yeah, I don't think
yeah.
items.
The
would.
card view, I don't
What-
think wouldn't
yeah,
worry
I-
about
Well, this
the
allows you
item.
to see a few things, right? Like what the ship does. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So for new
A
players,
little bit,
for
yeah.
instance-
I could
But if
see
you got
some-
a hangar with 105 ships in it,
I,
Right,
it's,
yeah,
I think
you're
it's mostly
not-
for new players, though. It's
Yeah, I
like,
don't think you're going to see the value.
now I'm going to
But
purposely. see
newer
the value.
players, yes, I do see some merits there. I think
'cause it's going to say, okay,
good.
this is a small ship. This is like meant for tackling. Like it says little icons down there. Projectile
actually, now that
turrets
you
versus
mention it, as far as-
hybrids.
As far as stacks, some of these do show a quantity in the bottom right-hand corner. So if maybe,
Yeah,
maybe
so
if
you
they're
can
not
stack ships.
assembled. Well, I'm assuming they're not assembled at that point.
Yeah, maybe.
If it's showing you a quantity,
Yeah, maybe.
because they don't have names either. If you look at the screen, how we're
Well, it also shows you which ship you're in. It looks like too. Maybe.
I mean, yeah,
Well, it
it
says
shows
like a
it
little
as an
button,
active ship.
right?
Well, it
Well,
says active in
like
the
a
bottom right
pod
corner.
or
It has a little
something?
green
Oh,
thing.
it does, yeah, active. Yep. He's in a dragon.
Oh,
But-
what's the little thing with the pod thing?
What do you see? A
You-
pod?
Like it's like shows a pod icon, like the disembark icon on the top right on the rookie ship, the Ibis. It's just
Dorky
like
ship. You're going.
up
I
on the
think
top
that's
right of the
if you look
video.
at how it's kind of slightly highlighted. I think that's where their cursor was last before they moved it up.
No, but if you look at the
I think
picture
that's
of
like
the
shit-
Ibis, it looks
what I'm
like
saying.
a pod icon,
It does,
So if
no, it
you
looks
look
like
at how it's
not
kind of
pod, but
slightly
a,
highlighted,
like a docking. Like you can
I
jump
think
into the
they
ship and press
hovered
this button.
over it with their cursor before moving it up because they also it still shows the iris bill above it, like they had it.
no, it's
they-
showing
they
it's
maybe-
the corpse. It's the corpse icon from out in space.
So I think that is if you hover over it, you would be able to board this ship.
No,
And I
it's the
think
board.
that's
Yeah, it's the board ship button. Yeah, that's what it is.
what I'm saying is I think the
Oh, that's the
mouse
one they
in
were
this
highlighted
in this
last, you're right, yeah,
particular
yeah.
moment of the video or whatever,
Oh,
the mouse was
okay.
hovered over and then moved above, so that's icon was showing for that. They could have clicked that because that's what the mouse was over before
If
it
it had
moved
been
off
hovered
the
over
window.
the
Okay.
thorax, then it would
Right.
have been there.
Yeah,
you're right,
exactly.
yeah,
That
you're
that
right, yeah,
icon I
That
think would have
makes
shown
sense.
up because if you look at it, it looks a little highlighted. That
You're right.
bracket.
I
or
think
that
But it looks like you
what it
can.
is,
So
that
it looks like you
card.
can board ships by pressing a single button, though, rather than like right click and board ship.
Potentially, yeah, I think so. Which I mean,
Okay,
yeah.
now
worst
that
case,
makes
you'd
it better
always
for me.
double-click
I'm
it.
on
I
board
always
now.
just went to the ship hangar and you just double click on a ship and you go into it.
Right. I
Unless
think
you
you can still
accidentally
double click
board
on
shit all
the
the
on the
time,
card.
that'd suck. Yeah. Would probably what I end up doing.
Are you a
Faction
constant,
logos shown within the ship
constant
to have been
border
updated.
dog?
I'm a constant border. It's ridiculous.
Honestly, I like that the faction logo is like
It's a
kind of ghosted
problem.
behind it too. That's cool.
It's a problem.
So you can see the race of like the ships you're in and stuff.
Yeah.
What am I in?
Here we
now?
go.
That's gotta
Home
be-
front operations, guys.
We didn't want to talk about this. We weren't going to talk about it.
I want
I
to
thought
talk
we were
That's why
skipping this one.
I told them not to let you come on. And I said this is absolutely not a topic worth talking about.
Home
We should
front.
make
So
sure
much
and
fun,
avoid
though.
this.
But-
It's just high sec crabs. Who cares?
Well,
But it's the
wait,
best
is
part.
this
So
Homefront? I thought Homefront was like
Yes.
faction warfare.
What is home front?
So home fronts
high-sec
are
shit.
like high sec shit. But here's
Oh,
what's
they're
so
like
funny
the-
for me.
Yeah,
But here's what's so
sites.
fun for me, and the reason I want to talk about this, by the
Go
way.
ahead. Yeah.
So the reason I want to talk about this is because home fronts right now are like one of the best ways in EVE to make money if you are a multi-boxer. You can multi-box 5 ships, and you can make 17 million ISK per character every like 5 minutes or so. It's
In,
like
like,
absolutely
ultimate
insane.
safety.
I've seen a lot of
In
people,
ultimate safety.
I've seen a
It's
lot of people run.
ridiculous.
It's you always see the groups of like it's the dude running like 5 Osprey Navy issues like in tandem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
With
they're
hindsight,
you're
yeah.
they're printing ISK in absolute safety. They don't get any suspect time or nothing like that. I have been going around in a fucking faction frigate with a remote repper, and I have been remote repping inside those sites, and I've been skimming off the top of them and pissing them off and telling them I'm going to sell them a license. And they've been absolutely angry about it. There was multiple Reddit threads about it. There's this one guy who like his shit hits the fan anytime he sees my name in system anymore because I fuck with him all the time. They've changed this
Doesn't
now
like coffee.
Because of you.
because of me. Yeah, literally, they made it so that the first person who activates the gate now owns the site. His fleet can now warp in without a suspect timer, but anyone else can't warp in without a suspect timer. So they've changed it now. So if I want to do like seagoing,
it
I get a
easier?
suspect timer.
That sounds like a worse money
Empire
printer
faction
now.
cruisers
We're
no
abusable
longer
money
allowed
printer.
because of
They
you.
removed. Well, no, I didn't use it. I used a faction frigate,
frigate,
so I don't know
sorry,
if it's
okay.
going to change that. But
It sounds like
here's
a
what's
better money
fun.
printer if you get in the site first, but
If you get the site first. But
Yeah.
here's what's fun now. Now, if I wanted to, I could run, let's say, 5 or 6 Omegas and take an entire region by having one ship of each of my like
just run them into the
multi-boxes.
site first.
Run
and
them into
then
the site
anyone
and
that comes in to
hold it.
run it, they'll just give you money or they have to leave.
Well, I can shoot them because they're now a
Because
suspect
you're now
timer.
suspect, yeah.
So I could
this
lock
is a ganking
down.
Oh, this is amazing.
This is great for people
make
like
this
me who
counterflow.
farm salt.
Now, will
So
this,
if I'm
will there
not
be
there
a,
first,
is there a notification though to them that there's somebody in there?
I would assume so. If their
Descan.
safety
there
is
now?
green, they won't be able to activate it.
Okay.
No, right now you're descanning, right, to see if there's someone in there.
Did you go through an acceleration gate, correct?
You go through an acceleration gate, yeah.
So here's a question.
Ship
Let's
limitation,
just say,
sure.
let's just say you try to hold one of these sites, and some enterprising PvPer brings 5 PvP ships in to try to bait you into shooting them.
Well,
They
they're
can't shoot
suspect.
you unless
They
you shoot them
can't.
first.
Is
Yeah.
this going to
Yeah,
be like the
so
version of
I
can
get-
flipping?
Yeah. They're suspects. So if he doesn't shoot them, they can't shoot him. They have to wait for him.
If
to
I don't
respond.
shoot them, they can't shoot me.
And
But
if
if I
he's-
shoot one of them, they can't shoot me except for the one I shoot.
Yeah,
Correct.
so he could basically see like, can I
All the
take what they
time.
have? I will shoot. Can I not? Then I won't. And it's
Well, I can take one at a time even. Because it's not like you don't. If you shoot one suspect, you don't
it
shoot
doesn't
all
flag,
of them.
Oh, it doesn't flag you for the whole group. It just flags
No,
you for the
because
one.
they're all
It
It gives you
suspect.
limited engagement timer on the one guy.
With the one, so if the other one
Oh.
tries to shoot me and or tries to heal the other one,
They're good Concord.
then they get Concord.
you can just Pac-Man the whole group.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how that's going to work with bots. So obviously, if your safety's set to
Mm.
green, you're not going to be able to activate the gate now if someone else is in there. But if
Oh, good
you
point, yeah.
say that, hey, safety's yellow, you can now warp in 5 Ospreys onto a site that I'm sitting in, for instance, in my faction, or even if I can't do faction cruiser or faction whatever. But let's say my T1 fit combat Brigade or Destroyer. As long as I can survive the rats long enough to kill you, I can now shoot you.
Unless
this
they
is gonna
start
be
using
fun.
cheap
Interesting.
things to
Now,
suicide you and then
is
take
it
over
gonna
the site,
warn
right?
you? Like that's the like. So you have the acceleration gate, right? So is it gonna warn if someone's already in the site? Is it gonna warn like, oh, if you take this, you'll get suspects?
I assume
if you're
so.
green,
I
you
would
won't be
hope
able
so, because
to,
otherwise you like
right?
warp in thinking like, oh,
Well, if you're
I'm gonna
green,
go to
you
the
can't
site.
anyway because it won't let you do anything suspect if you're
Right.
green safety. But if you're yellow safety, I would assume it's going to give you
It
a
warns
pop-up.
you, right? Yeah. And
I would assume. We won't know for sure until we
red
test it.
safety, like we
Right.
all do, or
It's
we all
still-
should do.
Well, it still should give you a warning, just like it does when you jump into a trig site, for instance, or a trig gate.
Now, if you
right?
have red safety, it's just you just get to do what you want. It doesn't
No,
warn
no,
you
it still tells you. It still tells you
Does
like this
it?
is a minor victory system. Do you sure you want to jump? Yeah.
I don't
Unless you
shoot
turn it
stuff-
off. I turn it off. But...
I don't shoot stuff in high sec unless it's like a pro raider or something.
Well, no,
Not-
no. If
not
you
for-
shoot
that
something,
procure.
What was
That
it?
if you
one time.
shoot
Procure. I
something,
only shoot
it's
procures
different
in
than
high
jumping.
sec.
If you shoot something, it's different than jumping. If I have
the
yellow
view of
safety and
prospect.
I target an MTU, for instance, and shoot it, there's no warning. But if I'm yellow safety and I try to jump a gate into a trig system or jump into a low sec system for the first time on a new account or something, it gives you a warning essentially saying, hey, you may not know this is a dangerous area, so we're going to tell you it's a dangerous area. Now, I would assume the same would occur with this gate because it's jumping mechanics. I don't know, though. It may not. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to have a bunch of fun.
So here's the problem, though. As I read through these, the overall bounty values of NPCs within these sites have been greatly increased. Why?
Yes. Because
were
you
already
weren't shooting
great
them.
money
You weren't
printers.
shooting them. Because you weren't shooting the NPCs.
You didn't need to, or
You didn't
why?
need to. So the only one you really need to shoot the NPCs is the raid, and you only need to shoot one NPC, and that's the hauler, right? So you scram the
These
hauler,
were
kill the
already money
hauler,
printers, though.
but they were money printers from completing the site, not from killing the rats. So
Just
essentially,
killing
they've
the rats increases
reduced.
the
So now you
multiplier.
print more money?
You print more money from killing rats, but you lose income because it also reduced the total payout from 17.14 to 15.49 million.
That's not much.
Well, yeah, but I don't think the greatly increased actually means what you think it means. I think it's
It
from like
sounds
2,000.
Like it's greatly
I think it's
increased.
from 2,000 ISK to probably like 100,000 ISK, like,
Which is a great
It-
amount, but
Wait,
not
from
to you because you're
2,000
super
to
rich.
100,000?
Like that's nothing.
which
to
is
you
a
'cause
lot,
We know
but
how
like it's still
percentages
not.
work, right?
Yeah, I know how percentages work, but I'm saying is like I don't think it's going to make up for the fact that you now have to put more work. First, you have to put more work to kill the rats because you don't need to kill the rats in any of these sites at all.
It sounds
at
like
all.
they're going to give more money to high secers, which are some of the worst people.
Which I think is ridiculous too. But yeah,
Wait, you like high
They should all be
secers?
pores. No, they should be
No,
pores.
not at all, Drayden.
What?
well, this is meant for new
Why would I
bros
like
to learn
high-sec?
fleet
That's
mechanics.
classist, dude.
I don't know why you
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
would
I
hey,
am.
hey.
much.
Everybody starts in high sec.
Yeah,
That's
and then I
true.
try to
Not
encourage
true.
them to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Well, I mean,
disagree.
I don't fault
started
them
in
for
high sec.
starting there. I want to encourage them and I want to be the wind beneath their wings, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
if
gonna
you aren't
inspire
if you aren't day 2 in low sec, what are you
I
doing?
don't, if they can make a good, honest day's work money in high sec, then how the fuck are we gonna get them anywhere else?
Like,
True.
well, yeah, you
Facts.
start
You
in
know?
high sec, then you
Facts.
think about low sec.
So it's recruiting numbers that's the
it's
problem.
not even about my group. I want them outside of high
Facts.
sec because that's where the game
You
opens
start in
up.
high sec, you think
They should
about
go to
low sec.
wormholes.
Sometimes you go to low sec, and then a lot of
Wormholes.
times you go out to
They can
no
go to
sec,
any
and,
sec.
and you join in
Yeah,
it
go to wormholes.
like Bear Grylls there.
I just don't want them living in high sec. I'm sorry, LB. I feel like we're frustrating, and I apologize for this case.
They also made it so only
didn't
characters
get
in the
paid at
combat
all,
site
yeah.
are eligible for payouts. That's not a difference, by the way.
So-
What's up?
Here's the thing with high sec, honestly. Yes, null sec is such a difference. Vice versa. Wormholers say the same thing. Low secers, but it's all different. Like the styles of gameplay are different for each, but having that separation gives enough of a wide spectrum of players that either A, want straight up hardcore balls to the wall, or want to just dick around in low sec or high sec for a little bit. And it accommodates enough of a variety of players to fill all of the roles needed in the game economy.
In the ecosystem, I'm
Yeah.
being hyperbolic. I'm being mostly like facetious.
Well, and
I have no problem
know,
with
it
people
just-
enjoying playing high
High
sec.
sectors have their
Here-
purpose,
But
like low
where the
sectors
little bit of
and-
truth, the nugget of truth in that is, I don't think anyone in high sec needs to have a respectable amount of income. I think they should get by. If that's where you want to play, I think you should be able to get by. And if you want to get creative and innovative, I think you should be able to make good money. I don't think they should have a money printer in high
There
sec
should
in
be a
any
risk
way,
versus
shape,
There,
or form.
there is a money printer in HiSec. It's called Safety.
Yeah.
So these home fronts are
But they're not making
effectively a
billions doing
big
this,
money
right?
printer.
Well, and
No,
they're-
Dude,
a lot of people
Safety?
are.
Oh yeah,
I'm
definitely.
making
oh, dude,
billions.
yes, absolutely.
Home fronts
billions.
also, yes. Home
They
fronts also,
probably
yes.
What I'm
plex.
talking about is the home fronts.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
And
probably
print
flexed every
money.
single one of the
100% they
characters
do.
with
Oh,
billions.
absolutely.
Easily,
Yes,
dude.
100%
Dominarch,
billion.
if you're doing,
Dude,
so
look at
let's
their fucking kills.
let me do the math real fast for this while you
It's
guys talk about
it's
safety.
it's
So if you go
insane.
into one
If
of
you
the
want-
sites and you're sitting there waiting for somebody else, won't you get attacked by the NPCs?
Yeah, but I can tank the NPCs.
Okay.
I
If you
built
want to
shit for
grind
them.
to L4s
You
all
speed
day,
tank
as
'em.
people have done for 22 years or whatever we're at
Hey,
now,
grinding level 4s.
do what you do. It's
So,
not
Dom-
great,
Yeah.
but
And
it's
those
functional
are the
and you
more
can do
lucrative.
it.
Like I said, those are the more lucrative ones. Like Dom, I was saying, like I do high sec I do PI and high sec with 4 characters, and I
What
make
system
about
was that?
7. I make 7 or 8 billion a month.
He told you last week.
I make
know,
7 or
I
8 billion a month with 4 characters in high sec, and
Do
that's
you right
just-
now? Or you stopped doing
Yeah,
it?
but that's
Yeah.
a month, right?
and that's a month. So,
So-
that's like 2 billion a month per character. But that's high sec PI using the high sec PI Pocos. You know, so that's
So
what,
here's-
and then
here's
it's like
a
what you guys are
different-
talking
No.
about is even more lucrative than that. So it's like this is
It
like a
is.
super
So home-
lazy. This is a lazy venture for me that makes me more
How
money
do you
than I
find
do
a
grinding
home
in
front
nullsec.
just
So.
like a
There are anomalies that appear on the overview. They're usually in the main regions of the game, so wherever your starting system is, they're usually around that area. So like the Forge is a big one, a big region for home fronts because it's right next to Jita, right? And so you'll have a lot of multi-boxers with a lot of Asian characters in their names, and there's a lot of suspicion
Whoa,
that
yeah.
those are bots. I'm just saying,
Whoa.
there's a lot of suspicion.
A lot of people are
And
saying.
so, you know,
what
and
is it?
and
You
right
find them
now,
under like the opportunities?
yeah, they're under
Agency?
opportunities as well. Under opportunities, yeah, for home fronts, there's an opportunity for
I'm gonna
that.
go in one right now and try to kill somebody.
You need 5 people usually. They're
kill
spec for
somebody?
5
You
people.
just said you could do
Don't
that.
He only
listen-
needs
kill
one to
somebody.
kill someone.
Don't listen to
To
that,
kill a
Dom.
player? No,
Don't
no.
don't
you
listen
need
to that,
5
Dom.
people.
Just go in there and I trust.
It's
trust,
high sec, Dom, so
I
you're gonna have to
trust your
suicide
skill.
gank 'em.
Dude,
I have a high sec
Can't-
character.
can't
Just
flip the home
Secret
front.
one.
Well,
Just-
you can't. They're not suspect until Tuesday. First off,
Just
And-
channel your
yeah.
inner fucking Tom Cruise
Dick.
Maverick.
Yeah.
You could do it. You know.
if you
I
take a
know I can do it. I'm a
sniper,
dick. I can do it.
take
Just-
like a
Just
kiting
go and
fit.
shoot someone and go straight up, and you'll win, right? I mean, that's
You have to have 5 people to do one.
dodge the Sams. and,
Typically, you want 5 people to do them because the payout scales as well. So if you have less than 5, you get less payout. If
just
you have
lost
more than
interest.
5, you get
I
less
just lost
payout.
interest.
Well,
Caps
yeah,
at
but here's
5, roughly.
here's
I
here's
want
why
5
people
friends. Come on.
here's why people run them. Right now, they pay 17.14 million ISK per character, up to 5 characters, and it scales often from there. If you have multi-boxing 5 characters, you're making 85.7 million for
Every
like
15 minutes?
5 minutes of work, dude. Like 5,
It's
It
a
says 5 to 10.
printer.
20 minutes.
5 to 10 now.
They're reducing the max time. from
Now,
15
now
Dude,
they're
motherfuckers.
reducing it. So that was only for
So
the emergency
that's-
aid. The emergency aid also paid you every 5-10 minutes.
And the home fronts, didn't they also have some like certain ore spawns and stuff that you can?
That's the
I don't know.
specifically that's the metaliminal asteroid one. There's
Yeah.
like different types of them,
But
but it's
that
the
one
most-
though, that one really started getting used when the Lancers came out, if I remember correctly.
you can't refine the ore, so I'm not sure why.
Oh, okay.
So here's
Yeah,
the
no,
thing.
you just sell the ore to
I'm
NPC
out. No,
powers.
I'm out.
I accept I'm a salty bitch, sure. I don't think high secers in one of the most technically mechanically safe places of space. Obviously not societally, because I think everybody
The null
fears
sec's the safest. yeah,
people
we
that
all
they
know.
don't know where they stand. You know, neutrals. That's the
See,
you
that's
know,
the problem
it's
with
the most
high sec
intimidating
is
of all.
that
But
a lot of newer players that stick to high sec, it's dangerous to them because they don't understand where gankers are, where they
but
frequent,
that's a
how to
different danger.
avoid them, things like.
What I'm saying,
Eh,
you shouldn't have high level income possibilities to what I would say compared to any of the other facets of space, because of the innate safeties allowed to you, or just preset for you.
I agree.
I think
actually.
I think it should always be at some lower level, and if there are viable printers, which currently there is, and there's always been on some level, and like I said, if you get innovative, don't get me wrong, somebody who sits in Jita and trades all day is going to make way more money if they're doing it on a very professional, serious level than
Yeah.
a lot of people make in nullsec or wormholes or wherever. Like everything has those little.
There's such a
those
high
little
skill level
things,
for that too, though.
But I'm
so.
saying, there
Yeah.
shouldn't be just a normal, approachable PvE event that somebody could 5-box into and print nullsec, wormhole, Pochvan-esque money in
Well,
high
that's not really
sec.
a new
I mean,
player
at that
thing
point,
anyway. If
you're
they're five
arguing-
boxing, that's not a new player.
Well, and
But-
that's the thing,
but
Dom. It
an
doesn't have to
alpha
be
can
five
run
boxing. It
these.
can be five
Multi-boxing is
friends.
the issue.
But
But it
alphas
shouldn't be
can
that
run
kind of
these.
income.
What new
So-
player has friends in this game? Come on.
Well, so Dom, the thing is, you can spool up 5 brand new accounts, right? You can do 5 brand new accounts with the million SP, and you can run these day one.
But I'm saying if you're a
5
new
brand
player,
new
that's not
accounts.
something you're going to know how to do.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Or
Let's
you
say you
think that it's
are an
something-
older
yeah.
player.
Dom, even if you're a year-old player, yeah. I don't think in
You-
high sec you should be able to print billions of ISK in relative complete safety.
No, I
Yeah,
don't
these
want
are-
them to,
these
I don't
things
think
are really
any
not
ISK at all. I want
dangerous.
to go out there and take it all away from them. That's what I'm saying. I don't,
And I mean, they're
yeah,
making
it's ridiculous.
changes. That's what
I,
these.
but
these
Dom can't go
upcoming
to high
bullet
sec
points
because
are
I'll get
about.
attacked by fucking everybody.
That's right.
You can create an
those
alpha. You
meanies
can
in high
create a
sec.
day one character and
I
do
don't want to
these.
do that though.
I know. I'm just saying.
So they are changing aspects of this, and I don't
Yes.
understand enough about them in the first place to understand the implications. Of
I'm
all
enjoying it. Yes.
I do remember when it came out, we all said, "This sounds like a good idea," but maybe
It's well, they came out. The idea was you're going to take new bros in with the people that don't know how to play the game with one FC. The FC is going to teach them mechanics like how to shield rep, how to cap transfer, how to scram this and that. The idea is these are supposed to be meant for training, right?
I think
what
we
they
saw a
turned
little
into,
bit of it at the beginning.
yeah, what they turned into though was ISK printers for multi-boxers, especially the emergency aid one, because you literally just put 5 ospreys in there, cap chain to each other, and then dump cap into essentially a dread or something that's on grid. That's all you do. And that's all it is. It's no brain at all, dude.
Yeah, I've heard it was pretty silly from a few alliance mates that did it.
And
with
this
small
is after
teams.
they made major changes to make it better. I do remember we was talking about it, them changes, right?
Yes, so they've already done one change that reduced people like me who are just being assholes. And one of the changes they did do was they actually made it so that you cannot rep the gate from outside and get payouts. So that was a thing that you could do in the past. Now you have to be on grid inside, and you have to quote unquote contribute. So that's why right now, if I'm in my ship right now to do home front inspections, that's what I call it when I seagull, I have to have a remote repper, and I have to go in and remote rep the guys in the fleet that I'm stealing from. And that counts as me helping. And then I get to say, "Where's your license, sir?" And they say, "What license?" And I say, "Well, you need a home front license to do this." And they get mad, and it's the best part. I don't care about the ISK, by the way. This is just, it's for the salt.
Well, of
Um,
course. I mean,
come
the
on.
ISK amount is literally
Critical.
negligible at this point, unless you're new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you also, I also reduce it for them too.
LB.
So they don't get 17 anymore, they get 14.
LB. Oh, he's the
I'm here.
latest person. No,
Wait,
you're
yeah.
not. Barely.
No,
He's on the way
I'm
up.
what we need to
super
do
tired.
Is,
He's on
We
the
only
way.
got like 4 more things to go over, LB. We'll do it quick.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about home fronts. We've moved past them. There's
Mhm.
like 3 more bullet points. PV.
Yeah.
LB,
Yes.
you here?
I'm here.
We're-
Yeah.
we're-
He gave
talking
himself
about
a
this,
good
didn't
slap. Okay. Paragon mission. They've added
Turn in new ships.
Paragon
We don't care.
missions to get
We
some
don't care,
more
yeah.
some more
skip
types
Paragon.
of ships.
Fuck that shit.
Turn
Wait,
in
wait, here,
turn
this
in
is
ships
important
high
because we
sec.
touched on it earlier. They've added some more ships and faction ammo, so they're getting more shit that they can turn around and sell us, but on the up and up because they're actually asking us to turn it in so they can turn around and sell it to people. I'm okay with it because I was always worried about how shady it might be because none of us can really prove that they got it all. So this at
Still
least
kind of
looks
shady,
good.
but
Optics
Yeah.
is good.
I think it's like the old
Incursion.
Clunker program. They destroy it, don't they?
I don't know. They're supposed to use them to sell to us. Fucking. Incursions, mothership sites within high and low security space now have a minimum amount of time before they can appear. No security space is unaffected by this change. I've run some incursions. I don't know exactly what this affects, but
I did have a question on this one.
Okay.
Okay.
They say now at least 3 days and at least 1 day, right? Does that
Yes.
mean it was less than that before? Because it doesn't.
it
say
was based
decreased
on a
it.
pushing system. So if you push
So
real
you could
hard,
drive it to be less.
yeah.
Okay, you
you
could.
pushed
so
it
was
real
possible
hard.
for it to be less. That's
Yeah.
my question.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
But now
So this
they're
just made it
governing high
easier.
sec, which is good.
This made it easier for people to like not miss it, and it also made it harder for them to just push it harder, get
Yeah.
the payout, and move on.
Like you
Super
said, high
farm
sec.
them.
That's high sec fucking money printing.
It is.
That's
It can
that's
be.
been a long scale high sec money printer.
Yeah,
Yes.
I missed
But
when it
that
first
one
came
has a
out.
lot
That
of-
was
There's
awesome.
also a risk. There's
That
also
one
a
has a lot of
this one.
risk and counterplay. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Much different than the home fronts. That one you
Yes.
see bowheads blow up with a bunch of people's Vindies and shit inside, and you're like, ooh, poor guy.
Oh, I would
But,
love to get on
um,
that kill.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, observatory flashpoints.
Oh, we talked about it already?
Activation cost.
That was
Did
what
we-
Vlad brought
did
up in the
we, Did we
beginning.
touch on all these? Okay.
Yeah, yep.
C5 and
C65,
C6.
that's wormhole stuff is
anomalies and
important.
Wormhole stuff.
signatures.
Yep.
Do,
You have to
does
have a
anybody
cap
even
to
live in
spawn.
those?
Yes.
We did talk about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Too.
You have to have a
We got
cap
out
to
of order.
spawn the thing. It stops
What thing,
roaching.
though?
Nobody
That's what
even
I'm
knows
asking.
what wormholes
The
mean.
drifter NPC that drops like the best loot.
Yeah, it's
He's a
like the
jag.
final
Wait a
boss
minute.
or
Asshole.
something.
No one
I
likes
don't
that.
know.
You
Wait a
run
minute.
C5s and
drifters-
6s.
LB, do you know anything about that?
The drifters or the
No.
sleepers?
Okay, it's a wormhole thing. I don't know.
Sleeper.
It
I don't
says
know.
drift.
It's like the Artemis Tyrannosaurus or something.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
It's
the,
the
that's the
dinosaur at the end.
sleeper then.
Those I thought those, as far as wormhole space, those only spawn in the drifter hive system.
No, you
This
can get
guy's
a
coming
rare
for your
spawn.
shekels
Dude,
and your
okay.
and that tail.
They're in
He's
it's an
coming for that
escalation.
ass.
It's an escalation wave.
Gotcha.
It will only now spawn if capital.
But it is
ships.
sleeper, not drifter. correct?
Oh,
So
It
you
is
have to have a
considered
capital
a
on grid.
drifter, but it acts like a sleeper rat.
Sleeper site.
It
Okay.
does
Wow.
not
Autos-
have the drifter doomsday. It doesn't have the overshield, but you have to point it, and it newts, scrams, it applies evor, etc.
And honestly, we're pretty supportive and like progressive, so we're gonna accept it for whatever it wants to be. You know what I mean?
well, lore wise, there actually is a significant difference in it, and function wise, as far as
Yeah,
in
lore,
terms of
lore.
mechanics and stuff. Well, no, it's not just that; it's in
No,
terms of
that's-
mechanics as well.
So then there's
Okay,
also Triglavian minor victory systems.
Warp
One bullet
post
point
will
of that
now.
irritates me, but okay.
What's a
Sorry.
warp post doing?
No, the weapon damage ramp up has been increased. I don't like that.
On
Oh, wow.
disintegrators?
For the entropic
Warp post.
disintegrators, yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
warp
just
post.
for the
That
warp
was a
posts.
that was a
never
while ago,
mind,
though,
okay.
wasn't it? A couple of
Never mind.
weeks.
I don't care now.
I haven't.
These just
dealt
for
with
the
that. I'm
NPC gate guns. Essentially, they spawn.
Yeah. Now I'm
And
okay.
now,
yeah.
if you clear them, they will no longer be on gates, stations, or.
Is
what was
this
the
a
other thing I
Pochvin
said?
thing?
No, this is in the minor victory system. So, like back when Pochvin invasion was occurring, before Pochvin was a thing,
The system they
if the
took from us,
Trigs won
Oh,
a system,
so-
but it wasn't a liminal system, they essentially established a presence there.
So
And
like
they were
speckled
putting up
high and low
these-
sec.
Yeah, special high and low
I
sex.
feel like
yeah.
I pass through these sometimes and I get the pop up. Hey, there's
Sometimes
trigs
they're
possibly
dangerous
there.
if you don't have trig standings, they can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Same thing with Edencom sites.
They want
They
to
can be
harass my
dangerous.
haulers and stuff. Like that.
Yeah,
Gunstar,
exactly.
go burr.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Gunstar go burr. Yeah,
Um,
which is funny because the Gunstars aren't like not going to spawn anymore. It's just the war posts aren't going to spawn anymore. So
Yeah, I saw a Reddit thread about that. How it sounded like it's getting fucked on the Triglavian side, but not the Edencom side. Which
yeah,
we'll
which
see.
I mean kind of makes sense because like Edencom are in the
mean-
systems.
Hopefully we'll see how it shakes out if there's a balance pass needed. They've gotten a lot better, I think, with the metaphor of like adding valves to things more or
Yeah.
less, to where like we're comfortable tweaking things more often than just like oversteering back and forth.
I actually got lucky and really lucked out on the whole Edencom versus Triglavian standing long issue years later, because all of that stuff had happened before I started playing again back in like 2022 mid late,
Mhm.
and I don't have like enough of a negative or positive in one way or the other. So everybody was like, "Oh, worry about this, worry about that," and I just would go through the systems having no standing on one side or the other, and both sides just completely ignore me.
Well, I
So-
have that right now too. So
So real quick, we're almost at
yes,
manufacturing. The last bullet
crab
point.
beacons.
I need somebody to run me like an Eve cookbook or a lazy blacksmith or something. Concord Rogue Analysis Beacon reduced the amount of megasite required for manufacturing by 50%.
Make
Last
a
I
crab
looked-
beacon, yeah.
Yeah, crab beacons. Last I looked, your BPC is about 6-7 million per run. You usually buy them 5-run copies for about 35-36 million. The P4 required, and then the install jobs or whatever. It all told comes out to be somewhere around like 80s or like low 90s, maybe 95 million per unit.
But now you need 50% less megasite.
That's what I'm wondering. Somebody who's capable of multitasking, doing things while I'm talking,
Oof,
and I
okay.
try to preload you for this.
Okay.
Run me the numbers. What does the megasite reduced by 50% actually change in the whole
From
equation?
400 to 200.
And while you're figuring that out, so it only went from 400 units to 200 units?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, god damn it. I was like, that doesn't sound
Well,
like
okay.
much.
What's
Yeah,
the
but
thing called?
Megasite's
The-
still like 4,000 a piece.
I don't know. So while I'm
Concord
moving
Rogue
on, y'all
Analysis
calculate that and
Beacon.
then
Yeah.
update me here in a sec.
I'm
Can't
working
do
on it.
Somebody's doing it. I believe in you. I
I'm
believe in
working
all
on
of
it.
you.
I'm working
Okay,
on it.
thank you, buddy.
They changed
LP
the fucking
stores?
yeah, there you go.
So here's a big one, and this
So
I'm
10,000
glad
to 5,000.
LB looks super awake now, which is important. LP stores, they removed all ship holes from LP stores. I've heard from various directions that a lot of the like pirate hulls and things like that in the last, let's say, 6 months or a year that this has kind of been a thing, have mostly been just printed out of LP stores now instead of being how we used to get them, which was getting them in, whatever, DED sites and escalations and whatever. People are
They're
just
reduced by about
building
25 million, by the way.
25 million. Wow, that's a big,
Yep.
big drop on crabs. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
At least based on
Um,
Jita pricing.
Jesus.
I mean,
Christ.
that was
Lo and
kind of
behold, I was full of shit. That's funny.
that was
Um,
expected with the with the Angel and Garista side. Now the Serpentis side, those still drop the same way though.
the hulls. You
Yeah,
still
right,
can't
yeah,
buy Serpentis hulls from an LP store.
No. All
They must
LP
be talking
stores.
about the old stuff, right? 'Cause
I'm
they're-
talking
all
about in
LP
terms
stores.
of how
now
it.
with the new change, right? Yeah.
Yeah, with a new change.
This
So-
is mostly Navy ships.
Okay.
So like
So the faction war guys.
the faction warfare, you used to be able
Mission
to take
runners
your
too.
faction warfare LP and turn it in for a straight up ship. So if you wanted a Navy Brutix, you could just use LP and get a whole Navy Brutix.
Yes.
But many
Which means
comments
the
that way.
people building Brutix. The other way to do it is you can buy a Navy Brutix blueprint, and then trade in part of the materials to build a Navy Brutix. Is a
Which was
Brutix.
less LP and less money, and the ship was
Yes.
more LP and more money. So you had
Yeah.
the choice. To just
But
plan
the
what you wanna do.
building required a lot of like stuff that was hard to get. So like gases and stuff that were expensive.
That's why I always bought.
That's
the,
especially true for pirate ships. Pirate ships
Yes.
have had a
Okay.
lot of gas and stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yes. And they've
But,
changed the requirements
gotta-
too
gotta
for
huff
manufacturing
hard.
as well.
Most the I know the Garista's LP store for sure. You could never buy hulls from. It's only blue.
It's just a faction.
Like
war, right?
it was not even a possibility. You're saying.
Yeah, no,
Okay. So maybe it was only the Empire factions. It sounds like.
I think so. Yeah.
I remember
Okay.
buying the salt freight, not salt.
So
freight,
now
the
they've
frigate for
removed the
Caldari
ship
one,
hulls
yeah.
from LP stores, so you can
Well-
no longer buy outright built ships from any faction. Maybe. If I'm
It says
understanding.
all LP
sounds
stores.
about right. Yeah.
Yeah, all ship hulls from LP stores. So even mission runners, like, used to be able to buy like a Navy Apocalypse if you ran like a 30,000 missions or whatever. You can no longer do that.
Okay. Okay, that seems fine. Then I'm okay with it. For now, 'cause I don't know
Here's the big one for pirate ships is gonna be really good. The Neuralink conduits are no longer required to build them, which is where primarily most of the price comes from with pirate ships.
that. Okay.
So now what am
Oh,
I
yeah,
doing
Goat
with
is right, that's
Neuralink
right, yeah.
conduits? What am I doing? with
Cap-
those?
Capitals, right?
Sell them to
Cap-
someone
Oh,
before they
okay.
realize.
Aren't the Neuralink condo? Those are
You
one
use
of the
them in
things that
capital building,
uses the
yes.
gas though.
They use the gas, but they're the
Okay.
ones in the gas, which is where the price is, and the cap in the pirate ships. So pirate ships should go a lot cheaper because you're now using net resonators, which you're using LP to buy. So you're using LP from the pirate stuff to buy net resonators, which then you can use for sub-capital pirate ship manufacturing. So it should
Is that
reduce
where-
hopefully the price.
That's where net resonators come from. It's from LP stores.
Yeah, it looks like it on this little bullet point.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
it added new manufacturing component net resonator for each pirate faction for the manufacturing of
Of
subcapital.
sub-capital hulls.
But it doesn't say where to get the net resonators in that.
No, but I would
on
assume
this-
it's the
yeah, it doesn't-
I would assume it's the LP store.
That's a big assumption, dude. You know what they say about that.
That's true.
I'm sorry. I wasn't
You
trying
do
to.
say shit like
What
that.
what an
I'm
ass.
trying to disparage. you.
No, it's fine.
The
Adding
next one is
manufacturing-
changed LP offers for pirate hull BPCs. I don't know what they cost before, so it doesn't matter.
Hold
what they
on.
cost
Can
now.
can I go back to the fucking
Yeah, absolutely.
can.
You
pirate
can.
hulls
No,
here?
you can't go.
LB's
can't-
awake
LB
now.
gets to decide this. shit.
LB's
Is this-
awake now. He
I was
deserves
waiting.
this.
I was waiting for this part because
The whole time.
motherfuckers,
You
I
can't triple-
set up
You
a
can't triple
system
stamp and double stamp, Lloyd.
to
You
do-
can't triple stamp and double stamp.
fucking
You can't triple stamp and double
moon
stamp.
reactions, gas fucking bullshit. I'm
Wow.
building the fucking subcapital. What
Well,
are they
now you're
called? The
building
Neuralinks.
capitals.
I was
You talking
building
about vertical
Neuralinks.
integration?
Now you're building
I was
capitals.
building it. Now
You're
I'm
not.
fuck. Okay, well,
Now
I don't
you're
build
building
capitals.
capitals.
Vertical integration, LB?
Take it away.
I live in
Like every
fucking
step.
Zarzak. So now
Now you're building capitals.
I would buy the stuff from Jita, the main,
a shot.
the lowest level components. I would build it, and then I would react it or fucking PI it or do whatever the fuck it is you do with it
Oh,
until you come up with a fucking Neuralink. So
Ryan
now I
Reynolds.
guess I
Trading
just
stuff.
fucking have to sell those to somebody else.
Were those things
Cool.
you could
I'm
only
curious-
buy or only build in Zarzak?
Ryan Reynolds.
No,
No,
no.
but
Just
they were
operate.
You can build them anywhere.
Why'd you do it there?
Because that's where he's living right now.
That's where he's
'Cause
living.
that's-
That's what he
That makes
said.
more sense. Okay.
I was
LB's
gonna ask
being a
him-
super cool deathless like clubber or whatever. Apparently
was gonna
they play
ask you,
cool
actually,
music in that station.
how
I've not been.
how is it like how is it living in Zarzak compared to wherever else?
It's
that
living
one
in any
central
other
location.
low sec spot.
Well,
that's
but doesn't
fucking-
anywhere you go outside of the safety bubbles like cause you just damage over time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but you
what
don't
do you
ever
do
guys
get
there?
stand,
What,
right?
what do you do out there?
You go
other than-
directly
You
to
don't.
where you're going.
I
just
leave
out
the
of the-
station and then I go to the shipcaster.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
don't.
Go to the
So
incursion.
why did they put that damage mechanic if it just
Fuck
no
with
one
the
I
people
think-
who fuck up, which is getting pulled into
well,
drag bubbles and
Are
stuff.
there is there anything to do outside of the safety bubbles that is
Not
worthwhile
yet.
to?
Not yet.
Not
Or
yet.
is it
They were
more
gonna
to
have-
How
like
is the
just-
market though?
Is it more to just
How-
keep people close to the
I-
gates that are trying to like gang people, so they don't
Well-
sitting like 250 kilometers off?
There was talk of like
And sniper ships.
investigating Zarzak and finding the secrets of Zarzak. So like I don't know if anyone's actually gone out there and actually scanned that shit. If maybe there's actually hidden shit out there, I don't know. But
Oh, dude. What if
like, there's
data
potential,
sites
there's
that
something
give you,
out
like,
there.
A billion is per
Yeah.
site, but if you live long enough.
So is your 4 new?
That
net
I feel like that, why did they do something like that?
cool,
Like data and relic sites that are
I mean,
very lucrative, but also you can't live long enough to get all the cans. And also, it's like, how long does it take you to hack these things? So you have to get in there and like choose like I'm gonna get these 2 cans and run. But
what does this genetic
But
mutation
what if I
inhibitor do?
what if I get
I'm
the
not-
third and like the third takes you a little bit longer and now you died? I don't know.
I'm not trying to be
Two
mean,
guns.
but
I feel like that'd be cool.
they showed it off to us at FanFest last year, and I think it probably got rushed to market because it was an easy opportunity for them
Are
to
you
get a
saying
little bit
it
of like
was
layup
a
and stuff. I don't know for sure
walking
because I've not
stations?
spent a single moment in Zarzak to my knowledge.
I have.
I know
I've-
of it,
I've walked
and I've
through
seen
it.
What
some
is the-
videos of it. I've watched
I've
LB stream
traveled
from
through
it.
Zarzak a few
What's the
times.
market
But that being said, I don't think
like?
it's fleshed out
In a
in the way
shuttle.
that they thought they were gonna yet.
I agree.
No,
with
I've
that.
traveled through Zarzak a few times in a shuttle by myself.
You agree
I've
with me,
traveled
Dom?
through Zarzak
I agree.
in the safety
thanks,
of an
buddy.
entire BFL fleet a few times. I also have an alligator in the Zarzak station that LB sold me, and I have not moved it out of there because there is no safe time for me.
Drayden, don't feel bad. LB
Don't be a-
Christmas.
Don't be. Oh, come on, man.
No,
Just-
I'm
LB
not- I'm
Christmas
not-
me
I'm not
a
blaming LB, I'm
BPC,
just
and I
saying,
haven't built it because
I-
there's so many gas parts.
No, I'm
and
not
like, I don't
blaming
know how
LB.
to
I'm
do
saying
that
I
anyway.
have this alligator.
gone
that I have an alligator that I really want out
Yeah,
of
the
there.
gas prices are gone now.
But I'm always afraid that I'm gonna like warp out of Zarzak and jump through in a probably unfit alligator.
You would have to
Dude, LB went
sub-warp.
back and forth at a DST like a fucking.
I'm probably.
you know,
I'm
cast
pretty
iron
sure I
gonads
will
guy.
warp out of Zarzak in an unfit alligator because
You look like a
I'm not gonna
victim
fit
waiting
it
to
up in
happen. I
station
watched
because
that
who
one.
does that? I'm gonna fit it up and bring
Santiago,
it
you're
back home.
correct. Yeah.
So I'm gonna fly that shit back home completely unfit because I'm
I'll
not.
put a stab.
I'm not a
Because
bitch.
you're a baller.
I'm
You
not a
know what
bitch,
you're doing.
and
Just
so
don't
I
be a
will
bitch.
jump
Don't
out
be
of
a bitch.
Zarzak and die immediately to a fucking.
Just let me know when you're doing it.
Atron or some shit like
I'll
that.
scout you.
Like,
I'll
Here's
scout
what
you
you
out.
do, Drayden.
Don't do
You
it.
Take a frigate with
quote,
all those
scout.
fittings you want to put on it in the cargo holder.
No,
whatever,
no.
Fly there, and then just self-destruct, trash whatever the frigate after you use it as a hauler. or something.
Flip
Just
everybody off.
Don't-
Bring all your shit there to fit the ship.
Don't talk sense. Don't give me hope.
But dude,
get
I'm
your
telling you,
nonsense
I'll
out of
scout
here.
you out.
Don't give me
When I
hope.
lock you up, it's
Akrov.
just so I
Don't
can
you
web you
give
off,
me
right?
hope.
Don't you give me hope. I much prefer that I have this very valuable, cool ship in an
That's noble of you.
unaccessible location, and it's just like,
It's
you
not
know what?
inaccessible at all. It's a
I
highway.
believe he just
It's
said,
actually most
"Let
of it's
me
like high
have
set.
my
super
vision."
accessible.
Let me have
Yeah.
my sorrow.
We have
Sorry
no
about that,
sorrow.
buddy. I'm so sorry. I'm doing this too much.
Yeah,
sounded
it's
better
like,
as
I like this better when it's like, oh, I have this
Zarzak's
cool
not
thing
that
that I'll.
dangerous.
No,
It's like
just
I'll
high
never
set,
be able to
yeah.
get it. It's like that British like meme where the guy's like, like
Q2
reaching
capital
for it, but it's
guns,
like I'll never
reduced
be
by
able to get
50%.
it. You
That's
know?
amazing.
More fight and robotics, which
Yeah,
is gonna
fuck
be
yeah.
a lot of
Cheaper
yeah,
Q2
huge,
guns, I like it.
cheap. Yeah,
Are
cheap.
we doing more bullet points?
Yes.
I did. I just did one.
Okay. Yeah.
I did one. Bam.
Ooh, they got the quality shit going
Last
on.
one is genetic mutation inhibitor, a new skill.
food.
Woohoo!
Dude, T2 capital guns were a little expensive, so I appreciate
What are
that.
genetic mutation inhibitors? Is that
For
the thing
the,
that
uh,
like reduces the
they-
mutaplasma?
I'm looking at it
That's
now.
for the mutaplasma
They
thing.
prohibit genetic mutations.
Whoa,
I don't know what
what?
that means.
Yeah.
So
No, I
you
don't know
can
what that means.
like, is that like stacking your mutaplasmids to be better, or what?
Oh,
what
it
does
doesn't say
that
anything
even
about
mean?
mutaplasms here. Gives 2% reduction in manufacturing time for all items requiring it per level. What items require it? Fuck off.
Genetic
All of them.
genetic mutation inhibitors.
We don't know. that
It's
for
an item
sure.
in the
the
game,
fuck does
but I don't know
that
what that.
mean?
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
yeah.
that is the. You're right. That is
It's
the
the item, but I don't know what
is,
it does. It
And
says
that
there are
about sums it
component
up!
and safeguarding
Exclamation.
measures adopted by
I
Eden
didn't know you
Co.
built those. I thought those were drops. Interesting.
What are they? I don't even know what they
They're
are.
the things you do to mutate an item to make it whatever, like better or worse.
It almost
I
sounds
thought
like data.
mutaplasmids did that, not the
It almost sounds like data
inhibitor.
cores for mutaplasmids. Does that
I
make
don't know.
sense?
I'm making shit up. I don't know.
Something that you could
Reduces.
add to it to affect like the material
Oh, hold on.
efficiency, time
Get Goat
efficiency,
says it's a
something like
skill for making a single item used in capitals. Well, what is the single item? Do
that.
you
Wait,
know?
what?
This is not used in capitals.
I think
Well,
they
that's
guys
what Get
lying
Goat
to
just
us.
said. Maybe he knows.
The
You gotta
genetic
go down
mutation
the
inhibitor?
rabbit
No,
hole.
if you look at industry, it doesn't have it. It's not. Well, I'm a genetic safeguard filter
so-
blueprint. What's this?
Yeah, so you got to go down that one, and then that's required for an enhanced Neuralink protection
Oh,
cell blueprint
he's
or
right.
a Neuralink
Okay.
protection
God.
cell blueprint. So keep going
Okay.
further down the rabbit hole. Let's
Get
see
the
if we can
blueprints.
Follow the money.
Oh, I see.
So which one are you guys?
Follow
the
Dak
money.
Goat didn't
Oh,
know.
yeah,
He
here
knew.
we are.
Fucking Dak.
So you need
Okay.
enhanced Neuralink protection cells to make Eons, Avatars, Azariels, Erebus, Hells, Komodos, Leviathans,
What you
Molochs,
choose?
Nixes, all the fucking your super carriers and your Titans.
Okay.
Alliance.
But
That
not
about
Dread?
sums it up.
Toy.
Look at that. We figured it. Finished it.
And then for dreads too. I'm looking at it right here.
Do you? T2 dreads maybe.
Faction dreads for sure. I'm looking at the Revelation blueprint thing.
Okay. Faction makes sense.
We need.
Who is Heretical Coffee? Heretical Coffee is Heretical Coffee. Heretical Coffee, who are you?
I'm Heretical Coffee.
That's
He's
Okay.
he
He's
is
the dude that's been
instant.
right there.
There you go.
The answer is right there.
What
It
what
was,
what
it was
corporate
right in front
alliance
of
are
us
you
the
in?
whole time.
So
He is
I'm in.
instant coffee.
I'm in the Blood Raiders Children's Charity and the Wormhole Police.
Okay.
How do I
What are
kick
those
him?
guys about?
How do I kick him?
Isn't that more the
Chil-
homefront
wait,
police
wait.
now?
You said
Eleven?
Children's Blood Society?
No,
You-
the
you-
Blood
you-
Raiders
you
Children's
removed the
Charity.
blood from the children?
Oh, okay. I thought it was like Children Raiders Blood,
Blood
Society.
Raider
It's like,
Children's
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Society?
whoa.
What is that?
That
Blood
sounds
Raider
bad.
Children.
That sounds
Yeah.
really bad. All of a sudden.
I like
Okay.
Why don't you have a seat? Take a seat. They're on that stool.
They want a story.
We mostly role play cops in wormholes and blow people up. That's what we do.
Do you really?
That sounds
Yeah.
problematic.
We used to. Me,
Dude,
and, my buddies
you
used to do
didn't know that
We go,
about him and
"Wee,
Vinny?
wee, wee."
Yeah, me and Vinny. Yeah, and a few of us
Dude,
actually.
Vinny is fucking hilarious when he gets into this rage shit.
Here's the deal. Bud. Can I call you Bud? Okay.
Is it a deal?
Sure.
So here's the deal, Bud. You've
I'm not
killed
gonna
me
delete it
multiple
away.
times in Vanguard. It's not cool.
I have. Yeah, that's Vanguard PD, dude.
Yeah.
You killed Ackroth and myself
You
at
need,
the
you
same
need to
time.
take it down a notch. You need to
We
understand
role
where
play
you
as the
are.
police, dude. It doesn't matter where we are.
Don't be-
High
don't be
sec,
close.
low
License and
sec.
registration, meow.
I
We
think
had
Heretical-
such a fun time. When
I
we
know-
went back and
Under
forth
the
on that.
police.
I know Heretical
We
Coffee
made
has
Skyhawk's
killed.
friends so mad.
I think
Oh,
Heretical
it's bad.
Coffee has killed me at least half a dozen times in Vanguard, but I have killed you once.
I've
You
killed
have
you at
killed
least
me
once.
once.
I have
You guys
killed
have killed
you
me
once,
a few
and
times.
I will
Skill issue?
remember that
There
time.
was a what was it? There was a single time in which you guys got a couple of kills on us.
We got you. a
Yeah,
couple
we had a
times.
back
It
and
was,
forth.
it was
And,
Drayden,
you-
LB, and another
You were
person, not
dead,
me.
so you didn't see it, but we teabagged you so hard.
It was mostly trading it.
And like,
It was mostly trading LB.
under LB's
yeah.
direction, LB's like, "You teabag that motherfucker. You teabag him twice."
They
You don't
did.
stop
and we
teabagging,
did,
please.
and then we did
Right.
it 3 times to please the LB. So
Well, so
I didn't think they were like that, but they did say.
no,
that.
we're
I
we're petty.
100%.
We are petty like that. So
I
give
100%
opinions.
plan on streaming Vanguard nonstop when it's actually free.
absolutely, it's a very fun game, and I
Yeah,
will
so-
hope to kill you at least.
I
once.
love Eve, but I will be a Vanguard streamer once Vanguard fully releases.
So, Heretical
It's a
Coffee,
fun
I have a
game.
question for you.
Well, good luck
If
with that,
you're
bud.
going to be cops and robbers, are y'all ever going to be the Vermont Highway Patrol?
Vermont Highway
Vermont.
Patrol. The
Oh,
Meow.
God.
You know, listen
the-
here,
the
Meow.
Super
Like-
Troopers. Yeah.
All right, meow.
I was like, who
Yeah.
lives in Vermont though? Was that Vermont?
Literally, it's a
Almanac
Super
does.
Troopers gag, Drated.
He's
Well,
an
here,
honorary.
Was Super Troopers Vermont
Did
though?
you see it? I
Yes.
I
Yeah.
see it. Yeah.
Do
One
you see
second.
this
Let me-
man's back?
Oh no!
Where's
no.
my
I was thinking of Rhode Island, but that's me, myself, and Irene.
camera button?
That's a different
That's
movie.
right.
I have first.
So
I
my
have cat
lips get a
ears,
little chapped.
but I've got
Wait, someone
I've got a
left.
police hat.
Who left? Oh, someone added.
Oh, there.
I have the
oh,
ba- I have a
shit.
fucking
we
patch
added
for it
Cameron.
too.
We got
yeah.
hold on. I have to look at the.
Way
I
to
have a
be,
patch
Coffee.
for
Got
it
a,
too.
this police hat.
I appreciate your.
We got Heretical Coffee. Okay.
committed to the
names are
caution.
good. Okay, just gotta change one.
I don't have my ears blinking right now, but I can make them blink red and blue.
I would appreciate it if you did.
Let me find out. Let me find the streamer elements companion app.
I
I
don't
kind of
like it.
feel cheated if you don't give me exciting
Yeah,
ears.
yeah, no
you know what I
doubt.
mean?
Was
I'm
Red
working
Line
on it, I'm
back,
working
or
on it.
did he never leave?
I'm not currently streaming, so give me 1 second. I gotta like log
You're
into
absolutely
stuff.
streaming. I see you right now on the internet.
Well, I mean, I'm streaming on your guys' channel, I guess.
Jeez.
1 second. I gotta log into this thing.
I'm not going
Yeah,
to
but
be
it's a bunch of
gaslit anymore,
smart asses
Dominark. I
there.
made a decision. That was my resolution this year. I'm not going to let
Resolution
him
to be a
gaslight
smartass?
me anymore.
Oh, don't let him do it, man, because he will.
Okay, 1 second. I'm turning it on. I'm turning
Red
it
Line,
on.
you still
I'm
here?
not on the internet. Fucking
I am on the internet.
TV on the internet.
Here we go. Is my alert set up properly? Probably not. Yeah, it is. Okay, here we go. So if I push this button, did it do it? Did not do it.
See, he's trying to gaslight me again. You see how he's done it?
No, it's just not. It has a problem sometimes. Is it working? No. Turn this
At
off for a
some point,
second.
he's going to say it's working, but it's not. And you guys watch. It'll happen.
I've got these lights.
He's going to make me think I'm the only one who doesn't see it working.
No, it's not you.
I'm just fucking with you, man.
I have like
I
a whole
think
bunch of
it's- I
lights.
think it's
I was
probably.
like, I'm not going to commit to this much longer. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm not asking you to.
No, it was just fun for me. It probably wasn't for you.
He's not asking you. He's demanding it.
Yeah, no, it's not
I
working.
hope
don't know
you.
why
I
it's
hope
not
one
working.
day, Coffee, that you can make your ears do like a real great discoteca. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just lots of strobe. Maybe like a heartbeat pulse.
I don't know why it's
whatever.
not doing it now.
Get
It's
creative.
logged in properly, so.
Just express yourself. via
Discord
live
likes
feed.
to fuck with drivers sometimes.
Yeah, it's possible. It's also like I don't have OBS open and stuff too, so.
Well, exactly. Why would you? You're not streaming. You're not on the internet live
I'm not streaming. I'm not live.
for millions of people. I mean, only maybe.
Are you part of
24,
the internet? What?
But
37 people.
a few of them are us, so I'm gonna give it like.
Well, I'm on there like
12.
7 times, so.
Yeah, that's right. I'm here at least 4 times.
What's the internet?
Take
also
that,
not
Bezos.
sure why this is working.
LB, LB.
What?
Happily,
Huh?
shit's not working.
Dude, it's that banquet beer, dude. It puts you out. I saw it.
It's yeah.
It was like you
Coors.
were at the
I think Coors
banquet.
got like fucking Benadryl. in
You
it
were
or
at the
something.
banquet and like people were doing like long acceptance speeches or something, and it puts you
True.
out. I saw it.
I was pretty sleepy.
That's okay though.
And then we got to the end and I was like, okay.
We made it.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
And
made
you've
it.
completed it.
You
It's
were
my
the
time.
anchor we needed. You brought it home.
Well, kind of. We
Yeah.
didn't. We could have talked about the sovereignty structure and something else more because there's another thing for that.
Dude, there's so much. That's the real deal here. I'm gonna
The
just.
amount of information they put out this
I'm gonna
time is
fucking
amazing,
drink
isn't it?
Equinox is a real big expansion so far, and these
She's a
guys are
big
really
one.
trying to show us a bunch of shit. We
There's
don't
the
know
online
how.
director's note. I mean, fucking.
We don't know what to think about all of it, and we talked about it for like 3 hours, like 4 hours. Look at the timer again. We're at 2:30,
It's fantastic.
and we shut
is a
down
very
at like
large
2
update.
hours before.
We've made up for like 7 years of not talking about.
Oh,
it
that's
tonight.
generous.
I think we can talk about Vegas for like 2 shows straight now.
I think we
Like
can.
3
Yeah.
shows
Yeah.
at least.
Speaking of Vegas,
I really hope we
Both
don't.
new and old Vegas is. I mean, we can do them both. Yeah, we've earned it. We've earned
The
it.
obligatory when people complain about the prices this year.
We got FanFest next year. We'll see if.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see.
I know I'm trying to save up for FanFest.
Everybody's gonna be a fan.
I bought the ticket for FanFest. We'll see if I can go.
Yeah.
My thing is
Wait,
the
you're gonna
plane
go-
ticket more than the actual.
No,
ticket
get
of
'em-
the show.
Get them early. Here's the thing. My buddy,
I got my ticket early.
Hey, see
my
you
buddy who I went with, I'm talking flight too. My buddy who I went with, he spent, I want to say like $400 or $600 round trip on his flight. I spent
That's
like
cheap.
$1,200 on mine because I bought it way close to when it happened versus like 6-8 months or whatever before like he did. Like be smart about your purchases. You can make it a way cheaper trip is all I'm saying.
Mine, I think at this point depends on what happens with Tuesday at the doctor.
See if you're pregnant or not.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
no.
what does
So
that
I was
mean?
looking at my. I
Congratulations.
felt like a little. I was like, there's something I can't clear out my throat. So I looked at my throat last night when I was sitting at the
You have
hotel.
an alien living inside you?
So on my right tonsil, there's like a growth coming off of it.
Oh, that's normal.
No,
Most people have
and
that.
I was like, it's
Yeah.
not a swollen tonsil. There's like an actual like fleshy like it's like a growth like
Yeah, it's gross. Yeah, that's what
so
we're saying.
I was like, if it's just like a polyp, that's fine. They can remove that.
Like Jackson Polyp.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's
Support the arts.
It's a tissue. It's like a tissue thing. So it's not like a tonsil stone. I've had those
Drayden,
before.
the thing is,
tonsil
the thing is,
stones
in
are
that
like just
country-
calcium buildups on your tonsils. They just scrape those. The dentist scrapes those off, and then it's fine. But it's like a growth. It's like a skin tag coming on. It's not a swollen tonsil. It's this big like ball of tissue coming off my tonsil. So they think I told them about it, and the doctor's like, it sounds like it's probably a polyp. It's probably fine, but you should come in. We want to take a biopsy and make sure it's not a tumor, because tonsil cancer is a
not a
thing.
tumor.
It's not a tumor. So like tonsil cancer is a thing, and if you catch it early, which like I said, because I looked in the back of my throat because I was sick like 3 weeks ago and it wasn't there. So this is very, very new. So like if it is potentially tumorous, it shouldn't be a problem because it's early.
Drayden, you're pretty far up north, though, right?
If it
Yeah,
falls off,
they
don't
could
swallow
probably
it, try to
they
spit
should
it
be able
out.
to just cut it
So-
off and it should be fine. But the thing is like,
Do a little tonsil hockey and
yeah,
just take
but
care of it, man.
the thing is that, so my thing is like, hopefully it's nothing and it's just a skin, like a polyp is basically a skin tag in your throat, right? Which is fine.
Kind of sounds like tonsil
Or your
hockey, but
ass.
someone's just using a scalpel.
Don't
But-
let him gaslight you, Drayden.
But if it is tumorous, which they're like, hey, and I was looking online, like looking at image searches, like, okay, all the tonsil tumors,
Don't do that.
It doesn't look like that, but all the tonsil polyps, it looks like that. So I'm like, okay, it's probably fine, but still, if
Drayden, the people of
Just get a toothpick and poke it. See what happens.
that's right. It's exactly what all of us would have done.
well, I have an
Already.
appointment Tuesday morning to go.
That's all they're gonna do. They're just gonna
Tuesday
use a
morning,
cleaner
they're gonna
toothpick.
go in and they're gonna look at it and they're gonna take a biopsy and like make sure it's fine or not. So
A real man gives
hopefully it's
himself a
fine.
little-
Hopefully it's good. But if,
you're gonna be
if it
100%.
is like tumorous, I have to go to like chemo. Then I'm not going to FanFest next year.
No, don't lie to me.
But
So that Iceland
if
is
it's
very
just a skin
progressive and
tag and
nice,
it's fine,
you
then
can come
I'm
there
going,
with
so
polyps and shit.
Yeah,
They-
I tell you what,
they're
if
totally
it's
cool
on
about it.
your tonsil and it's cancerous, they will remove your tonsil because you don't need them.
Yeah.
right, and that I'm fine
It'll be
with that.
fine.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. It's
It'll be a
early enough
FanFest.
that like even if it is tumorous, like malignant tumor, it's probably not a big deal, and they can just get rid of it. Because like I said, like I looked in there because I was sick like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was looking like and I saw like a bunch of like speckled spots on the back of my throat and everything because I was sick. I was like, yep, got an infection back there, and it wasn't there. But now
You
I
don't want
looked.
speckled spots.
Well, I mean, it's a bacterial
sounds
infection in the
awful.
back of your throat, like
The
on your
star
tonsils
bellies
and your uvula.
sleeps
My
or
uvula, like I was saying, like last week, I had like a like weird line on my uvula. So like, and that's the thing.
Wow.
It could be like
It's a family show.
there's tonsil cysts. There's those too. It could be that. I
It's
don't know.
not a big deal to get a tonsillectomy. I mean, it's a week
Right.
of downtime.
I could
That's
probably
what-
do it.
That's
honestly.
that's
Here's
what
the
I'm
thing,
saying.
Drayden.
But here's the thing:
I got lasers.
my tonsils aren't swollen at all. Like even the one that it's on is not swollen. It's not sore. It doesn't hurt. So it's just a skin growth coming off of one of my tonsils, and it doesn't hurt. It's not sore. So that's why I'm thinking it's probably just a polyp. But I don't know.
You're gonna be fine, buddy.
But anyway,
We're gonna make
no,
it to
I-
Brady,
FanFest.
did you make FanFest
Look, last year- Last
no,
year
I've never been a FanFest.
Last year we successfully appealed to a I don't think they call him congressman over there, an MP,
Cool.
and we actually escalated to Trudeau to get LB, across the fucking ocean. That we're gonna have no problem getting you to FanFest. You're gonna go to FanFest. You're gonna have a whatever my throat tickles,
Right.
and
Well,
we're gonna
that's
drink
what I
about
said.
it
I was
and,
like-
and eat some falafel, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, like I'm saying,
Yeah.
like I'm pretty sure I'm good, and even if they have to remove this thing because it's like a whatever, I'm not worried. I'm not saying like, oh god, I'm gonna die. I'm just saying like, it depends.
I'm just saying
on
we're gonna take you to FanFest
whatever
either
this
way.
ends up being. If it's a cheap medical cost, it's fine. If it's some super expensive thing that I have to like max out my out of pocket thing with my insurance, might be rough to go to FanFest next year. Might not happen.
Nah.
But
So what you do is you knock out your deductible early on, getting some sort of bullshit, and then you get it with the rest, and they have to cover it all. Gotcha.
yeah.
That's
Well,
what
I'm
you do.
saying, like I said, I think it'll be fine. I think they're gonna look at it and be like, eh. Oh, hold on, I'm getting a phone call. I ordered food.
Holy fuck balls. Jump portal generation from level 4 to 5 takes 73 days.
Welcome to Capital
Wow.
Skills.
Just believe
God
in yourself,
damn
buddy.
it.
Put some
I never
implants.
needed it. God damn it.
Sounds awful.
I want to do the fucking.
Kakarot.
I want to do the micro
My
jump
name's Zach.
drives for the Capitals. I want to do them. Who left?
When you flew to Iceland, you just flew out
I'm
of
trying to
Raleigh,
fix
right?
my camera.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I did not. I'm at a Charlotte, and 2, I flew up to Minneapolis, St. Paul to join up with my court mate who
Doesn't
had
wanna work
never
now.
flown before. So we flew
Yeah.
out of there together to, I don't know, to be a buddy because he had never flown before and he was kind of sketched. So I did a dog leg to join up with a buddy, and then we flew out of MSP to Iceland.
Yeah, I got to figure out what
I
I'm
went
gonna have
Charlotte
to
to
do.
MSP.
Yeah.
What are you going to do as far as?
As far as flying, I'll probably just have to go through Dulles.
I mean, just jump in an airport and go. What are you talking about?
Because Icelandair is not convenient.
From, what are you, Tennessee?
Yeah.
So you do a dog leg. You go to somewhere else and then you jump on it or whatever you want to do. I've never flown Icelandair. I think we flew, who the fuck did we fly last year?
If you flew through MSP, it was Delta.
Okay, probably then. Yeah, I'll go with. It was fine. I slept. I'm a fucking airline sleeper, so I don't care about flights.
I don't know that I've ever made it through a takeoff before I fall asleep. Man, fucking
Dude.
airplanes put me out.
Yeah, you put a little bit of fucking powerful engines
Yeah.
going near me, and I'm just.
Yeah, my issue is
I stayed up
anytime
late
fly
last
to,
night
like,
packing
Europe-
and forgetting things. Like I'm way low energy by the time I make it through the airport experience.
I
Knock
get
me
pissed
out
because I end up
right
not
on
getting
an
a
edge.
meal because I'll be asleep. That fucking pisses me off.
I've never. So that was the only flight I could think of that was long enough to need one. Long enough. It was what 6-8 hours. I don't know. You probably know better than me, Vlad. But so I saw some
6.5
people
hours.
get meals, but I'm a fucking poor, so I didn't coordinate anything like that. And I was just like, oh, that seems cool. They didn't look all that impressive, but whatever.
Last time
It
I
was
flew
Delta, it sounds
international,
like.
they still gave free meals. It was wild.
Yeah, it depends on the length of the flight and what the carrier is. I would think even in Econo Box, you would get a meal going to Iceland. Unless you're on Icelandair.
It was a pretty nice flight, if I recall. It could have still been Delta. I don't know, but
It would have been Delta.
But the food was only certain people, so I have to assume there was something to that.
Oh wait,
okay.
Was it only buy on board for economy?
Oh man, I don't know.
That would have been Icelandair because I think Delta gives free food to Reykjavik even in economy.
No, then I guess this might have been because it was definitely like speckled. I noticed a few people get delivered like a warm little. It looked like a frozen dinner essentially. It was like a portioned device. I don't know, plastic container or something with different pieces in it. Nothing impressive, like I said.
Yeah, the
It
food
just
on
smelled good because I didn't have any.
Yeah, the food on Icelandair, the last time I took it was pretty good. It was like Arctic. It was fish both ways.
I mean, I was eating Iceland beef jerky on the way back. So not beef jerky. No, not at all beef jerky. Horse and probably whale jerky or something. I don't know what the fuck it was.
Well, the grill market's the place to go to get horse.
I'm just saying, I was eating jerky out of the airport on the way back, so I didn't get a meal, but I was doing fine in Iceland food.
Seem I just looked at your 100% true canonical list of directors. That is fucking funny. If you're still here, god damn, that's good. Sorry,
So anyway,
derail
everybody's
from-
gonna make it next year because we got plenty of time. We're gonna plan it out and we're gonna crowdsource it and fundraise it if we need to. I've done
Yeah.
a lot of topless car washes in my day. You know, it's
I get
it's
only
easy.
get paid to stop.
No.
Who do you make
What, who
money?
you
That's
need
exactly
to do a
right.
topless car
Thank you, Bob.
wash is the Edmonton Oilers fan.
I mean, I'm not gonna touch that at this
I
point,
don't
but
get it. Why is that?
I think-
I'll send you the pay. I'll send you the gift.
Oh,
Mark.
you were talking about that earlier. Yeah, I
I
forgot.
think we're
Yes.
a nice little community and we're gonna make sure it works out. And I personally will not
Who's
let
nice?
Drayden's throat fall off. I vow that now.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I said. We're gonna save you from cancer, Drayden.
If
That's
your
what we were
throat
talking
falls
about
off,
when we
that
got
I
off.
sucks.
don't-
Don't let that
I
happen.
don't think it's cancer because
They
like
probably
I said,
won't cut
Well,
your
it's
throat
too
off
late
either,
because
yeah.
we already said we were gonna save you.
I looked at all the different like tumor ones and they looked horrible. This is just like a little. It just
I have
looks-
really good
just
That
anti-cancer
sounds like
hugs.
it's gonna
just
make
looks
our
like
job
literally, like,
easier.
the tonsils are fine. Just there's this little like skin like bulb coming off of one of the tonsils, and I looked at, like I said, I looked at all like
What
a
have
bunch
you
of
been
tonsil.
doing,
It's
Drayden?
tonsil
That sounds
herpes.
weird.
No, I said I looked at a
That's
bunch of
what-
like tonsil tumors, and they looked awful.
thing?
And I looked at some tonsil polyps, which are just skin growths, and it looked a lot like the polyps. So I'm like,
That's an
it's
artistic
probably fine. I'm not
Still had a
worried
huge
about it.
pancreatic tumor
But like I
yesterday.
said, I'm going in Tuesday. They'll check it out, and if it for some reason ends up being a tumor, it's super because I
not a
looked.
tumor.
It was not there like 3 weeks ago, so it's super early. And with most, I looked at like most tonsil tumors, like if it's that early, they just cut it out and it's good. Like
Bam.
it's done. Don't
Done.
even
Bam,
need, don't
done.
need chemo. Don't need anything. It's just like we're
Got
gonna cut this off, and you should be fine. So,
That's right.
and also, like I said, like, if it comes down to it, they can also just remove my tonsils if need be. But it's not early enough that it's
You don't
gonna-
actually need most of the things. In your
It's
body.
not going
I've read
to
that.
be prevalent enough yet, even if it is malignant, to like have spread to other shit. So they can just remove
So we're
it
gonna see
and
it
call it
then.
good. So should, but the thing is, it
absolutely.
depends on what the cost of removing that is. Like if that ends up being like some
You just
you
said
know,
they were going to cut it out, like right away. It
max
was
out
like,
of, but
what's
if
that,
it ends up being
$13?
like max out of pocket cost for me, where it's like going to cost me like $3,000 or $4,000.
Just drive into Washington.
That's my FanFest money.
Fucking
Go.
hippies
Don't you
gone
have
for cheap.
insurance?
I do, but
Just don't
max
pay
out.
your,
That,
just don't pay your bill.
but that's
Fuck
the
it.
thing. It's gonna
That's right.
probably if
Medical
it's maxed
debt
out of
doesn't mean
pocket,
anything.
it's gonna be like some $20,000 to $30,000 operation,
never
which I
paid
can
out of
see it
pocket.
being a thing. But like
You say, let me do
It's
a payment
not going to
plan.
happen.
Just drive
but
up to
my-
Canada and do it.
my
They got
max
great
out of
fucking
pocket
shit
is
up
like
there.
That's right. LB will do it for you.
I think my max out of pocket is like $3,000 or $4,000. So it's like if it's some super
real
like
good with the
high
bayonet.
cost operation, now my insurance will cover like 80% of that, 90% of it, but I'm still gonna have to pay like $3,000 or $4,000. Well, that's my FanFest money right there.
Well, I'm
So-
gonna tell you right now, any surgery, whether serious or not, is gonna be a lot of money.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's why you don't pay it,
any,
Dom,
any
right?
kind of
Yeah,
surgery
exactly.
is
Yeah, you're welcome.
expensive. So, well, with the exception because
Trey,
I
they
getting
had,
fake
can't
pain.
they can't put it back in you. That's the
I
truth.
had a,
It's
s-
exactly
you
right. They
let
can't
them-
put it back in you. Yeah.
Let them do it. and
it,
you do not
it
pay that
depends
bill.
on the surgery because I had a cyst removed on my back as surgery.
And they put it back.
Yeah, but why would you want?
No,
the
it was
cyst
it was
put
on
back?
my back. It was I had a sebaceous.
So you're laying
cyst.
on your back and they give you surgery.
No, I had a sebaceous cyst on my back that they removed, and it was like $500, and it cost me like $150. So that's pretty cheap.
Do they have
yeah.
to put you out, or are they just local?
No, it was local anesthesia
Yeah.
because
You go
that's what
out,
I'm saying,
it's a
like
lot more.
small basic anesthesia like that. But like the things like if they're having to like cut a chunk of my throat out, that's gonna probably be a lot more expensive. And so
Payment plan, buddy.
that's what I'm saying. Like
You say payment
Um,
plan, and they ask how much can you afford, and you say no.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like I have insurance. My insurance isn't bad
say, I'm
either.
gonna-
but
I'm
like
gonna send you about 15 bucks a
max
month,
out of,
and we're gonna
max
get
out of
this-
pocket is like $3,000 or $4,000. So it's
You know what? Give me a screwdriver, needle nose pliers,
That's
and a
right.
bottle of whiskey. I'll take it out myself.
But the
I can take
insurance
care of you.
the insurance covers quite a bit before you hit the max out of pocket too. So like my insurance is not bad, but the thing is like if it is a super expensive operation, it's still going to cost me $3,000 or $4,000.
We're gonna see
I
it's
just
bad
watched a
out of
YouTube video real quick. We'll be fucking set.
Yeah,
I've seen him do this before. I think he's good at it.
I think I just like take a fire poker and just like stick it on it, right?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. We're
yeah.
gonna carterize.
yeah,
I'll
was-
bring the
that was
laser.
his
We'll be
second
fine. I can
step.
cauterize it.
yeah. Like Dom does lasers.
Or just like
I mean, like, it's
idle
like
your
I mean, like
truck
he,
for.
I've got a
10,
CO2
15
laser
minutes.
that we do ENT
I
stuff.
Dom-
trust him
There you
with my life.
Dom
Just,
does.
put your thing on the.
yeah,
on the
Dom,
muffler
Dom
there.
does
You're good.
lasers in your urethras. My
No,
throat is a lot
we all-
bigger than.
No, I
Ow,
also
Zach,
do
ow,
ENT
ow.
lasers.
Yeah, my throat's a lot bigger than a urethra, so he's the
I've
accuracy
got
is
a-
like
I do CO2 lasers for
the
ENT.
accuracy is like even more acceptable, right?
No,
Like,
you don't.
This discussion.
How
just took an
hard? It's
interesting
not gonna be
turn.
that bad. I mean,
A lot wider tolerances.
yeah, it's like dude, like Dom. It's like if
guys,
if
there's a
we're-
lot more room for me to mess up. in
he's
your
like, oh,
throat.
this laser's in the size of a golf ball. I got this.
I think we're good. I think we're
Dom's
okay.
free-handed
Yeah.
it and shit. getting
I'll just fly to
creative.
Iowa. I'm just gonna fly to Iowa and have Dom feed me like
That's-
psychedelic
He's
mushrooms.
gonna put a penis laser
And that-
That's all you
in your
need. Then I'll
mouth.
take it out. You won't even know it. Yeah.
He's just gonna feed me psychedelic mushrooms, and he's gonna cure my throat cancer.
That's why I'm still alive, right?
He gets it out and he's like, dude, it was
Yeah,
like a.
that's
it was
how we're
fucking
gonna do this.
irritation.
I
Did
think we
you
should
eat
do
a
that.
pepper
Makes
recently?
sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was just pepper. It was
Yeah.
from that time you were eating those fucking hot fucking
Well, we're
chicken
eating some
legs
spicy
or whatever
food.
they were.
Wait,
Yeah.
if the laser beam's supposed to attach to the head, does it specify which head?
It does not.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we just lost someone.
No, I'm trying to fix
no,
my
it did.
stupid camera.
Ah,
I have to like reload Discord or something. It's just not working. So you
That
might want to
happens.
So
pull me off
after
the thing.
we
I'll
all-
just remove myself.
2 weeks.
I
from
think
now,
it'll be
we all-
fine. I'm not worried about it. Like I don't think it's gonna be cancer.
I don't think it is either. We've got.
I
We're
think-
confident
like I
that
said,
you are going to be
it's,
okay.
I think it's gonna be a polyp or something like that, because that's what it looks like.
Now you lost.
Traded.
I think that's
Don't
a town
worry.
in
Be
Washington.
happy.
And
What's
they're
half
gonna
price?
probably either be like,
$2.99?
it'll go away on its own, or we should remove this, and it should be a pretty I mean,
And you get a dick laser in the third.
It's
Yeah,
not
that-
like it's not a very invasive surgery, even if they have to do that, because it's like I just have to like they'll have to like put me out,
Open
but like
wide.
open your
just
mouth.
trade that,
It's
trade
right
the extra
there.
kidney you've got for your surgery. There you go.
Exactly.
I have an
You got
extra
that extra-
kidney.
Yeah, from
Yeah, of
Pearl.
course.
Oh, I have 3 kidneys. That's right. I
One
forgot.
in
I
a
forgot
bucket
about his.
somewhere,
I
right?
forgot about his
Fine.
kidney. I implanted in myself. Yes.
You're like a fucking like what is that?
yes. Yes.
Space Marine. Yeah.
Kid. Oh no.
No,
Pearl-
chaos
Pearl-
space
Pearl is
marine, because
struggling,
we are
but yes,
pro
I-
chaos here.
Pearl is struggling, but I have his kidney.
He is struggling.
That's
The
why I can
Uvidic-
drink.
He's doing better.
You know, half a fifth of gin tonight.
That's right.
I just don't let it. I just don't
the
let it
proof is
affect
in the
me.
pudding.
Also, we're going to the Harpa next year. There's a Marriott next to the Harpa. Have you all seen the prices for that Marriott yet?
No, because I'm not staying.
Pretty cheap, right?
$500 per night.
That was just for you.
I
They offered
actually
me
don't-
rooms for $63.
I don't make that kind of money, so I'm gonna probably do an Airbnb again. And
Yeah, I'm
have
doing
a
the
great time.
Airbnb. Like Delana was talking about an Airbnb that was like 6 of us could do it for like $100 a night.
We're
I
gonna
heard
do
they treat
streamer
their homeless
house.
people pretty fucking
That
good.
sounds
I'm
pretty good.
sleeping,
But there was
Gonna
8
buy
of it.
booze on the way out of the airport so we can always
Yeah,
pregame.
there was
in our
8
Airbnb.
beds too. No, they were singles beds. Like I said, I would pay for 2 beds to
Yeah,
put 1 bed
Right.
end to end, 2 beds end to end.
Drayden
so I
already
can
bought
actually
4
fit-
beds.
I can actually fit on them. Or what I'll do is I'll just take the mattresses off 2 of the beds and put them on the floor end to end
Like a
and just
pouch.
sleep on that. Because
I just need a little corner in the
I can sleep
closet.
on
I
a-
can curl up and
I
fucking
can sleep on a
anywhere.
rug. I'm a pretty small.
I am too.
you know,
I'm not
form
small,
factor.
but I can sleep anywhere.
yeah,
I
like
think
100
right now I've
$100 a night
looked at
sounds
like 2
pretty good.
things I like.
We're gonna make this affordable, and we're all gonna get there.
I'm thinking the Radisson Blue so far, or maybe if I could scrape the points, just say fuck it and do the Marriott.
Vlad, make your best choices, buddy. Talk to Skyhawk before you go though. See if you can get.
Oh yeah, the Hilton, the Hilton Parliament is reasonably close. That
Try
looks
to
pretty
work those
decent.
deals before he doesn't work there anymore, or whatever.
He was saying he might.
Hey,
be able to maintain some
I
of those
take
deals, so-
I take full advantage of that deal anytime I go to DC because there's a Hilton that's very convenient for going in the city, and it's at an extremely good price. So thank you again for hooking me up with the bro rates.
I mean, he's asleep, but I'll tell him to sit.
I'm not telling him shit.
Dom's not going to tell him that.
You know why?
Actually, I need to
I
check
won't
Iceland
remember.
Air prices too.
Yeah.
So we covered all our bullet points.
I was thinking
did.
maybe like taking a boat up there or something, like a rowboat. We use that.
I mean, if you want to go, I'll boat with you.
Yeah.
You
to,
can
like,
take
a
a-
pirate,
you
like,
actually
the, like the
take a-
Vikings did, right?
I got
You
some
can do
time off.
Skyhawk has a
You can
sailboat.
you can take a ferry from the UK. It's like
Sky-
a couple days to Iceland.
But I have to fly there first. I might as well just go.
Skyhawk
fly
has a
just
sailboat.
sail.
Take Skyhawk's
Rowboat?
sailboat all the way through the Great Lakes, all the way down the St. Lawrence, out to the ocean, and then over to Iceland.
Here's the thing: if
Rowboat?
we sail and we come across anything exciting, we can pirate it.
Like a
Just
shark?
saying. I'm
Oh.
just saying. Who's to say? I didn't see anything.
international
Yeah,
waters. Put a
possession
pirate
is
flag up. They can.
possession is
they can
100% of the law.
That's all the law. That's
hang.
all.
100% of the law.
100%?
I
Yeah.
have it, and you
Then
don't
possession,
anymore.
as
Finders
far as-
keepers.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
I have
Yeah,
it, it's mine.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But then
Ownership's
it depends
100%.
on the who
What are you
has
gonna
possession
maritime
of the
law
bigger
me out
gun.
here, bro?
Come-
Maritime salvage law. You say you found it sank already, and then
Come and get me.
So basically, Dominar wants to live out his Somali pirate fantasy.
No, Viking
no.
pirates. Not Somali
Yeah,
pirates. They're
No,
gross.
we
I don't
don't
wanna
need
do
to be small.
Yes, but Vikings had like swords, and Somali pirates have
We're gonna
RPGs
bring
and
those.
AKs.
that. I'd rather have a sword. Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Have you ever stormed a ship with a sword, Vlad? People are very confused. You get pretty far in the progress.
Unless
They,
it's
they don't know how
Yeah,
to.
but-
They don't know how to progress it. They're
But
like,
when you have
What,
an
what the
AK,
hell
you
is this guy
can.
doing?
But see, here's the thing: when you have an AK, you can go, "Look at me,
Yeah,
I am
but
the captain
Vikings
now."
were long
I
time
could
ago.
say
Like,
that.
modern Vikings would.
And if
probably
you
use
fire it
guns,
off
too.
at all and you shoot a
And
hole
I don't
in
mean
the
the
fucking
Minnesota
hull,
Vikings because they're a bunch
you
of
sink.
weeds too. So I don't want them.
people
How-
think guns
how-
are a solution, not in a boat. They're not good.
depends
shoot
on the
guns
boat,
off
I
in a boat.
guess. I mean, how much
We're talking about
damage do you
sailing
think?
across the ocean.
Yeah, but how much
Let's
damage
see.
do you think of like a 7.62 round is going to do to a boat?
Not a magical
I mean,
boat.
he's talking
What if
about
I got a
anchor,
magical boat?
probably not a
If
lot
you-
because those things are steel.
But
If
you're
you
talking
put
about
enough
Skyhawk
of them-
sailboat. We were taking Skyhawk's sailboat across.
But I thought you were gonna like
Pirate-
pirate.
not
Dominic
firing
was
off-
talking about piracy.
Yeah,
if you put
pirate-
You can
enough
pirate from that
7.62
sailboat. You
size
just can't
holes
fire
in
off
a little boat,
7.62 in it.
eventually
Kaylee-
it's
I
going
can't
to
pronounce her
sink.
name.
Yeah, piracy from Skyhawk Sailboat. It's just opportunistic piracy. You pretend to be a distressed
sneak
ship.
on the
They'll be like,
ship.
"Oh, what do you
Confident.
need?" And then you're like, "Everything you got on board," and you toss.
It's a kind of a pirate.
I
You
found
guys are thinking about
Dominar's
tankers in
pirate ship.
Somalia, and this was never about tankers or Somalia.
No,
This
not
is
at all.
just good old fashioned
Dragon
grassroots
boat.
piracy.
We get some people to row that fucker, and we're gonna just take it
We're
out.
small
Dom, look at the
scale.
memes channel. There's
It's
your
a
pirate
family
boat.
industry.
Memes channel.
The memes channel.
Is it memes channel?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I found his pirate boat.
Yeah, it's just a pirate raid. You just like give me all your gold
No,
bullion,
no, that's not. What I'm, no.
all your
No.
electronic equipment. Give me all your friends' DVDs, season 1 through X.
That's right.
Any
Who has DVDs nowadays?
Blu-rays.
On a
I
boat,
still
you
do.
absolutely have DVDs.
Hundreds of
It's
them.
Starlink, dude.
Dude.
Starlink.
If,
If you
you've
have
got a lot of
kids-
money, bro, not everybody's
if
on a
you have
yacht. I'm
kids-
talking about a boat.
Yeah, you have DVDs.
You absolutely have DVDs on a boat. If you've got a yacht, you're not
Well,
in this conversation.
if you're
That's a whole different
stealing a
subject.
yacht, I mean, you're
I don't know,
piracy,
dude, I
right?
mean,
Like,
We didn't say we were
If you're on a
stealing
boat
yachts. We were
and
just
you have a
pirating
TV,
from a boat.
Be smart and just put it on like an external drive or something.
We don't get to choose what we come across. We're
Bring your
pirates.
Plex
If
server
it's
with
in
you,
the
dude, come
ocean
on.
near us, we're gonna make a stab at it.
just bring a Plex server with you. You're fine.
But while we're not doing that, we might
My
watch
server
DVDs
weighs a lot of money. I'm
'cause,
not bringing that with me.
it's you got a DVD player and like a little all-in-one TV.
Hell, I still even have Blu-rays somewhere. I don't know Blu-ray player, but I got Blu-ray.
Sweet.
This is a very modest sailboat. I feel like you guys are thinking it's like something real impressive. It's really
I'm
not.
just making up words.
I'd say
I
Word-
mean, none of
words
this
are
is
hard.
real, but it's,
Right.
it's okay
This
to
is
treat it.
dumb.
I'm
Oh, not true.
Fred, I'm ready
Don't
to
do it, Drayden.
crash. I'm
Don't do it.
dude. I've been on the road
Act
for
like you've
like
been on the road all day. Come
15
on.
hours over 2 days.
What does that even mean?
It means
Why
I
would you
drove-
do that?
I drove 7 hours a day and
Did you get paid super extra to do it?
No, I worked.
Why not?
Aren't you the
I
boss?
worked
Why don't you send somebody else
50.
to
I
do it?
worked 55 hours this week and got paid for 40.
Where do you
Why?
learn he doesn't delegate, right?
Why,
No, he
Drake?
doesn't.
Because I'm on salary and there's sometimes I work.
Your
30
scheduling people suck. Your
No, because there's
brothers,
times I work 35 hours and get paid for 40.
or is it you?
There you go,
make the
Vlad.
schedule.
That was last week, and I'm gonna make because I do my own scheduling. So next week I'm gonna make sure I work a short week and get paid. For
I know
40.
how salary works, but like, don't fuck yourself, buddy.
No.
You're already
listen,
about to sell out your
No,
stake. to the
I
company.
do
Don't,
my
like,
own
cheat yourself
schedule.
too
That's it.
hard.
I do my own scheduling. So I worked a short week last week, knowing I was gonna have a long week this week, and then I had a long week this week. I'm gonna have a short week next week.
I just
So
want good
I
things.
make sure that it balances out over time. But like I had a long week this week, so I'm tired.
Drake, you know what
um,
happens when you're too stressed?
Do you,
You
do you
get-
polyps on your fucking
You
tonsils?
get fucking polyps. Yeah,
I get,
exactly.
I get
That's the
polyps.
I don't
known-
even know how that works.
Oh
correlation.
man, that's what did it.
So take
Also,
care
when
of
you
yourself,
when you
buddy.
leave open comms early, yep. Oh.
Yeah, no,
I've heard that too.
But no, I've had a long date. I'm ready to go to bed.
LB outlasted you, and he's already fallen asleep
But
twice.
no, next
Yeah.
week.
Well, I had a nap in the middle.
Next week
so-
I have a short
Tagged back in.
I mean, also I'm excited because the Lord of the Rings extended editions 4K marathons in theaters starts tomorrow night for me.
Yes.
So
You going?
yes, I already pre-purchased tickets to all 3 movies like a month ago.
They're literally
Mr.
doing them in a
Moneyback.
row one night.
Yes. they're
No,
doing
no, it's every other night.
Whoa.
No,
It's
it,
one
no,
after
no,
the
it's
other.
no, it's every night. And so Fellowship of the Ring is tomorrow night. Two Towers is Sunday, and then
Okay, so it's night after night.
Return of the King is Monday. So it's
Okay.
every night.
I was gonna say 'cause they're like
Fun.
4
This
hours.
is the one with
You
the
couldn't
extra
do
like
it all
11
in one
minutes
go.
or something.
No, this is the one with the extra hour and a half.
Oh, isn't there even more on these?
No, it's about four and a
like
half
4
hours
hours
per
per movie,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought they extended it even farther. Like each one's like 17
No,
hours. or
no,
something.
no. It's about 4. It's 4 hours for the first
Think there's
movie,
more.
slightly over 4 for the second movie, and I think 4.5 for the
You're
third.
gonna finally put in the Tom Bombadil stuff. I'm telling you, it's happening.
No, that's all gone. That's gonna be for apparently
It's an Easter egg. Hold your
Rings of Power season 2.
Oh, they're
breath.
no.
Don't act
aw.
like you know. You haven't been.
No, they're bringing Tom Bombadil
Tomorrow.
into Rings of
Next
Power season 2. He's in there.
Are they
I-
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
they are.
I'm happy about that.
But
Why are you sound disappointed that that's happening?
because Tom Bombadil didn't have anything to do with that whole story. They're just bringing him in
He's
because
from that's not
they're
necessarily
bringing
true.
him
Whoa,
in
whoa,
because,
whoa, whoa.
Kind of
because
from
people
that
are like, I
era.
love
Are
Tom
you-
Bombadil. I want Tom Bombadil. And it's
Are
like,
you
but
really
'Cause he's
trying
an
to throw
immortal
Tom
too, yeah.
Bombadil out
no,
of the whole? No. Oh,
no. My
okay,
thing is like
okay.
Tom Bombadil had one thing that he was in. He was in the Fellowship of the Ring book, and when they went into the Old Forest, they didn't put that in those movies because they didn't have. They had to cut stuff out, and it didn't really make sense. Tom Bombadil was like this one. They had to cut stuff for time, which made sense. And Tom Bombadil's whole thing really wasn't critical to the story, so they had to cut that out. Just
Are you
like they
saying
had,
my love of Tom Bombadil
just
isn't
like they had to
real?
cut out the
Isn't
Battle of the
justified?
Shire at the end of the Return of the King, because when they go back to the Shire, they're like, oh, everything's all good. It was not all good. Saruman had taken over the Shire with Wormtongue and all the Shire was a haphazard.
So what you're saying is they added
and
stuff
they had
and
to
took
like
away stuff.
and
They shouldn't have done either.
Pippin and Merry, because Frodo was a little bitch, was like, oh, let's not get violent. And
He
Pippin and Merry
lost
like,
his
no.
finger. Give the guy a break.
Pippin and Merry like, this is our whole, we're gonna defend it. And so Pippin and Merry roused an army and they had a battle against the people that Saruman had hired, and they like a bunch of people died. It was like a dozen people on Saruman's side, and like there was like half a dozen hobbits that died in the
A bunch
battle.
of ball watching back.
It wasn't some massive, huge army thing, but it was a battle of the Shire. And then Saruman got killed by Wormtongue, and then Wormtongue got killed by the hobbits. And so it was a big thing, but they cut that out because like we just don't have time for this in the movie.
Made you sad, didn't it?
No, I mean like I understood it. I got it. It's like okay, they had to cut stuff out because the movies were already long enough,
Where'd Ackroft go?
and I think he
I think
went
he
to bed.
left.
He didn't say goodbye.
Yeah,
He didn't?
but the thing is, like, so they
Okay,
had to
I
cut
can
things
do this.
out that just didn't really contribute to the overarching story because they needed to
That
make
helps.
time. So that's why they cut
That
Tom
helps,
Bombadil
perfect.
out. But the thing is,
You know
I
that. You know I'm just yanking
I
your
don't
chain,
dislike
right?
Tom Bombadil, but my thing is like Tom
Oh, yeah.
Bombadil didn't have anything to do with the Second Age or the making of or the Rings of Power or anything like that. And so it's like, why are you those producers are literally just throwing him in there because a lot of people are like, I love Tom Bombadil. And so like, oh, well, he technically was around at that time. Yes, he was, but there's nothing about him at the time. So like, we're going to throw Tom Bombadil in there. As it's basically just fan simping.
Fan service.
It's fan service. It's basically like, people love Tom Bombadil. Let's just throw
Yeah.
him in here. And people are like, oh, Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
Because everyone always like was talking
Welcome to
about, like,
capitalism, Drayden.
Yeah,
This is
like,
capitalism.
why wasn't Tom Bombadil in the first
that, bro?
movie?
Because this many years later, they can make all sorts of money all over
Yeah,
again
yeah.
on the same shit
So,
just by putting one other scene
That's my
in
thing. It's like,
for
I,
5 fucking minutes.
I don't want Tom Bombadil to be thrown in as a cash grab. And also my thing
I'm
is
gonna throw
like,
more money
also
right
like
now.
when you, now I can't judge on it, but the thing is like I did
All right,
not
Tom
like
Bombadil is not a stripper.
I did not like
You
the
don't know
Rings of
that till
Power,
you throw
and I
money
know
at
the Rings of Power
maybe,
won a
maybe.
bunch of
Money
like
is-
the Rings of Power won, but I don't know if it was
Money's a
Grammys or
universal
Oscars
motivator.
or Emmy Awards, whatever it was. They won handfuls of those. They were nominated for several. They won a couple, I think.
I was bitching at you, Ackroft. As he fucking left out saying goodbye.
I know it's just my internet.
According to
I-
the wiki, Tom Bombadil was around before even the fucking
Real quick,
Arnor.
Tom
Is it
Bombadil
not-
was the first. Tom Bombadil was around
So
before
why you saying
the
he wasn't
Valor
part of
came
the?
in.
Yeah. what
He
do you
was
mean?
the first in, and he's gonna be the last out. That's the prophecy.
So why can't he be part of this new
He
series?
sounds like a hero.
Because he had nothing to do with it.
But he was there.
You don't know that.
Kind
But
of
here's
sounds
the
like a
here's the
god.
Tom. And here's the also the picture they show. It's a still frame, so you can't judge that much on it. But here's the, it's a still
I
frame,
can, I'm
and his boots aren't fucking yellow, so it's not Tom Bombadil.
New boots, dude.
But he's
New
it's
boots,
like, oh, his jacket is blue and his boots are
It's pretty easy
yellow.
payment.
Like that's the whole song of Tom Bombadil.
I see
He's
the picture right here. He's got yellow
Also,
boots and
one,
blue
he's
jacket.
two, he's a very careless, aloof, just free spirit. He doesn't really give a shit about.
Hairless.
He doesn't give a shit about the tribulations of the world. He's just
He's
out
like
there.
the Willie Nelson.
He likes
Yeah,
bees though.
He's just out there, just like he's just trumpsing around, loving the forest, loving nature, loving Goldberry. Now this apparently is before he met Goldberry.
Why do you got to hate on my bum?
But he's He doesn't give a shit about like the worries of the world or
Who the
Sauron or
fuck
anything like
is
that.
Tom
Tom
ask him?
Bombadil?
He doesn't care
Right.
about any of that.
He's back.
And so the thing is, like, they're making, and they show him in this picture where like, he's very somber
What
and
are
like
you
having a
talking
serious
about?
conversation with someone. It's like,
Lord of the Rings.
I Ronald
like,
Reagan
it's
up.
like this dude doesn't
talking
care
about
about
Soup
shit.
Sound and
He
He literally
Why-
took
Not
the
glad-
ring
why
of
would- why
power
would
from
you do that to
Frodo,
him?
put it on. He didn't turn invisible. He's
He
like,
was gonna
"Oh."
leave. I had to get him to
And
do
he
He's an
that.
easy
flipped it
target,
away. Like
yeah.
it's like he didn't give a shit. Like Tom Bombadil doesn't have any place in
New boot
that
scoot,
story
right? Oh,
whatsoever.
boot
Like
scoot.
the fact they put him in there is just kind of like he doesn't belong there. I love
That was
Tom
you, you're
Bombadil,
the
but he doesn't belong there.
Drayden, I feel like
Where
you're
does he belong? He
gatekeeping.
doesn't belong at all, does he? He's just a fucking jerk.
Tom-
bud.
What,
Tom
what
Bombadil-
authority
Fuck
do
him.
you
You
have?
know what? Fuck him.
sir?
I agree now, Drayden.
I-
Tom Bombadil can
I
kiss my
also-
ass.
I
We
just-
should just go.
I really
go
don't
fuck
like the
yourself,
Rings of
right?
Power show because like
Because it's not followed any of the stories very well at all.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't follow the story at all.
So the
it's like
thing about
10%,
Amazon
it's like
and throwing
10% accurate.
$1 at
And here's the
things
thing.
just 'cause you can't.
We argued about this, and you said
Yeah.
the opposite before
No,
it
no,
came out.
here's
Remember
the
how you
thing.
were so excited about it?
That was season 1, dude. This
I-
is season 2
yeah,
now.
before it came out, I was excited
know.
because I'm like, oh, I was
We
like,
were
oh,
both
the
so
Rings of
disappointed.
Power. It was like the second age, the makings of the Rings of Power, and then I saw the show, and I was like,
And they did a disservice to the story.
so they won all the information, the vast majority of the information on the Rings of the Second Age and the Numenoria, or Numenor and the Numenorians, and the making of the Rings of Power and all that shit is all in the Silmarillion. But they did not get the rights to use info from the Silmarillion, so they couldn't use that. So they had to go on stuff they already
How do
existed.
they have? Wait.
They had to go on what they already had, which was the Lord of the Rings, which in the appendices of the Lord of the Rings, the end
Like
of
little-
the third
yeah.
book, there's an appendices which gives some like very like bullet point notes on a bunch of things in history, and that's what they built the show on, which actually contradicts a lot with what Tolkien actually wrote for the Silmarillion. But also, they didn't even follow the bullet points of the fucking appendices of the Lord of the Rings very well. They like took that as a base guideline to go on, and then built their own shit on top of it. And
But
it's
did
like,
they also use some of Tolkien's kids' book?
no.
One of his kids' books,
Well,
right? Didn't they-
Christopher Tolkien published
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that.
I thought they
that-
used some of Christopher Tolkien stuff, which,
Well,
like you said,
Christopher
also
Tolkien published the
wasn't
Silmarillion. That
Did
was
he?
not a
Okay.
J.R.R. Tolkien thing because he was never satisfied with its condition. But after his dad died, Christopher Tolkien's like, it would be criminal to all the people that want Lord of the Rings lore to not publish this because it has so much in it. So he published that, and he published a bunch of stuff. He published like Children of Hurin, Lost Tales of Middle Earth, and all this other stuff. So Christopher Tolkien published a lot of stuff, but the Rings of Power did not have access to all that because one, Christopher Tolkien is dead now. Also, his dad, J.R.R. Tolkien, is dead. And so now you have the Tolkien estate, which is basically just a greedy corporation that just wants money. It's not the family thing that cares about his fucking work
I like money.
anymore. It's
I
just
like money too.
It's
you
just
know what?
greedy. It's greedy people that own the rights.
I don't need it all. but I
And so
want
here's the
some of it.
thing. The Rings of Power would have loved to have the Silmarillion rights, but the thing is, like, I think the Tolkien estate was wanting to charge them like $180 million for the rights to that, and they're like, huh, no, we would never make that much money back. So no. So the thing is, like, they were basically like price-wise gate kept out of using the actual lore for the era that they were trying to make a show of. So one, it's kind of not
They
Amazon's
tried to make
fault.
a movie of that anyway.
Right.
it
So
would've
one,
been
it's
difficult.
not really Amazon's fault because Tolkien Estate was being skeezy misers of
Whoa,
like
yeah,
not
whoa.
letting them use.
Wow.
Like,
Hey,
it's
you
like
can't
That's
say that
pretty rough
word.
there,
Yeah,
come
you
on
can't
now.
say that, man.
wait, skeezy.
Easy. Oh my
No,
god.
Is-
the
the
other
other
thing.
Wait, is
That's just
skeezy
good.
not
That's
bad?
terrible.
No,
Oh,
the
yeah.
other
It's the
the
other
other word, dude.
Misers.
the other one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Mine.
Isn't
Why
that
can't
just
you say
someone that's like?
misers?
Isn't that just
What
someone
the
that's tight on
God,
my?
it's got connotations, man.
Oh
People
my
who, like-
god! Oh
No, that's my new favorite
no!
word.
I thought it was just someone.
You
who's-
really fucking
Wait, I thought it was just someone who's tight on
I
money.
thought it was just
yeah.
like midgets and shit like they can't.
No, no. I, think,
Yeah,
I,
it's-
Exactly right.
I thought
They're
a miser.
little people now, and that's why you got to be careful.
Wait,
kid.
I thought, I
Oh,
thought it
I
was
don't
just
like
someone who's
midgets.
tight on money.
Where-
Is it actually like some kind of weird
It's
thing
little
now?
people.
Words are
It's
Is it?
hurtful. You
I don't
can't
know, I
use
thought
that
it was-
one.
I think he's
Isn't it
fucking
like
with you.
a
I don't think you can use
miser,
skeezy.
not midget.
Dude, it's a fucking word. Who cares?
They're
My-
LPs.
No, a miser is someone who's tight on money.
I'm just giving you shit anyway. First off.
Oh, okay.
No, I
was
mean,
like-
like, I thought it was. No, I'm just giving you shit. But
Oh.
also, like, I've heard people say, like, it's a anti-Semitic or something.
what?
It depends
Yeah.
on how much
That's-
they want
I
to be a
guess it's
pain
how
in the
you're
ass
using it
about
or
it.
something.
Is it in Yiddish?
Dude,
I feel like
half
that's
the
I don't
things
speak it.
anybody says on a daily basis could be considered that, depending on how much they want to be a pain in the ass. So it
I
don't
thought
really matter.
miser is just like someone who's tight on money, but anyway, whatever. Okay,
That's what it means.
Isn't it like a Jewish family
don't see
name
I will
or
say
something?
a tightwad then. Like they're a tightwad.
Well, I'm a tightwad.
company.
I got
Trading.
tightwads.
Don't talk bad about the wads.
But so
Jerks.
the Tolkien
Wads are
estate,
jerks. What do you
the
mean?
Tolkien estate is basically just not willing to part with the actual rights to something that would make them have a good story for a show. So they had to revert back to the Lord of the Rings appendices. But the things like even that they didn't hold because it's still pretty accurate, but they held to it almost very loosely. And they're like, we want to have artistic license and make our own story. It's like, if you want to make your own story, don't make a recreation of someone else's story that already fucking exists. Like
Well, no,
Tolkien,
man, they have
Tolkien
to use
has
the
a story.
IP
If you want to
though,
make a
dude.
Tolkien story, make Tolkien's story. If you want to make your own story, make your own fucking fantasy movie.
No,
Fuck
no,
you.
no, no,
Here's
no.
the
That
thing.
won't
This-
tell
is
us
this
a
a
reflection
reflection
on.
on
Pony
I'm an
up,
upset
Game of
nerd.
Thrones?
money.
I'm an
It's like
upset
he's-
nerd about this very much.
I
It
tell
isn't
you,
like
I
he
can
doesn't have money. Fucking just
It's
pay
like,
for
dude,
it. What a fucking.
this is
He's a
Tolkien's story.
miser.
Make Tolkien's story. If you're not gonna make Tolkien's
Whoa.
story, make
What's
your
his
own
face?
Well, like
story.
here, hang on,
Bezos.
hang on,
Fucking-
hang on.
Don't be a
Hang on a
fucking jerk.
second. Hang
Don't
on a
be
second.
poor.
So, if we're talking about the argument of someone trying to make a new storyline within the Tolkien universe, what like give it a
If-
hypothetical situation? Like, say for example, it's
They
a
need to get fucked,
it's the a drama
I am triggered,
unfolding
sorry.
during the Battle of Minas Tirith or leading up to it, or from like people's
Lord of the
perspective of
Rings, what
someone that
if?
like lived there. Yeah.
Okay,
Not
wait.
like the overall arcing
Alternate
battle, but like,
timeline.
Does Sean Bean
Sauron wins.
live
no,
in
no,
your
no,
version?
showing the
agree.
same timeline on the same timeline of everything.
No, I
but like,
agree. I agree. It's like if you want to make your own stuff, take something where there isn't already info on it and fill in the blanks on your own. I'm fine with that.
The
But the thing is, like,
multiverse,
where,
like,
Unlike
where
the guy who just
where
made the new
they're
Dune
taking,
movie,
where
right?
they're
He's a
taking
fucking
stuff,
piece
it's
of
like
shit,
there's
too.
actual,
yeah, I heard
full-
there's some mixed
there's
bags about that
actual
one.
full detailed information on this specific thing, and you're like, yeah, no, fuck that. We're gonna do our own thing over here instead. It's
I
like
like when you do
that
that.
is where it's like, no, like you can fill in the blanks where there's no info, but if there's actual detailed lore info on something, you should go with that. And if you choose not to because you want to do your own creative thing, then you got in the wrong business. Because if you want to do your own creative thing, don't recreate someone else's story. Make your own story. That is,
Yeah, those
like,
fucking
and so it
stupid
bugs
Trey,
assholes.
me.
you've seen
it
the
bugs me
meme
when
where they're
people
in the
take someone
boardroom and
else's
then
story. Like,
somebody
we
mentions
just
the
want to
idea
use
and
the
they throw 'em out the
names that you
window, right?
made. We want to use the names that you made because you have this popular story. Like people know Galadriel, people know Elrond. We're gonna take those names and we're gonna make our own shit with it. It's like, no, this isn't your world. If you're gonna use someone else's world, make it their world. If you're gonna want to make your own
unless
world,
they-
make
except
your
they
own
bought the rights to
world
those names
and
and
do
do
it
it alone.
yourself.
Now it is their world.
Like
It is their world.
I just
They're
I
the
don't know.
pirates.
They're the pirates.
I hated the Rings of Power season 1. I hated it so much.
You were so excited.
Header
about
was
it,
just
dude.
kind of bad.
I was
He was
very
super
excited
excited
about it
about
He
until
was
I
so excited.
I
about
was
it.
no
so excited
spoilers.
about it
No
until I
spoilers,
watched
please.
it.
No spoilers.
I won't give you spoilers, but I was
Here's the spoiler.
but
Apparently,
I,
it was
I
bad.
won't give you spoilers, but
He
I
said
was
none of
so
them.
excited.
None of those.
I was so
fucking
excited
guy.
for it, and then I watched it, and I was very upset. I was very upset with what
Don't
they
tell
did.
me how it goes, though.
I won't. And
I
like
appreciate it.
season 2, I'm just like
I can
and
tell
they're
you're
like, Tom-
disappointed, so you're
And they're
already
like, Tom
fucking up for
Bombadil's
me,
in
but-
season 2. I'm like, I'm not even gonna watch season 2. I just can't. I fucking
Here's the
can't.
thing: special effects wise, it was great. The actors in it did a good job. It just didn't
It
follow
won
the storyline
awards.
you wanted
It
to.
won
but it's-
awards.
It's
Apparently
still a
everyone
good
loved it,
production. It's worth
But
watching.
I think the
He's wrong.
reason why it won awards is because
He is
people
wrong, yeah.
that didn't actually read anything to do with the Second Age and knew what the Second Age did or was, they're like, oh, this is a cool show. It's like, it is a cool show if you don't know what the fuck actually was
Correct.
You're
going
a
on.
big
Yep.
fan.
Worth
Like the
watching. 'cause it's
fucking
got great-
wizards.
great special
The
effects.
wizards didn't show up till halfway through the Third Age. What the hell are they doing there in the Second Age?
They got bored. They
Time
got
travel
bored and came
magic,
early.
bro.
Gandalf
Come on, dude.
does not show up. They put
Time
fucking
travel magic,
they
dude.
put
I
fucking
appreciate
Gandalf in
this,
this
dude.
show.
I
He
believe there's
doesn't-
magic in the show, right?
Gandalf
Isn't it about
doesn't
magic?
show-
The whole thing's about
Yeah.
magic.
I'm
Shouldn't
saying
it be
Chrono
about-
Gandalf-
magic, dude.
Gandalf doesn't show up for like 2 or 3 thousand years after
Maybe
Chrono
he
magic.
comes- maybe
him
he
showing
comes
up.
back. He
What
might
the
come
hell
back.
is he doing there? And he
Chrono
came in
magic.
as a meteor? Dude, he came in on a fucking boat
Why-
on the
why
West
wouldn't he,
Shore.
right?
And he's like, hey, Kieran, how's it going? Kieran's
A
like,
boat
oh, you're really
meteor,
cool.
dude.
Here, have this
Road
ring.
magic exists. We just talked about it.
Yeah, it's like Kieran's like, here, have my really cool ring, and Gandalf's like, thanks, bro. Like it's like
Drayden,
he
you
came
have
in
so
on a
little
fucking
faith.
boat 3,000 years after. No, he didn't come into the meteor in the second age.
Maybe they're gonna fix everything in season
Bullshit.
2.
There's
Maybe they can fix
no-
everything in season 2.
there
They
are
can fix
no
It's all
all the
gonna tie together.
inconsistencies.
There are no
You know what
wizards
it
in the
is?
second age. The wizards
It's
came in
it's an
halfway
alternative
through the third
timeline, dude.
age.
This
Yes.
is opening up the incursions between the
I was so
multiverses.
upset.
Oh, it
I was
is,
so
yeah.
upset.
You know what's
Yeah.
gonna happen in the second episode?
Spider-Man.
Harry Potter.
Like fucking Galadriel on some
That's
Death
who Galadriel
Wish,
marries, is Harry
Death
Potter.
Wish search
Yeah,
for
yeah.
fucking.
Are
Oh my
you
God.
spoiling the show?
With
It's-
great power becomes great responsibility.
Galadriel made me upset. She jumped off the fucking.
That's what she
Sorry.
tells him.
That's
She
No
marries
spoilers.
Harry
Go to bed.
Potter, and then
That
Good night,
LB.
LB.
have
Thanks for sticking around,
Slytherin.
LB.
I'm gonna follow LB because
Yeah, I'm too. I'm just gonna get all nerd raged out. So
no. We gotta talk about. We gotta talk
Yeah.
about the.
you guys
the
control
endgame,
Drayden.
dude.
He's tired. Y'all be
Drayden,
safe.
Drayden, Lord of the
I'll
Rings
talk to you soon.
Endgame, though. How you feel about this?
Lord of the Rings Endgame.
Yeah, dude, they're establishing the MCU in Lord of the Rings, bro. The
no.
Lord of the Rings, yeah,
No.
what is it?
You're
LOTRU.
So the
That's
stream
not
is
even
stopping, but
nearly
you guys don't have to
believable.
leave the like Discord.
Bet.
It's like 2:00. I need to get up.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
asleep
it's,
anyway.
it's time to
Oh.
go.
Not 2 o'clock.
Listen, I
5
was
till
just,
2.
I was just nerd rage. It's fine.
I know,
I'm
close-
I'm sorry,
close
Jaden.
enough.
I like to
am
keep going.
a
It's fun.
massive
30
Lord of the
minutes.
Rings fan.
For like 30 minutes is just you talking
Here's one
about Lord
love
of the
it.
Rings.
here's
to
one
yourself.
question,
No.
Drayden. How do you feel? I don't know if you play any tabletop miniature games or anything like
I
that.
used to
but
play
how did
40K
you-
a lot, but
How did you feel about Games Workshop completely obliterating the Lord of the Rings tabletop franchise after getting the exclusive and just fucking it up?
I didn't even know they got that. So I played
Oh, yeah.
40K for a long time. I did. It wasn't 40K. What was the? There was it was like Beast Wars or it was initially a game that was
Not Blood
mechanical.
Bowl.
No, it was like mechanical like robots, but then they added like beasts into it, and so it was fuck, what was that? I played that a bit too. It was I think it was called,
Necromunda,
no,
but it was a GW game.
no, it wasn't GW. It was
Oh,
some other
okay,
company.
okay.
Game with robots and beasts. Looking at it.
Game with robots and beasts.
I mean, there's BattleTech, but not
Warhammer?
Beast.
It wasn't BattleTech. No, it was I'm gonna Google it. Tabletop.
I'm gonna beat you.
Tabletop.
I'm actually gonna call it tonight, guys. I'll talk to you.
Aw.
Oh
okay,
wait,
you're
okay,
right.
no, fine. I'll wait. Fuck it. I got
No,
I
just-
got a whole new drink here. I got a whole new drink.
Tabletop game with beasts.
I'm just chilling, dude.
Turn my camera off though.
Yeah, feel free. Stream's still going. So
This is really it's just me and
yeah,
Jaden.
Drayden doesn't turn it off yet.
There was one of War Machine. So War Machine, that was a thing.
Oh yeah, War
War
Machine.
Machine.
So War Machine that had because I had a K-Door force.
Which?
K-Door is like the but so
He was a jerk, wasn't he? I didn't like him.
War
Yeah,
Machine was made by it was like supposed to be like the 40K-ish fantasy made
it was
by
like
people
small-
that
it was
like
like
left
small
Games
squad.
Workshop.
yeah, it was like very small squad
Well,
style.
he's
Yeah.
been here the whole time. He didn't come in and talk to us. What?
Oh.
That's not nice.
Yeah, so it was War Machine. I had a lot, so I had fun with that. I played K-Door for a bit, but then that same company came out with a Beast version. So and they were interchangeable. You could play
Hordes.
Horde, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
Hordes.
Yes, Hordes. That's
Yep.
okay.
When
so-
you said War Machine, now the Beast, yep, Hordes.
yeah. So and you could play them interchangeably. You could play a War Machine army versus a Hordes army.
Yep. yep.
And what was the Dragon Flight one called?
Oh shit.
World of Warcraft.
No.
Oh,
So
Joe, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah,
when
yeah.
War Machine came
Yeah,
out,
War Machine didn't fuck
when
it
War
up.
Machine came out, I played K-Door, and then when the Hordes came out, I played the Dragonflight one. I forget what it was called, but that's the one I played.
I believe it's called World of Warcraft Dragonflight.
Yep, I think that sounds right.
Yeah. They got a new one coming out called War Within.
Dragonflight.
Eh.
Yeah, but World of Warcraft War Within is coming out soon. So.
Oh, I didn't think they even made that game anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So War Machine Hordes. I think it was actually just called Dragonflight. I think that's actually the name of the army.
That's what I told you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I have to pee.
But
Cool.
yeah, so
Okay.
I did play those. That was fun. And then there was also 40K that, and then there was another tabletop. It was a World War II naval ships game tabletop.
Oh, one of the ones by Warlord,
Possibly,
Victory at Sea.
maybe.
Kaylee Star E is now following.
Let me see.
Or was it like one of the older kind of like charts and
It was probably like
lookups?
10 years ago, ish, give or take.
Probably Victory at Sea,
10
I
to
think.
15. I don't know if it was Victory
Unless it
at
was like
Sea.
the Axis and Allies one that was on the grid.
Kaylee is saying smokes and sails.
No, it wasn't supposed to sales. It's one of those things like if I heard the name, I'd be oh yeah, that.
Sid Meier's Pirates.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
a table.
that would be Black Sails.
Yeah, this is a tabletop game, not a computer game.
I'm just throwing out fucking words.
And I had a British fleet. Is what I had.
That's pretty anti-American of you, Drayden.
I know, yeah, but I was like, everyone's playing Americans. There was one guy playing the Germans.
It's the best. I mean,
And it's like everyone's like, okay, it was one of those. It's just a fucking tabletop game, but at the same time, it's like no one wanted to be the fucking Nazis, right? So,
so I wanted to talk to Redline about
it's
that.
just kind of one of those. It's like you can be like, it's just a game. It's like you're still the Nazis.
Well, I really wanted to talk to
when you play
Redline.
Axis and Allies, like no one wants to be the Germans.
Dude, I used to play Flames of War, and nobody wanted to be the Russians.
Yeah.
Well, so you guys,
that was the problem.
Did you guys see, like going back to Eve a little bit? I wanted to talk to Redline about this a little bit because he was like making comments on Reddit about it. The whole AO situation. Have you like paid any attention to that at all?
Oh, this is interesting. What now?
The whole AO Absolute Order stuff.
Oh,
The Rocket X, whatever his name
what's
was.
up?
There's like a whole like Twitter files level stuff for like AO and Drafty Dodger or whatever his name is.
About what though?
Them being Nazis, I guess, reportedly,
Like
allegedly.
Role playing as fascists in game, or like actual?
Yes, and like
Okay, well,
some people saying racist shit in local chats and stuff like that.
That's not allowed.
mean,
You know that?
I know. It's
Is
not
it like
allowed, yeah.
racist towards being like an Amarian or Minmatar or something?
No,
like that?
no,
'Cause
no,
that shit
no.
happens all the time. On
No,
the
I can't say what
IGL.
they said because it would probably get the channel
okay.
in trouble. But yeah, what they said was definitely against TOS. Yeah, there's a whole Reddit thing, dude. If you look up AO on Reddit right now, it's like a whole fucking thing, dude. Like Reddit is like on fire.
I'm shadow
You
banned
get
on
your
there.
news from Reddit. You're doing it wrong. Just so you know.
I use Reddit.
For your news or for the
No, just for
laughs?
Eve shit, because
For
it's funny
laughs,
as hell. Yeah, it's funny.
I look on Reddit for SEMA shit posts, and that's about it.
Well, that's so like there's a SEMA shitpost comment on there actually about AO thing. What was it? Something like the Providence Homeowners Association Alliance or something, like coalition or something. There was a whole thing about that. It was pretty funny actually.
Oh, someone trying to link that on the Space Pope?
Maybe.
Ooh,
Nutty.
juicy.
But yeah, I just wanted to see if you knew about
Spicy.
that. I wanted to see if Redline was talking about this because I saw Redline post a comment about like I'm funding 100 million isk worth of SRP to shoot AO or something. It was an interesting comment.
Where do you say that in cesspool?
No,
Can
no,
I
it was on
fund-
Reddit.
Can I fund
Oh,
100
Reddit, okay.
million to shoot Redline?
Maybe.
How much?
Let's do it. 100 million. I mean,
Nah, that probably wouldn't be enough.
who said it was worth that much effort?
Exactly. Crazy.
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of
I
like.
can't
memes
find the
and stuff
game. I
posted.
can't find it. I have no clue. But yeah,
Remember the name of it, or just it does exist?
it's just I was like searching for. It was around between like 2010 and 2013, somewhere in that era.
2010.
And
Let's go
it was,
ChatGPT.
it was a tabletop naval World War II naval game. You had models of
Tabletop.
ships. You could like paint them yourself. You didn't have to put them together. They were like all
Naval-
just
World
single
War
World War
piece.
II. You're sure?
It's World War II for
Naval
sure.
It wasn't.
yes.
It wasn't
game.
Axis and Allies miniatures.
It was not
It's
Axis and Allies. It was
figures.
World War II.
And it
They had a
wasn't
miniatures
victory.
game.
It was
2010?
It wasn't
It was
victory at
purely
sea.
naval. It was purely naval battles.
Purely naval battles.
It was
You're saying it wasn't Victory at Sea though. The
it
Warlord
was not
Games
Victory at Sea. No.
Okay.
It was a warship game, and the models were pretty small. Like, I mean, the destroyers were an inch long.
You said 2010?
Okay.
It was between 2010 2013. I don't really remember the exact year, but it was in that range that I started
Called,
playing it, and it was
Atlantic
pretty new.
Fleet?
No, and I know they had there's British because they had the what was that British carrier that sank?
Fleet Commander Nimitz,
had
Naval
the Ark,
Thunder, Battleship
they had-
Row.
I know they had
It
the
was just
Ark.
called War at Sea, was it?
Was it Fleet Commander Nimitz? Or Naval Thunder, Battleship Row?
Is it War at Sea? That sounds familiar.
How big were the scale? Like, how
Oh,
big of
you
a
know what?
scale
It might have
battle?
been that's an Axis and Allies thing, isn't
Cruel Seas?
it? It
No,
might
War
have
at
been
Sea. I don't think it was
ChatGPT.
Axis and Allies, was it?
I use ChatGPT.
Oh,
It
it was
might
a
have been
board game.
Axis
It
and
wasn't
Allies
a
War at
miniatures
Sea.
one. Yeah.
It wasn't a miniature one? He said he has figures.
No,
was
the one I
definitely-
just said was not a
was,
word.
it was miniatures. It definitely was miniatures.
It's not Victory at Sea, right? World War II naval war games.
No, it wasn't Miniature Sea.
Was it Naval Thunder, Battleship Row?
Warlord,
No.
funny enough, was also made by people that jump ship from GW.
No, it wasn't that either. It was. I don't think it did well because it came out and the local game shop I was at, we had a bit of a following on it, but I think it kind of died pretty quickly as a game.
Well, this is Axis and Allies Naval Miniatures War at Sea. Surface
I've got
action.
that. I've put the shit out of that fucker. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was that. It was
Victory at Sea, Order of Battle.
Was it just called Naval War?
No.
The World War II naval miniatures.
It was funny because like I would have known the name of the thing, but at the game shop, the local game shop, it was like a 40K, Magic the Gathering type game shop, and we didn't call it the name of the actual game. We just like, hey, you want to play
Which is
some
why he doesn't
boat?
know the game now.
We just called it boats. So you want to play some boats? Hell yeah, I'll
Well,
play
we
some
called War at
boats.
Sea. Yeah.
We just called it boats, and so like, it's
Battle boats.
Yeah, it's like let's
Let's
play
tabletop
some. Yeah, it's like,
games
let's play
play
some
battle
boats.
boats.
And
with
there was
boats
a couple
that are
guys with Japanese.
similar.
Yeah, there's a couple guys with Japanese. There's a handful of dudes that had a
Warhammer,
bunch of American stuff. I was
40K.
British. There was one guy that had German. I can't remember. But yeah, none of this stuff is ringing a bell. None of it looks
I think when
the same.
the Axis and Allies one, that one was like
Yeah, it
you
wasn't.
didn't-
it was
Axis
a
and Allies for
pure
sure.
beer and
Yeah.
pretzels. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would have known it definitely was not a company I'd heard of before. It was like an upstart new company, and the game shop owner was like, "Oh, this is really cool." And like, there's a bunch of old naval veterans, like not from World War II, but like, they were naval dudes from like the 70s and 80s that just got so fucking hook, line, and sinker into it. And I was like, dude, I'm looking for a new guy. I like naval shit. Fuck it, because I was looking to play. I was about to start playing some Battlefleet Gothica, but I was like,
Oh my god.
I never got
Even
into it.
ChatGPT has no idea what you're talking about. Because
I
only gives me
fucking
four.
miss playing Battlefleet Gothic. I fucking miss playing that game.
Yeah, it looked fun, but I was like, I want to play some. And then that came out. I was like, oh, you know what? Actual naval ship. Let's play that instead.
It wasn't Man of War, was it?
No, it wasn't Man of War.
Man of War was the Warhammer Fantasy Universe ship to ship combat.
I
okay.
still have a buddy that knows the guy that used to own that shop. I'll just have to ask him, like, hey, get a hold of that dude and ask him, like, what was the boats game that he ran like 12 years ago?
Boats.
Like, what was what game was that?
It's probably like his random he made it himself thing. Wasn't even
No, it was
published
definitely
ever.
from a company, but I can't remember what it is. But
It was his
anyway.
company. It was only distributed locally at your one game shop.
Yeah, I don't know anyone else that really played it, but it was definitely popular at that specific game shop because, like I said, there was a bunch of because a lot of the people that played 40K and shit there were like old retired naval veterans, and as soon as that game came out, like, oh, they weren't even in World War II, but they're like, let's just play boats all the time. So I was like, all right, because I was like into hordes.
I remember doing that when the
I was
Axis
in War
and
Machine
Allies,
and Hordes at the time.
naval.
And all half of the dudes that were playing War Machine and Hordes were those guys that started switching to that game. I'm like, well, I want to play something. So, and it was pretty cheap to get into. It's like you could buy a whole fleet for like, $80 and then just paint them up.
That's
So-
why we always played Necromunda and Mordheim. Mordheim more so than Necromunda because it was one of those like easy to get into. You pick an army box and like you had enough bits and pieces and stuff to make a warband.
Speaking of war bands, did you know that World of Warcraft is having war band? I'm just joking.
Oh, shit.
They are doing that.
Are they having soup saddle and breadsticks?
Oh, shit. Unlimited.
He got pissed at you for that, dude.
He can suck it.
All right, I'm gonna eat the rest of this food I got delivered, and then I'm gonna go to bed. So I'm gonna close it out tonight.
Fiery
You
ramen.
should have
work?
closed the stream a long time ago. We also got
No,
know,
we love
I
his
know.
beautiful face on the big screen. It's
Yeah.
great.
Oh, it's just me, right? I forgot. It's
Yeah,
just
we
me
all
now.
know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
gonna call it a night too, guys.
It's glorious.
Oh, okay,
But,
yeah,
talk to you
but
later.
anyway, yeah, I will. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for everyone for Skyhawk.
Next time Vanguard's out,
Have
guys,
a good
join me.
night.
Don't be against me.
Yeah.
No, okay, yes, because you kicked my ass. You show me. I'm really bad at the
I mean,
game though. So you have to
at the
correct
end
me.
of the day-
I speed runned last Vanguard test, the challenges in like a 3-hour stream.
Mm.
I
At
had
the
just
end of the
streamed
day,
it
what-
and just sped run it.
What really matters is if our sights are pointing in the same direction when I see you.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it will be. I
Well,
sometimes just shoot random directions. So
When I play
I just
solo
want
a
a
lot.
fucking sniper rifle for God's sake.
Oh, I know, me too, dude. You have no
Yeah.
idea.
New guns.
I play
Please, new
I
guns.
play solo a lot in that game, and like I'll sneak up on people, dude. I'm like really sneaky.
Oh
dude.
yeah.
I'll sneak up on them and I'll beat
I
the shit out
know.
of them. Oh yeah, it's the best. No, I was going up against you guys when I was in a group of people though, and
No, it
like
was
I
me and
wasn't even.
Azeroth. It was just you that killed us.
It was just. Oh, was it really? Oh,
I'm pretty
shit.
sure.
Was that this week? Was that last week?
No, it was the
week we had?
two. No, not this last one. Before
okay.
the one before that.
Because you guys play East Coast, right? Servers.
I don't know.
West Coast servers.
I don't choose.
Oh.
Do I choose?
I just
Yeah,
launched the
whatever your
game and it
region is.
connects me to shit.
see.
I
I'm
mean, that's
central,
about
so-
it.
All right, I gotta go, guys. Good night.
Okay, see you later.
All
All
right.
right, yeah, same. All right, thanks everyone for hanging out. We'll catch you all
yep.
next week on Friday.
We'll play one of
See
these
you
days
then.
together. I'll kick your ass.
Bye.
Take care.